Welcome, dear disciples. How are you all doing? So, today we have brought another story for you, one filled with insane betrayal, hidden billions, and a revenge plot that will make your jaw hit the floor. Imagine being a humble food delivery guy enduring 3 years of insults from your in-laws, only to catch your wife cheating on you in a luxury hotel room. The ultimate shock? Everyone thinks he's just a useless loser, but the exact second his divorce contract is finalized, his multi-billion-dollar family inheritance is unlocked. He is actually the newly appointed, ultra-mysterious CEO of the biggest conglomerate in the city. Watch as his cheating ex-wife and her arrogant family completely lose their minds when his true identity begins to unravel right in front of them. The absolute highlight? Just wait until you see the pure terror on everyone's faces when the city's most feared underworld bosses and top billionaires suddenly drop to their knees to bow before him. To know what happens next, watch this complete video. Our story kicks off in the dazzling Yunzhou city, right outside the super 5-star Grand Jiawa Hotel. Inside one of the luxurious suites, a woman with striking orange-red hair is taking a hot shower. Meanwhile, an arrogant-looking guy, Feng Chao, smugly holds her clothes, smirking as he says, "Jia Yao, this time I'm finally going to have you." But suddenly, a muffled voice calls out from the hallway, "Sir, your food delivery has arrived." Standing there is Ye Chen, a hard-working delivery guy, casually handing over the paper bag. Feng Chao answers the door, just as the woman, Jia Yao, steps out wrapped in a towel. She realizes the delivery boy is actually her husband. With a heavy thud, the delivery bag slips from his trembling hand and hits the floor. Feng Chao glares at him, shouting, "Hey, you arrogant fool!" Jia Yao stuttered in total shock. "Honey?" Feng Chao bursts into mocking laughter. "Jia Yao, so your useless husband is a food delivery guy." Ye Chen's heart shatters. He cries out, "Wang Jia Yao, I married into your family for 3 years doing all the chores, and you wouldn't even let me touch your hand. I always thought you were a woman of principle," he continues. "But today, you're fooling around with another man. Why would you do this?" She stares back coldly, showing zero remorse. "Why? Because my husband is just a useless food delivery guy." She leans into Feng Chao, boasting about his immense wealth. "He's the CEO of an investment firm. Only a man like him is worthy of me, not a poor wretch like you." Feng Chao pulls her close, smirking at Ye Chen. "Since you're her husband, if you kneel and admit you were wrong, I'll give you a 5-star rating." Ye Chen clenches his fists in sheer disbelief. "You two shameless people? And you still want me to apologize? Just because you were rich?" Dismissing him entirely, Feng Chao whispers intimately to Jia Yao, "Don't worry about him, the two of us." But Ye Chen snaps. He grabs Feng Chao tightly by the collar. "Stop, you animal." Feng Chao winces in pain. "It hurts. Let go." Jia Yao immediately jumps in, aggressively slapping Ye Chen's hand away. "Ye Chen, let go! You dare lay a hand on him?" She glares at her own husband, completely siding with the other man. "If you don't get out now, I'm calling security." Ye Chen stares at her in silence, flashing back to a photograph of his arranged fiancée from his grandfather. He remembers her as a sweet, innocent schoolgirl. He thought he would spend a long and happy life with her, but now he realizes it was all just his own wishful thinking. "Wan Jiaqi, I hope one day you won't regret this," he declares. She scoffs from the doorway. "Regret? The biggest regret of my life is having a useless husband like you." After this, Ye Chen rides off into the rainy night. He touches his earpiece, casually answering a call. An older butler's voice comes through. "Third young master, your 3-year trial of character as a live-in son-in-law officially ends today." The butler explains that the old master has acquired Hue Sheng Group and arranged for him to be its chairman. Yi Hu calmly replies, "Okay, I understand. Should we formally accept the young madam into the Yi family?" the butler asks. The Yi Chen's eyes turn ice cold. "There is no need. She is not worthy." Later that evening, at the Wang family residence, Jia Yao finds Yi Chen packing his bags. She rolls her eyes. "What? You were thinking of running away from home? Is it really worth it over something this small?" Yi Chen glares at her. "You think cheating is just a small thing?" She crosses her arms, entirely unbothered. "You eat our food and live in our house. Even if I wronged you, you have to endure it." Yi Chen slams his hand on his suitcase. "I've endured your family's public humiliation and beatings for 3 years without once talking back. That was because I cared about you," he shouts. "But starting today, I don't want to endure it anymore." Ye Chen delivers the final blow. "Wang Jia Yao, let's get a divorce." Jia Yao is utterly shocked. "Ye Chen, you dare ask me for a divorce?" she screams. "After the divorce, you won't be able to live in a luxury apartment or drive an audio anymore." Ye Chen turns his back on her. "Haha, a luxury apartment? An Audi? I don't need them." She screams that her family has assets in the billions, and a poor guy like him is completely unworthy. Ye Chen calmly replies, "Then tomorrow morning, let's go to the Civil Affairs Bureau and get divorced." Jia Yao hesitates. Tomorrow won't work. Our whole family has to gather for my grandma's 80th birthday. Ye Chen picks up his luggage without a second glance. Then explain it to your family as soon as possible. I'll wait for your call. As he walks out the door, she yells after him, "You absolute failure. You'll definitely regret divorcing me. In just a few days, you'll come crawling back and begging me." Outside, the rain is pouring down. His phone rings again. "Young master, the car is waiting for you around the corner." He walks down the wet street toward a sleek luxury vehicle. A row of men in sharp suits bow deeply in the rain, respectfully shouting, "Young master." Trust me, guys, he is standing, but his old life is already in the afterlife. One of the men offers an umbrella, but Ye Chen pushes it away. "No need," he says, brushing his wet hair back. "The rain can help me clear my head." Meanwhile, a bodyguard draped a heavy coat over Ye Chen's shoulders. "Let's go," Ye Chen ordered coolly, and his men instantly responded with a synchronized, respectful, "Yes, sir." With a loud splash, a convoy of luxurious cars speed through the wet streets. Up above, Wang Jiayao stared out her window in absolute disbelief. She muttered to herself, wondering why so many Rolls-Royces were driving away from downstairs, questioning if some incredibly important person had just visited. Inside one of those heavily tinted cars, Ye Chen sat silently, the rain streaking across the glass as he finally left his miserable old life behind. You see, guys, the world only knows of the Rothschilds or the Morgans, but the most mysterious and wealthy family of all is actually the Ye family. With assets exceeding 100 billion, they remained completely hidden from any lists of the wealthy. The convoy arrived at a glowing helipad, where a chopper's blades were already roaring. "Young master, this way." A subordinate guided him through the heavy downpour. As the helicopter lifted off into the stormy night sky, we learn about the extreme lengths the Yi family goes to. As candidates to be heirs, they undergo brutal screening and trials starting from the very young age of 3. And to truly temper their character, the family elders assign them special, secret tests. In a flashback from 3 years ago, Grandpa Ye gave his final order. "Ye Chen," he instructed gravely, "I am arranging for you to marry into the Wang family as a commoner. You must complete this test successfully without ever revealing your true identity." At that time, Ye Chen had willingly accepted the trial, stepping out into the ordinary world with absolutely nothing. But all of that is over now, guys. Stepping out of the shadows, his loyal subordinates bowed deeply, warmly welcoming the young master back. Looking out over his family's massive, glittering estate, he declared, "I, Ye Chen, have returned. Look, I'm telling you guys, his revenge is going to be legendary." The very next day at the luxurious Wang family estate, a grand birthday celebration was underway for Grandma Wang. Sitting comfortably with her pampered poodle, Grandma looked around and asked condescendingly, "Huh? Jia Yao, it seems that loser Ye Chen didn't come." Jia Yao nervously looked away, making up a weak excuse that he probably went to work. Immediately, Yuan and Xiaoji started mocking him. "Work? Delivering food? Ha ha ha," Xiaoji scoffed, adding that Ye Chen was such a massive embarrassment, he didn't even dare tell his friends they were related. Furious, Grandma Wang barked an order to make him get back here immediately, deeply insulted by his complete lack of manners. Taking a deep, shaky breath, Jia Yao finally confessed. "Grandma, actually, the reason he's not here today is because we're getting a divorce." Grandma's eyes widened with pure rage. She yelled, demanding to know who gave her permission, reminding her fiercely that this marriage was her late grandfather's dying wish. Turning on the fake waterworks, Jia Yao cried, claiming she wouldn't dare go against Grandpa, but that Ye Chen had gone too far by having another woman on the side. In reality, her eyes darted nervously as she thought to herself, she couldn't let the family find out she was the one who cheated first. Grandma slammed her fist down, screaming, "What? That scoundrel!" She furiously ranted about how they gave him luxury for 3 years, and he repaid their kindness by looking for other women. Just then, Xiaojie stepped up with a smug smile. He told Jia Yao not to blame him for saying it, but she was partly responsible since she never even let Ye Chen touch her in 3 years of marriage. He mocked her, guessing she was just saving her purity to find a rich new husband. But Grandma wasn't having any of it. She declared that even if Jia Yao was cold to him, he had no right to stray. She commanded them to bring him there right now so she could serve him some harsh family justice. Jia Yao quickly scrambled for her phone, nervously agreeing to make the call. On the other end, Ye Chen's glowing blue eyes appeared in the shadows as he coolly answered, "What's up?" Jia Yao demanded he come over for Grandma. Unbothered, Ye Chen simply replied, "Not going." With a sharp beep, the call disconnected. Jia Yao trembled with anger, absolutely furious that he actually dared to hang up on her. She turned to Grandma, revealing he wasn't coming. Confidence level dropped from 100 to 0 in a single frame. Grandma erupted, shouting that a live-in son-in-law was no different from a dog, stunned by his sheer audacity. Grandma ordered Xiaoji to bring him back. Xiaoji agreed, cracking his knuckles with a wicked grin, slowly calming her rage. Grandma addressed the room, saying the real reason she called everyone here early today was to share some crucial news. She revealed that just yesterday, a mysterious new chairman had been parachuted into the massive Huasheng group, and no one knew his name or where he was from. She passionately declared that since their real estate business had pending deals, building a solid relationship with this unknown new chairman was the single most important matter for the future of the Wang family. Come on, guys, we all know exactly who that new chairman is going to be. Guys, despite his immense hidden wealth, Ye Chen is still playing the part. The butler had just asked him why he still wore that worn-out delivery uniform. Ye Chen thought to himself, "Today is the last day of my contract as a courier. I must finish what I started." Just then, his phone rings. It's Wang Xiaojie, his arrogant brother-in-law, driving a luxurious car through the rain. Xiaojie smirked over the phone. "Hello? Ye Chen, it's me. Where are you? Let's talk." Ye Chen simply replied, "I'm delivering food at Elvyon Residential Community." Xiaojie grinned maliciously. "Oh, I'll be right there. Wait for me." Suddenly, with a sharp screech of tires, Xiaojie's massive luxury car swerved and slammed its brakes right in front of Ye Chen's scooter. Rolling down the window with a sneer, Xiaojie demanded, "Get in the car, Grandma wants to see you." Ye Chen didn't even flinch. He flatly stated, "Even if your grandma pleads for Wang Jia Yao, it's useless. I am definitely getting this divorce." Xiaojie yelled, "Are you completely sick? Grandma wants to serve you with family justice." Ye Chen calmly stared back. "Serve me with family justice? On what grounds?" "On what grounds?" Xiaojie scoffed. "You found a woman outside, and you are still a member of our Wang family. You did something wrong to the Wang family, so you deserve to face the ultimate penalty." Ye Chen slowly took off his helmet, a mocking smirk forming on his face. "I found a woman outside? Did Wang Jia Yao say that?" He burst into laughter, completely mocking the absurdity of her lies. Xiaoji frowned. "What are you laughing at? Look, I'm telling you guys, Ye Chen has had enough of their nonsense." His smile vanished, real quick. His eyes turned ice cold as he growled, "Wang Jia Yao, that shameless woman. There should be a limit to bullying people." Xiaoji trembled, utterly terrified by Ye Chen's sudden, overwhelming aura. He thought, "What's going on?" His expression suddenly became very scary, like the eyes of a superior looking down on everything. But Xiaojie quickly shook his head, thinking, "I must be seeing things. How could this useless trash have that kind of aura?" He shouted, "Get in the car quickly. Go kneel at the hotel entrance first, then honestly accept your punishment." Ye Chen turned away. "I said, I'm not going." Furious, Xiaoji threw his car door open. "You trash, I think you want a severe beating again, isn't it?" He lunged forward with a heavy punch, but before he could even land it, Ye Chen countered with a swift, powerful kick, sending Xiaoji spinning through the air and crashing to the ground with a heavy thud. Xiaoji scrambled up, pulling out a sharp knife. He stuttered, You trash, you actually dare to fight back. I will execute the family justice for Grandma. I'm going to finish you." With a wild swing, Xiaoji slashed the blade toward him, but Ye Chen effortlessly dodged the swift strikes. With a sharp hiss, Ye Chen struck Xiaoji's wrist, sending the knife flying out of his hand. Then, he unleashed a rapid barrage of heavy punches directly into Xiaoji's face, completely overwhelming him. Xiaoji collapsed, howling in pain like a kicked puppy. Standing tall, Ye Chen looked down at him and declared, "Go back and tell the Wang family people, I am no longer the Wang family's dog that comes when called and leaves when waved away." As Ye Chen calmly rode off on his scooter, the bruised and battered Xiaoji screamed from the pavement, "You live in son-in-law, just you wait." Meanwhile, at the luxurious Wanhao Hotel, old Madame Wang was waiting with her fluffy poodle and other snobby relatives. Someone announced, "Xiaoji is back." Seeing the car arrive, Grandma praised, "Xiaoji is efficient as always." But to her absolute shock, Xiaoji stumbled out of the car, his face swollen like a balloon, crying out for her. Grandma gasped, "My good grandson, how are you beaten like this? Who hit you?" Xiaojie sobbed, "Grandma, it was Wang Jia Yao's useless husband who hit me." Hearing this, Wang Jiqiang, Xiaojie's father, erupted in fury. "What? That useless thing actually dared to hurt you? I want him gone." Looking like a swollen pig, Xiaojie mumbled, "Call the police?" "Grandma?" Disgusted, Grandma couldn't even bear to look at his swollen face. Such a shameful matter, calling the police would easily spread the news. This is a family matter. Don't worry. I will definitely make him receive the punishment he deserves. She turned to her son. Chikeng, I know you know some friends in the underworld. Let them teach that beast a harsh lesson and bring him back to me. He immediately agreed. Half an hour later, Ye Chen was walking into a parking garage with his final food delivery order. But two intimidating thugs were already waiting in the shadows. The massive white tea meathead blocked his path. The blue hoodie bruiser cracked his knuckles and smirked. Ye Chen, right? Come with us. Ye Chen didn't even blink. He calmly replied, sent by the Wang family again, right? Today is my last day delivering food. I'm not going anywhere. The bruiser barked. You refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit. Break his hands first, then we'll talk. As he lunged forward with a brutal punch, a thunderous explosion of punches and painful screams echoed through the hallway. Then, Yakin simply wiped a speck of dust from his face, smiling in relief. Luckily, work wasn't affected, but the massive white tea thug, bruised and furious, suddenly rose up from behind him, roaring, stop. But Ye Chen just threw him away by give him a swing. Luckily, the takeout is fine. Ye Chen sighed happily, while the massive thug face-planted hilariously into the ground behind him, leaving the unconscious heavyweights behind in the dust. Ye Chen cheerfully rode his scooter down the sunny street. He thought, just one last order left. Meanwhile, friends at the towering and luxurious Wanhao Hotel. Wang Zhiqiang stood sweating in front of old Madame Wang, his voice shaking as he confessed, Mom, those professional thugs I hired, they were completely taken down by Ye Chen. The old matriarch's face contorted in sheer disbelief. She gasped, wondering out loud if their useless live-in son-in-law was secretly a martial artist. Just then, a servant interrupted to announce a VIP guest. Old Madam, the general agent of Tuan Tuan Delivery, Ma Kun, has come to offer his birthday congratulations. Wang Jiqiang told his mother that he is the boss of Ye Chen. Ma Kun smoothly presented a lavish golden box, offering her a rare 90 vintage bottle of wine to celebrate her long life. Seeing a golden opportunity, Wang Jiqiang leaned in and whispered to Ma Kun, eagerly scheming against Ye Chen. Ma Kun scoffed in disgust, questioning what kind of audacity this mere son-in-law had to provoke the powerful Wang family like this. He confidently boasted that if he had more connections in the city, he'd definitely teach that ungrateful kid a lesson. No, boss Ma, Wang Jiqiang smirked. You are exactly the person to help with this. He finally revealed the trump card. That arrogant guy is actually your employee, just a lowly food delivery driver for Tuan Tuan. A wicked, villainous grin spread across Ma Kun's face as he told President Wang to leave the matter entirely to him. Look, I'm telling you guys, never trust a guy with a smirk like that. He immediately whipped out his phone, ordering his manager to find Ye Chen's location and assign him a delivery straight to this very hotel. 15 tense minutes later, Ye Chen rolled up on his trusty scooter, looking sharp as he dialed the customer. Mr. Ma, your delivery is here. Please come out to the entrance. All right then, just wait for me at the entrance. He purred into the receiver, his eyes gleaming with sheer malice. Ye Chen turned around at the sound of approaching footsteps, completely caught off guard. As Ma Kun, Wang Zhiqiang, and the dog-holding grandma marched out like a mob squad, Ye Chen's eyes narrowed. He realized instantly, damn it, it's a trap. Without missing a beat, Ma Kun pointed an angry finger at him, ordering him to strip off his uniform and hand over his work badge immediately. Ye Chen frowned, perfectly calm, and simply asked, What do you mean? Xiaoji screamed with complete arrogance. Idiot, he is your ultimate boss, the general agent Ma Kun. If you don't believe me, Ma Kun sneered, holding up his screen, I'll have the manager who hired you call you right now. Right on cue, Ye Chen's phone buzzed with a message. His manager confirmed he had just been fired for offending the president. Ma Kun barked at him. Hurry up and take off the clothes. You are fired by me. With a sharp sliding sound, Ye Chen effortlessly tore off his delivery jacket, but Wang Zhiqiang and Xiao Jie just burst into cruel laughter, mocking him for looking like a stray dog and demanding to see his earlier arrogance now. Tossing his jacket aside with a heavy thud, Ye Chen coolly stared down Ma Kun. Boss Ma, he said smoothly, I heard your agency contract expires this year, right? Ma Kun blinked, completely thrown off. What business is that of yours? With a dangerously calm smile, Ye Chen delivered the absolute best comeback. No need to go discuss the renewal. You won't be the agent anymore. Ma Kun erupted into mock laughter, screaming about his tight, unbreakable connections with the CEO. Suddenly, the terrifying voice of old Madame Wang echoed across the plaza. Ye Chen, you beast, kneel down. She declared she would execute family justice right there in front of all the guests. Ye Chen stood tall, completely unfazed. Why should I kneel? Old thing, keep dreaming. The grandma's face darkened with absolute fury. She reminded him of his promise from 3 years ago that he would accept their family justice if he ever brought harm to them. Placing a hand on his chest, Ye Chen stated firmly, "What I, Ye Chen, say naturally counts." Good! Wang Jiqiang roared triumphantly, ordering the servants to bring out the Wang family's legendary heavy golden dragon ruler. The crowd of wealthy guests gasped in shock, whispering that a few hits to the face with that solid metal ruler would leave a devastating mark. Wang Jiqiang eagerly grabbed the weapon, as his mother commanded him to strike Ye Chen 20 times. But before he could swing, Ye Chen's distressed father-in-law, Wang Zhiyuan, jumped in. He pleaded to take the ruler, claiming it was his absolute duty to discipline his own son-in-law. And just as things couldn't get any crazier, guys, Wang Jiayao stepped up in a stunning pink dress, snatching the golden weapon. "Let me do it," she declared coldly. "He is my husband. Let me handle this." Ye Chen scoffed, looking at his so-called wife, Jia Yao. "First you cheat, then you frame me for cheating. Isn't that enough? Now you want to slap my face too." He sarcastically praised her for being such a rare, good wife, but Jia Yao surprisingly stepped in, grabbing a golden ruler. "He is my husband," she declared. "If anyone is going to beat him, it will be me. How can I let others beat him? Isn't that just slapping my face?" Before she could blink, Wang Shaoji snatched the heavy ruler right out of her hands with a sharp tug. "Ye Chen, you dog thing," he roared. Xiao Jie swung the heavy golden weapon straight at Ye Chen's head with a furious swoosh. "You dare hit me? Watch me whip your face to shreds." But Ye Chen didn't even flinch. With a loud smack, he caught the ruler barehanded. Without hesitation, Ye Chen delivered a brutal backhand. A crimson mist filled the air as Xiao Jie cried out in pain, stumbling back from the devastating impact. The crowd was absolutely stunned. Did the Wang family's useless live-in son-in-law really just strike their precious grandson? Old Madame Wang was shaking with rage, pointing a trembling finger at him. "Bastard, do you have any idea how many officials are present? They can arrest you on the spot." Ye Chen stood tall, completely unbothered. Everyone saw clearly. He attacked me with a weapon first. I was merely acting in self-defense. Just then, one of the guests, trying to suck up to the family, chimed in. "But you said you'd accept the family's justice. Going back on your word, is that how a real man acts?" Ye Chen calmly met his gaze. "I am willing to accept their justice, but the prerequisite is, I actually did something wrong. Isn't looking for other women behind Jie Yao's back and beating my grandson enough?" Old Madame Wang screamed, her face flushed with anger. Ye Chen finally snapped. "For 3 years, I loved her wholeheartedly. The one cheating is your granddaughter. Yesterday, she got a room with Feng Chao at the Jiao Hotel. Go check the records." Whispers instantly erupted among the guests. "Wait, the Fang family's second young master?" Rumors about the Wangs wanting him as a son-in-law were actually true. As the crowd started questioning the #1 beauty's purity, Jia Yao panicked. "Grandma, everyone, don't listen to his nonsense. I just met young Master Fang to discuss business financing." Ye Chen leaned in, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "Do you need a hotel room to discuss business? Do you need to wear a bathrobe to talk? Do you take everyone here for fools?" Right on cue, a commotion started at the entrance. "Hey, young Master Fang is here. Speak of the devil." Fang Chao strolled in, holding a gift box, pretending to be clueless. "What's going on with everyone?" Jia Yao immediately clung to his arm, desperate. "Young Master Fang, my useless husband is framing us. Hurry and tell them we only met for business." "Look, I'm telling you guys." Fang Chao knew exactly what he was doing. He pulled her close by the waist, smoothly lying to the crowd. "Jia Yao and I are innocent. She just came over to deliver a document." Knowing he had already deleted the hotel's security footage using his connections, Fang Chao smugly challenged Ye Chen. "You accuse us, but do you have any video or photo evidence?" He then turned to the crowd, playing the victim. "Everyone, he's just slandering me out of spite. This live-in son-in-law works as a delivery driver, and yesterday he delivered my food." Fang Tao smirked devilishly. His attitude was terrible. "He threw my food on the ground, so I gave him a 1-star review." To seal the trap, Fang Chao called out to Ma Kun, the delivery company boss who was conveniently in the crowd. "Boss Ma, check his delivery records from yesterday." Ma Kun eagerly pulled out his phone, ready to ruin Ye Chen's life. "Young Master Fang is right. He got a 1-star rating for a terrible attitude and throwing food on the ground. The crowd immediately turned on Ye Chen, calling him a low-class rat seeking petty revenge. Ye Chen didn't defend himself. Instead, he looked right at his wife. Aren't you going to explain why I dropped that delivery? Jia Yao completely threw him under the bus, crossing her arms. It's because you are diligent. Your ability to endure is just poor. Ye Chen covered his face, laughing bitterly. Not diligent, poor endurance. Ye Chen, what hopes do you still have for this fickle woman? He then turned his fierce gaze back to the grandmother. You said I was looking for women outside. Do you have evidence? Old Madam Wang just glared back in stubborn silence while Jia Yao guiltily looked away. Grandma sits and declared, since none of you have evidence, let's drop this matter. But you beating my grandson, this matter absolutely cannot be dropped just like that. Ye Chen pressed on. He attacked me with a knife at my apartment. The security cameras and guards can testify. I was lawfully fighting back. Call the police, and I guarantee your precious grandson won't get away either. The old madam was practically frothing at the mouth. Eating my family's food for 3 years, and now you threaten me? Are you gonna beat me next? Ye Chen calmly placed a hand on his chest. I've always respected you. As long as Xiaoji doesn't provoke me, I won't look for trouble. Then his eyes turned ice cold. I only have one request. I want a divorce from Wang Jiayao. A sudden buzz of whispers swept through the banquet hall. Old Madam Wang scoffed, declaring her granddaughter the #1 beauty in the city, implying Ye Chen was never worthy anyway. I announced that Ye Chen is no longer our son-in-law, she roared. Starting immediately, he is swept out the door. A guest immediately called out, Waiter, serve drinks to everyone here to celebrate. The shameless sycophants crowded around, eagerly toasting to the Wang family finally getting rid of their useless burden. Then, Jia Yao's mother, Su Lan, decided to drop a massive bombshell to the crowd. Thank you everyone, and I'll reveal some news. He hasn't even touched our Jia Yao's hand in 3 years, she smiled proudly, announcing. Jia Yao is still a virgin, leaving her daughter blushing furiously. Come on guys, who says that at a party? Ye Chen realized this was what she wanted all along, to be appraised like goods and sold to the highest bidder. He raised his glass to his cheating wife. Congratulations, you can finally find a man who is well matched with you. Thinking she had won, Jia Yao looked down at him haughtily. If you kneel down and beg me now, perhaps I will plead with grandma to delay the divorce. Ye Chen gave her a chilling smile. You betrayed me, and you want me to kneel and beg you. With a sharp flick of his wrist, Ye Chen threw the entire glass of red wine right into her face. You are not worthy, he declared. Jia Yao pointed furiously at Ye Chen. You Chen, this lowly and cheap man, has gone crazy today. He's rebelling. Jia Yao turned to her grandmother, her face twisted in anger. Grandma, divorcing him like this is really letting him off too easily. Backing up Jia Yao, Xiaoji pointed to his bruised cheek. Look at my face. We must teach him a lesson, Grandma declared. People of my Wang family aren't that easy to bully. Old Madam Wang had addressed the crowd from her ornate chair. Everyone, this Ye Chen wasted 3 years of my granddaughter's precious youth and beat my grandson. She raised her voice, demanding absolute revenge. Everyone present here is a big shot, so I implore you all, help me cut off his livelihood. The young master of the Fang family eagerly stepped up. Representing the Fang family, I am willing to support the Wang family. I guarantee no hotel below 4 stars will let you check in. Fang Sao smirked wickedly. Ye Chen, not only will I sleep with your wife, but I will also make you crawl on the ground and beg me. Trust me guys, the audacity of this guy is insane. Then, Zhang Wei, a wealthy restaurant owner, chimed in. I am willing to support the Wang family. You won't be able to work part-time in any restaurant in Yunzhou. Ma Kun sneered, pointing at him. I also support the Wang family. Ye Chen, don't even think about doing food delivery anymore. Despite the threats, Ye Chen stood completely unfazed, calmly counting them off. Hotel waiter, food delivery, you've completely blacklisted me. Are there any other industries? The CEO of Golden Mine KTV laughed mockingly. Don't even think about working as a waiter in any KTV or bar either, Xiaoji pointed out. Wait, this guy knows some kung fu. What if he applies to be a private bodyguard? Who among you can seal off this path for him? The crowd murmured among themselves in doubt. There were simply too many rich people in Yunzhou. No one dared to claim they could influence them all to block his path. A breathtaking woman in a vibrant red dress stepped into the room, and the entire crowd gasped in pure shock. She elegantly took a seat, crossing her long legs as the whispers immediately started. Who is this beauty? When did she even get here? Ma Kun, practically drooling, nudged Wang Zhiqiang and begged. President Wang, who is this beauty? Introduce us. Wang Zhiqiang scoffed at the man's ignorance. Ma Kun really is uncultured. He doesn't even know her. This is the famous vice president of Huasheng Group, Qin Hong Yan. He proudly bragged about her immense power, describing her as a divine dragon who personally signs hundreds of billions in international orders. Hearing this, Ye Chen deadpan internally. Oh, my company. Look, I'm telling you guys, Ye Chen holding back his laugh here is pure gold. Wang Zhiqiang continued to praise her, declaring that in all of Yunzhou she was the only person who had connections with every single wealthy elite. Ma Kun eagerly agreed, blushing as he added, with President Qin's stunning beauty, she is probably the object all rich people want to know. Qin Hongyan rested her chin on her hand, utterly unimpressed. Look at what you're saying, as if I have an affair with all the rich people. The man panicked and profusely apologized. The man gulped nervously, sweating bullets as he silently doubted how such a beautiful woman really climbed to the top. Meanwhile, Wang Tucheng respectfully bowed, cashing in his favors. President Qin, please take action and cut off Ye Chen's livelihood. My Wang family recently gave you quite a few benefits to secure our financing. With a soft click, Qin Hongyan opened her elegant cigarette case. Ignoring the family drama, Qin Hongyan smoothly pulled out a pink cigarette and placed it between her bright red lips. Instantly, 4 expensive lighters flicked open with sharp hisses of flame. The desperate wealthy men surrounded her, falling over each other for the sheer privilege of lighting her cigarette. But she completely ignored the simps. Instead, she pointed a manicured finger forward and demanded, "Come here." She was looking straight at Ye Chen. He stared back, confused. "What do you want?" She looked at him with half-lidded eyes and commanded, "You light a cigarette for me." Ye Chen just stared at her blankly and replied, "I don't have a lighter." Guys, I am 100% sure their confidence levels dropped from 100 to 0 in a single frame. The rich men completely lost their minds. No lighter? With so many here, don't you know how to borrow one? He had just publicly rejected Yunzhou's top goddess. With a heavy thud of her heels, Qin Hongyan stood up and walked directly toward him. She stared deeply into his eyes. "Name." Ye Chen blinked. "What name?" "Your name," she clarified. Ye Chen replied, "Are you hard of hearing? Didn't Wang Zhiqiang just say my name is Ye Chen?" Wang Zhiqiang screamed at Ye Chen for his arrogance, but Qin Hongyan simply raised a hand, silencing the angry father instantly. With a soft rustle, she slid her hands up Ye Chen's chest. "Ye Chen, for the sake of you sharing the same surname as our Huasheng Group's newly appointed president, I want to give you a way out," she whispered. "Looking closely, you actually look pretty good. Listen to my request, and I will let you be my personal bodyguard. How about it?" The entire room erupted into a chaotic uproar. "President Qin is trying to protect that kid? Did she take a fancy to him?" Jia Yao watched from the back, her face flushed with extreme jealousy and rage. She seethed, wondering what this powerful, beautiful woman wanted with her worthless husband. Wang Zhiqiang stepped up and asked, "President Qin, I wonder what President Yi's full name is. The new president of Huasheng Group is also surnamed Ye." Qin Hongyan smiled gracefully, brushing off the question. "Apologies, President Yi does not wish for too many people to know of him for the time being." Internally, she thought, "I don't know new president's full name either. Wouldn't it be a joke if they found that out?" Ye Chen watched her closely, thinking to himself, she definitely doesn't know my identity. Otherwise, she wouldn't have asked me to light her cigarette earlier. He then looked at her and asked smoothly, "President Qin, how do you intend to give me a livelihood?" She smirked, looking down at him. "As long as you kneel down and kowtow in apology to old Madam Wang Xiaoji, and your wife individually, I am willing to mediate." She crossed her arms and continued, "Afterwards, I will hire you as my personal bodyguard with an annual salary of 200,000. The crowd murmured in confusion, wondering why someone as high-level as President Qin would try to protect a kid like Ye Chen. They figured he would definitely agree just to avoid being blacklisted. Watching this, Wang Jiayao panicked. She leaned in and whispered, "Grandma, President Qin is trying to go against you. What is with this woman? She keeps staring at Ye Chen." Old Madam Wang scoffed softly. "This woman is very high level. No wonder she's the vice president of Huasheng at such a young age." She analyzed the situation perfectly, adding, "Look, she never easily offends anyone, and she can make any man infatuated." But our guy Ye Chen simply said, "I refuse." Suddenly, Wang Jiayao let out a sharp gasp, her eyes widening in disbelief. Qin Hongyan yelled, "You, say that again." Ye Chen's icy blue eyes narrowed. He leaned in close, gently pinched her earlobe, and stated firmly, "I refuse." Qin Hongyan let out a soft gasp as a tingling sensation rushed through her, her face flushing bright red. Wang Zhiqiang pointed fiercely at him, shouting, "Presumptuous! How dare you lay a hand on President Qin?" Ye Chen just shrugged nonchalantly and replied, I thought President Qin seemed a bit hard of hearing, so I spoke right next to her ear. Qin Hongyan clutched her burning cheek. Furious, she thought to herself, this live-in son-in-law doesn't know what's good for him. Then she glared at him. Good, Ye Chen, you have guts. Turning back to the matriarch, she announced, Old Madam Wang, I, Qin Hongyan, Vice President of Huasheng Group, am willing to support the Wang family and cut off all of Ye Chen's livelihoods in Yunzhou. Wang Jiayao immediately burst into arrogant laughter. Ha ha ha, Ye Chen, you useless piece of trash. Now you can't even be a bodyguard. In the future, there will be no chance for you to survive in Yunzhou. You brought all this upon yourself. Unbothered, Ye Chen simply asked, President Qin, may I ask if your words just now represent you personally or Huasheng Group? She replied proudly, Of course, they represent both. Ye Chen shot back, You are the vice president of Huasheng Group, not the president. What right do you have to represent Huasheng Group's stance? Look, I'm telling you guys, he's basically calling out his own employee without her knowing. The crowd began to whisper amongst themselves, realizing he actually had a point. One muttered, Indeed, President Qin's position isn't the highest. Logically speaking, she cannot express a stance on behalf of the president. Feeling cornered, Qin Hongyan panicked and bluffed. Fine, I didn't want to say it originally, but since you want to know the truth today, I will tell you all. Actually, Huasheng Group's newly appointed President Yi is my lover. Ye Chen's face went completely blank. He thought in pure shock. What? Since when did I become your lover? OMG guys, at this point even I'm speechless. She doubled down, yelling, I said President Yi is my lover. Ye Chen stared at her, thinking, Saying you're my lover right to my face, don't you blush? The crowd immediately bought it. That mysterious President Ye is actually President Yin's boyfriend? One gasped. Another scoffed at Ye Chen. Trash Ye Chen, they are lovers, so of course she can represent President Ye and the entire Huasheng Group. Daring to question her ability, you're looking for trouble. Wang Jiqiang laughed loudly, rubbing his hands together. President Qin, why didn't you say so earlier? If President Yi is your lover, we can rest easy. That 70 million financing is basically a done deal. Realizing her lie was getting out of hand, she coughed nervously. My boyfriend is a very serious worker. He always keeps work and life very separate. So I hope everyone can help me keep this a secret. Ye Chen held back a laugh, thinking, this woman, after bragging, she's afraid others will leak it, so she came up with such an excuse. Noticing his amused expression, she snapped, What are you laughing at? He teased her. I heard President Yi is not only extremely wealthy, but also handsome and talented. Although President Qin is somewhat good-looking, she probably wouldn't catch President Yi's eye, right? She confidently flipped her hair, lying through her teeth. President Yi fell in love with me at first sight. He rented an entire island in Southeast Asia, arranged a grand confession ceremony, and begged me to be his girlfriend. As the crowd swooned with wows, Ye Chen gave her a deadpan look, thinking, You really know how to make things up. Forget it. I don't want to argue with you anymore. He turned his attention back to his estranged wife. Wang Jiayao, let's go to the Civil Affairs Bureau now to process the divorce. She rolled her eyes and spat. Fine, let's go. But just then, Xiao Jie stepped in front of them. Don't be in a rush. Leave after eating the birthday banquet. When we start the banquet later, we'll put a bowl at the door for you too. After all, you'll have to get the hell out of Yunzhou after eating. Xiao Ji chuckled. I still have to thank Boss Ma. That scene earlier outside where you made Ye Chen take off his clothes was classic, just like training a dog. Ma Qin replied, Young Master Wang is too polite. If I had known, I would have asked young Master Wang to record it beforehand. Watching it when you're bored in the future could relieve some stress. Ye Chen's expression turned terrifyingly cold. He decided right then and there, Ma Kun must be dealt with immediately. Without a word, he made a call. The voice on the other end answered respectfully. Third young master, Ye Chen calmly asked. There's that guy who does food delivery. What's his name again? Other person replied. Are you referring to Tuan Tuan Delivery's CEO, Wu Xiaohong? Ye Chen commanded. Right, that's him. Contact him and tell him to revoke the Tuan Tuan Delivery Agency in Yunzhou. The Wang family and Ma Kun stared at him like he had lost his mind. His subordinate replied smoothly over the phone. Yes, he has always wanted to know the old master, so he will definitely be happy to do this for you. Come to think of it, his net worth is now over 50 billion, so he is qualified to eat with the old master. Ye Chen nodded casually. This kid has developed quite well these past few years. Arrange a meeting for him with me another day. I'll treat him to a meal. With that settled, he hung up the phone with a soft click. A heavy silence fell over the entire banquet hall. Everyone just stared at the delivery boy who had just casually ordered a billionaire around. Then, Xiao Ji broke the silence, bursting into uncontrollable laughter. Haha, I'm dying of laughter. Ye Chen, what kind of act are you putting on? Revoking Ma's agency? Who do you think you are? Ma Kun pointed a mocking finger at Ye Chen. Kid, you need to pick the right occasion to brag. Is your posturing useful here? Who would be bluffed by a bumpkin like you? Ma Kun continued to shout his insults. Your grandpa is just a farmer. CEO Wu has tens of billions in assets. You're living in a delusional dream. If you have no ability, why pretend? While everyone else laughed, Ken Hongyan remained dead silent, narrowing her eyes at Ye Chen as suspicion crept into her mind. Suddenly, a loud ringtone echoed from Ma Kun's pocket. He pulled out his phone, his eyes widening. It's CEO Wu, he quickly answered, his tone shifting to pure sycophancy. CEO Wu, I was just thinking of calling you these past couple of days to discuss the contract renewal. But a furious voice boomed from the speaker. I am calling specifically to notify you that your agency qualification in Yunzhou has been revoked. The exact second he knew he messed up. Look at his face, guys. Ma Kun was sweating bullets on the phone, completely panicking as he realized his prestigious agency qualification had just been canceled. He nervously glanced around the extravagant banquet hall. He thought to himself that there was no way he could let anyone find out, especially with so many important people like Qin Hongyan watching. Desperate to save face, he forced a laugh. He loudly told the CEO on the phone that they definitely had to continue cooperating, even bragging that he prepared an 8 million renewal fee, but the voice on the other end was merciless. The CEO flatly told him that headquarters was taking over and they were no longer looking for agents. He made it crystal clear that spending any amount of money was useless. Ma Kun delusionally continued his fake conversation, loudly promising a pleasant cooperation in the future. The CEO angrily yelled, asking if he was crazy for answering irrelevant questions, before slamming the phone down. Laughing awkwardly to a dead dial tone, Ma Kun tried to play it cool. Internally, he was freaking out. Ye Chen was wondering if the butler hadn't notified the higher-ups yet. Just then, Wang Xiaoji strolled up with drinks, totally clueless to the humiliation that just happened. He congratulated Ma Kun on settling the renewal, and Ma Kun eagerly nodded, pretending everything was perfectly fine. They clinked their glasses together. As Ma Kun chugged his wine, tears literally streamed down his face from the sheer stress of losing everything. Ye Chen noticed this immediately. He silently observed Ma Kun tearing up, while Wang Xiaoji foolishly praised the man's forthright drinking style. Qin Hongyan noticed the tears too, asking if he was okay. Ma Kun quickly lied, claiming the strong liquor simply choked his throat. But Ye Chen wasn't going to let him off that easy. With a cool smile, he publicly called him out, asking why he was putting on a fake act instead of admitting his agency was just revoked. Ma Kun completely lost it. He furiously yelled that Ye Chen tore off his disguise, but arrogantly claimed the headquarters just wanted to take direct control. He mocked Ye Chen, saying a useless person like him definitely had nothing to do with it. Ye Chen casually took a sip from his teacup. He laughed it off, saying that since Ma Kun thought he didn't do it, that was fine, as he couldn't be bothered to make another enemy anyway. Ma Kun screamed that Ye Chen was nothing but a stinking delivery worker. Meanwhile, the other guests began whispering among themselves, wondering if the small live-in son-in-law really had the power to pull those strings. Qin Hongyan looked at Ye Chen with intense curiosity. She seriously pondered what would happen to them if his hidden power was actually real, but the wealthy elites quickly dismissed the idea. They mocked him, reasoning that if he really knew such powerful figures, he wouldn't willingly live like a dog for 3 years. Grandma Wang sneered in agreement. She stated that pampered rich young masters could never endure such grievances, calling the whole idea absolutely hilarious. Afterwards, the venue security unceremoniously kicked Ma Kun out, forcefully rejecting his expensive vintage wine as he desperately tried to stay. Ye Chen watched the pathetic scene unfold. He thought to himself about how incredibly realistic and ruthless the Wang family and their upper-class circle truly were. The banquet finally officially began. A chef wheeled out an ornate golden cart, politely inviting everyone to take their seats and enjoy the soup and dim sum. Ye Chen turned his attention back to his estranged wife. She calmly told him they would get the divorce after eating, so they wouldn't ruin Grandma's 80th birthday. Taking a seat at the table, he decided to patiently wait for her to finish her meal before leaving the family forever. As he reached for the appetizer, his spoons clinked loudly. His sister-in-law, Wang Yuanyuan, threw a massive fit. She dramatically whined that her spoon touched the trash's spoon, claiming it wasn't clean anymore. Ye Chen stared down at the glowing yellow soup. He dryly noted that it was papaya, meant for breast enhancement. Looking right at Wang Yuanyuan, he casually remarked that she probably didn't need to eat it. She slammed her hands on a table, furiously demanding to know what he meant. Standing up aggressively in her tight dress, she angrily shouted, asking why she wouldn't need to eat the papaya. Well, you all guys know why. Ye Chen just looked away, completely ignoring her tantrum. He told her to pretend he didn't say anything, leaving her absolutely fuming at his audacity. Humiliated, Wang Yuan immediately complained to Grandma Wang. She demanded that Ye Chen be kicked out from the table since he didn't even bring a congratulatory gift. Grandma Wang firmly stated that their family must maintain integrity, allowing him to finish his meal before the divorce. However, Wang Yuan bitterly shamed him for arriving empty-handed on her milestone birthday. Look, I'm telling you guys, Ye Chen actually respected the old lady. He silently admitted that if she hadn't strictly forbidden the divorce for 3 years, his secret trial mission would have failed long ago. Deciding to show some real class, he pulled out his phone. He ordered someone to prepare a birthday gift and deliver it directly to the hotel. Wang Jiayao rolled her eyes in pure disgust. She mocked him, saying their family would never accept whatever garbage a poor man like him could afford. She continued her arrogant rant, demanding he stop embarrassing himself. She even offered to have someone buy a fake gift for him just to save the family's face, but Ye Chen didn't even flinch. He just kept quietly eating his food, completely ignoring her as she angrily screamed for his attention. 10 minutes later, the sharp click of footsteps echoed as a guy in a bright yellow delivery uniform walked right into the luxurious venue. The security immediately blocked his path, telling him unrelated personnel couldn't enter. The worker simply replied that he was just there to deliver a congratulatory gift. Poking his head into the grand hall, the delivery guy politely asked out loud who was celebrating their birthday today. Wang Xiaoji marched over, annoyed by the intrusion. He demanded to know who let a delivery guy in. The worker explained that a wealthy Rolls-Royce owner paid him extra to deliver it due to heavy traffic. Hearing Rolls-Royce owner, Wang Xiaoji's entire attitude flipped. He eagerly reached out his hand, assuming this luxurious gift was meant for his grandmother. With a soft click, Wang Xiaoji opened the small, elegant box. He muttered, questioning what exactly the item was, his voice trailing off. Confidence level dropped from 100 to 0 in a single frame. His eyes went wide with absolute pure shock. He pulled out a stunning, perfectly transparent jade bracelet. He gasped, shouting that it was the ultimate among jades, completely transparent and worth at least 10 million. The entire room erupted into chaos. The guests were stunned that a mysterious tycoon casually sent a 10 million yuan treasure via a delivery app. Meanwhile, Ye Chen just sat there, quietly enjoying his meal with a knowing smirk. Look guys, the entire banquet is buzzing. As the crowd stares at the massive glowing jewelry, a guest exclaims, "This jade bracelet is the most expensive piece among today's gifts." Old Madam Wang, who sent this, but the matriarch looks just as confused, replying that she has no idea. Wang Yuan thinks aloud. The families with ties to us are all here. Who exactly sent this bracelet? Wang Yuan, full of her usual arrogance, immediately assumes the best about herself. She thinks, could it be sent by one of my suitors? The thirsty guests eagerly jump on that theory. A middle-aged man, practically drooling, gossips. It's possible. Wang Yuan has such a hot figure. Any man who sees her wouldn't be able to sleep at night. Wang Zhiqiang nods enthusiastically. Extremely likely. My daughter is so beautiful, with millions of fans online. It was definitely sent by some rich young master who likes Yu Yuan. Then congratulations in advance, President Wang. Your future son-in-law is really generous, sending a gift worth tens of millions. Standing quietly in the background, Ye Chen watches this circus unfold. He thinks to himself, these people would rather blindly guess it's some suitor of Wang Yuan than admit that I sent this. Deciding he has had enough, he casually steps up to his wife. Jia Yao, have you finished eating? He asks. Glaring at him, she snaps, I'm done, what? With absolute calm, Ye Chen drops the bomb. Since you've finished eating and I've given my gift, let's go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get a divorce now. Jia Yao's eyes widen in sheer disbelief. She stutters slightly in shock, demanding, Wait, what did you say? You gave a gift? When did you give a gift? Without missing a beat, Ye Chen just calmly points right at the shocked old Madam Wang. That is it right there. The room instantly erupts in fury. Wang Zhiqiang turns red with rage and screams, Ye Chen, you are shameless. This bracelet is worth tens of millions. You couldn't earn this much money in several lifetimes. How do you have the audacity to say you sent it? Wang Yuan quickly jumps in to mock him. Sister Jie Yao, can you stop letting your loser husband make a fool of himself? This was clearly sent by my suitor, coming out to claim claim credit for someone else's gift is truly disgracing our Wang family. Furious, Jia Yao angrily storms past him, barking, "Go, let's hurry to the Civil Affairs Bureau. I don't want to be the wife of a loser like you anymore, not for one more second." Before leaving, Ye Chen looks back at the cruel matriarch one last time. "Old Madam Wang, for better or worse, we were once family," he says coolly. "I give this bracelet to you. Happy birthday." Grandma loses her mind, screeching, "All right, stop pretending. Hurry up and get lost, quit bragging. This live-in son-in-law really embarrasses our family." Xiao Ji leans in with a venomous smirk, threatening, "Ye Chen, after the divorce, take a train and get out of Yunzhou immediately. I don't want to see you ever again." Trust me, guys, Ye Chen's confidence here is absolutely ice cold. He turns his back, his voice cutting through the tension. "Whether I leave Yunzhou or not is my freedom. You have no right to interfere." Shortly after, Fang Zhao and Jia Yao are driving in his sleek BMW. Fang Zhao smirks. "Kid, Jai Lin said you aren't worthy of sitting in a BMW. You should just ride a shared bike there." As they speed past Ye Chen on the sidewalk, Fang Chao rolls down his window, laughing mockingly. "We will wait for you at the entrance of the Civil Affairs Bureau. Ha ha ha!" Unbothered by their childish games, Ye Chen simply hails a yellow taxi. "Hello, to the Civil Affairs Bureau," he instructs the driver. They quickly arrive at the first mediation room to process the paperwork. OMG guys, this is the moment of truth. The worker hands over the 2 red certificates. Staring at the little book, a wave of relief washes over Ye Chen. 3 years, he thinks quietly. I am finally no longer a live-in son-in-law. Stepping out into the sunlight, his eyes gleam with ambition. The next trial is the business trial. I must devote myself wholeheartedly to my career. But his peace is interrupted as Fang Chao and Jia Yao walk out behind him. "Right, you aren't a live-in son-in-law anymore. You've become an abandoned son-in-law," Jia Yao taunts. Ye Chen doesn't even turn around. He coldly dismisses them. "Say whatever you want. I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore." Watching him walk away to a waiting taxi, Jia Yao's face twists in furious disbelief. "Ye Chen, you abandoned son-in-law, useless thing," she screams into the street. Getting back into the BMW, Jia Yao is fuming. Fang Chao, drive and follow him. "See if he leaves Yunzhou," she demands. Gripping the steering wheel, Fang Chao grins wickedly. "Humph, he is definitely taking a train to leave Yunzhou." They secretly tail the yellow taxi down the highway. Fang Chao reasons. His livelihood in Yunzhou has been completely blocked and he has no savings. If he doesn't leave, will he just starve in the streets? But sitting in the passenger seat, a sudden unease creeps over Jia Yao. "That's true. But Ye Chen's expression just now makes me feel things aren't that simple." Suddenly, Fang Chao squints through the windshield, confused. "Wait, this isn't the road to the train station?" Jia Yao leans forward nervously. "Is it the road to the airport?" Fang Chao shakes his head. "Definitely not. This is heading towards EH District." As the taxi zooms down the road, Jia Yao starts sweating. Could it be that he isn't planning to leave Yunzhou? Fang Chao quickly regains his smug composure. "This kid is probably looking for a hotel to get a room. Don't worry, with our Wang family's connections, I guarantee he won't be able to stay in any hotel below 4 stars. 10 minutes later, the taxi pulls up to the breathtaking Westlake Four Seasons Hotel. From the car, they watch as Ye Chen casually strolls up the grand entrance steps. Jia Yao scoffs in pure disbelief. Just now at the banquet, young master's son explicitly blocked his path to being a waiter. He actually still came to apply? Obviously, he doesn't regard our Wang family's connections with any importance. Fang Chao's pride is hit. This arrogance. He doesn't believe in my power. Just wait. I'll make a call. He dials his phone with a vicious grin. "Hello, little Qiang. Working as a manager at Westlake? I have a task for you. A kid went to your hotel to apply for a job. His name is Ye Chen. Don't hire him." But just a second later, Fang Chao's eyes bulge out. "What?" he gasps. Sensing the panic, Jia Yao urgently asks, "What's wrong?" Lowering the phone, Fang Chao looks completely bewildered. He said he checked. No one came to apply. If Ye Chen didn't go to the hotel to apply, then what did he go in there for? Jia Yao pales, a terrifying thought hitting her. Could Ye Chen be staying at the hotel? She quickly tries to rationalize it away. Impossible. The Westlake Hotel starts at least $8,000 a night. Just now when we divorced, I confiscated all his bank cards. He only has a few hundred in cash and a tiny limit on his credit app. Sweating nervously, Fang Chao unbuckles his seatbelt. "Let's go in and ask little King to see." Marching up to the lavish marble front desk, they ask the receptionist. She smiles politely and confirms, "Brother Chow, the Ye Chen you mentioned indeed just checked into this hotel." Confidence level dropped from 100 to 0 in a single frame, guys. The receptionist cheerfully adds, "He paid for 7 days up front." Fang Xiao starts sweating profusely. 7 days? Over 50,000? Fang Xiao grits his teeth. This ruthless guy, 8,000 a night. 7 days is 56,000. He must have hid quite a lot of private money. He must have embezzled it from the money for groceries, dog food, and daily necessities. Shameless. The receptionist looks at them awkwardly and interrupts their rant. Mr. Ye Chen isn't staying in a standard room. She smiles brightly. It is the presidential suite. That smile vanished. Real quick. What? They both scream, their souls practically leaving their bodies. Fang Chao's brain completely short-circuits. He stammers. The West Lake Hotel's presidential suite costs 80,000 a night. 7 days is 560,000. Now utterly terrified, Fang Chao slowly turns to look at a stunned Jia Yao. Jia Yao, are you sure he scrimped that from your family's expenses? He shouted in disbelief, asking if Ye Chen had really just paid 560,000. The receptionist simply nodded, verifying the insane amount. She then casually added that Ye Chen even left a 10,000 tip. Hearing this, Jia Yao looked absolutely stunned. Her shock quickly turned into sheer fury as she screamed at the receptionist, demanding to know who allowed her to take his tip, arrogantly claiming it was all her Wang family's money. Fang Chao stepped in, telling Jia Yao not to fuss about the tip right now. He narrowed his eyes, wondering where Ye Chen could possibly get so much money. He pointed out that even if Ye Chen skimmed grocery money, saving $1 million over 3 years was mathematically impossible. Jia Yao paused, her eyes widening as a nasty thought crossed her mind. She realized Ye Chen often visited her grandma's place to watch her dog. With her grandma owning lots of antiques, she quickly assumed he must have stolen some to sell. Look, I'm telling you guys, the audacity of this woman to instantly jump to theft is wild, Feng Chao said. That must be it. Hurry and know to your family. Have them check if anything is missing. After this, the scene shifts to the luxurious Wanhao Hotel. Inside the private banquet room, Qin Hongyan was losing her patience. She drummed her perfectly manicured fingers on the table with a soft tapping sound, wondering why the mysterious gift giver still hadn't arrived. She thought to herself that even with heavy traffic on the main road, he definitely should have made it by now. Then, a shocking realization suddenly crossed her mind. She wondered if that priceless bracelet was actually sent by Ye Chen all along. Just then, Sulan's phone started ringing. Seeing it was her daughter, she picked up with a wide smile, eagerly asking if Jia Yao had finally divorced that nobody. Jia Yao practically screamed through the phone, ordering her mom to hurry to Grandma's house to check for missing antique calligraphy and paintings. She completely threw Ye Chen under the bus, accusing him of stealing their family's valuables. Sulan gasped, completely horrified by the thought that Ye Chen would steal from the elderly madam. Hearing this unfolding drama, Qin Hongyan smoothly lit a cigarette. She exhaled a puff of smoke and mentally scoffed, thinking she had mistaken the kid for a big shot when he was really just a petty thief. Having lost all interest, she gracefully stood up, grabbed her purse, and politely excused herself, telling the Wang family she had urgent company matters to attend to. Outside the hotel, Wang Jiyuan desperately reminded President Qin about their financing deal. She just casually told him not to worry, barely giving him a second glance. With the main VIP gone, the other wealthy guests quickly made their excuses to leave as well, realizing the mysterious tycoon definitely wasn't going to show up today. Back inside, old Madam Wang glared at Su Lan, questioning why Jie Yao only discovered Ye Chen's supposed thievery right after their divorce was finalized. Su Lan quickly explained that Ye Chen had booked the presidential suite at the Westlake Hotel for an entire week, spending nearly 600,000. She insisted he must have funded it with stolen goods. Old Madam Wang slammed her hand on the armrest with a loud smack, her face contorted in absolute rage as she cursed her former live-in son-in-law. Refusing to let Ye Chen ruin her plans, she ordered half the family to stay and wait for the honored guest, while instructing Xiao Jie, Ji Hyun, and Su Lan to head to her villa and investigate what exactly was missing. The scene cuts to the Grand Exishan villa. Once inside the massive estate, Xiao Jie took charge. He told his uncle that they should split up, sending him to check the main rooms while he handled the antique study. 20 minutes later, Ji Yuan stood in front of a perfectly intact, sparkling display case, noting that absolutely nothing was out of place. They met back up in the hallway. Ji Yuan confirmed the antique room was fine, and Xiao Jie agreed that his assigned area wasn't missing anything either. This officially proved the Wang family hadn't lost a single valuable item. Xiao Jie thought that this meant Ye Chen was completely innocent of the theft, but Xiao Ji wasn't going to let Ye Chen off the hook that easily. He nervously suggested they hadn't checked thoroughly enough, and urged them to look again. Ji Yuan bought the lie and went back to double-check. The exact second he knew he was alone, Xiaoji slipped into a dark room with a soft sliding sound, a sinister grin spreading across his face. He pulled out a stunning, ultra-rare Richard Mille watch from a velvet box. It was a limited edition piece belonging to his late grandfather, worth over 5 million. He chuckled wickedly, deciding to directly frame Ye Chen for stealing it. Rushing out of the room like he had just seen a ghost, Xiaojie yelled in fake panic that his room was missing a watch. Looking at the completely empty display box, Juyuan and Sulan were furious, calling Ye Chen a monster and declaring that this explained how he could afford the presidential suite. Panicking, Juyuan immediately called old Madame Wang, reporting that his late father's 5 million watch had been stolen by the arrogant fool. Old Madame Wang exploded with anger. Amidst the barking of her poodle, she demanded they drag Ye Chen back to her so she could severely punish him. Hanging up, Zhuyan turned to his nephew, telling him that Grandma wanted them to go fetch Ye Chen. Xiaojie instantly froze, his eyes widening in pure dread. Xiaoji clutched his bruised face, silently panicking. He definitely didn't want to get beaten into a pulp by that guy again. Making a desperate excuse, Xiaoji scrambled up the stairs, claiming he needed to go to the hospital for his wounds first, telling his uncle to just go ahead without him. Left alone to do the dirty work, Zheyuan let out a heavy sigh and called Jia Yao, asking if she was still at the hotel. Back at the Westlake Hotel, Jia Yao's eyes lit up as she confirmed the 5 million watch was supposedly missing. She eagerly told her uncle she understood the assignment. Fang Chao leaned in, asking for an update. Jia Yao aggressively muttered that Ye Chen had actually stolen her grandma's things, vowing to deal with him once and for all. She slammed her hands on the reception desk, demanding Ye Chen's room number from the startled staff. Fang Tao asked what she was planning to do. Jia Yao practically vibrated with excitement, declaring she was going to drag him back to face the family for stealing the multi-million watch. Fang Chao stared at her, genuinely confused. He wondered why she looked so ridiculously excited to see her ex-husband. Come on, guys, it's painfully obvious she just wants an excuse to see him again. Trying to play it safe, Fang Xiao warned her not to make a scene since he couldn't afford to provoke the hotel owner, suggesting she just call the authorities instead, but Jia Yao completely dismissed him. She called him cowardly and pushed past him, shouting that she would just go handle it herself. Stomping all the way up to the presidential suite, she furiously pounded on the door with heavy thuds, screaming for him to open up immediately. The door clicked open. Ye Chen stood there, annoyed and dripping wet from a shower. He groaned, asking why this woman kept haunting him right after their divorce. Ye Chen was standing there with just a towel around his waist, water glistening over his perfectly sculpted abs. That fierce anger vanished, oral quick. Jia Yao's face turned beet red as she just stared at him, completely speechless. Look, eyes. Staring right at her newly divorced husband, Jia Yao's face turned completely red as she thought to herself, Ye Chen actually has abs. He demanded, "What exactly do you want?" Her mind was racing, thinking, if I had known earlier, I should have let him go shirtless at home in the summer. But shaking off her flustered state, she accused him aloud. Ye Chen, did you steal my grandma's Richard Mille watch? Ye Chen stared back, utterly bewildered, asking, what Richard Mille watch? Jia Yao immediately lost her temper and yelled, "You were still playing dumb. My grandma's house lost a watch worth 5 million. You must have taken it." She aggressively pointed around the room, shouting, "Otherwise, how would you have the money to stay in a 5-star presidential suite? Even I haven't stayed in a presidential suite." Ye Chen crossed his muscular arms, thinking, these Wang family members are truly pieces of work. They take credit for all the good things, but when it comes to taking the blame, it's all my fault. He looked her dead in the eye and stated coldly, "Miss Wang, I have never taken a single needle or thread from your Wang family, let alone stolen any watch. Please leave." That smile vanished real quick, friends. Hearing him call her Miss Wang completely shattered her, as she thought to herself, heartbroken. He never used to call me that before. She suddenly remembered the times he would look at her with such warmth, saying things like, "Jia Yao, do you like these flowers?" Or, "My lady wife, I got paid. Let's go out to eat." He always called her his goddess, but those memories quickly turned to bitter rage. Tears welling up, she screamed, "Why are you in such a hurry to make me leave? Is there a woman in your room?" Ye Chen sighed, thinking, this woman is sick in the head. He calmly replied, "Whether there is a woman or not has nothing to do with you. We are already divorced. If you don't leave, I'll call security." Furious that he dared to refuse her, she pulled out her phone and threatened, "I originally wanted to give you a chance to come home and accept Grandma's punishment, but since you don't cherish this opportunity, I'll report it to the police." She held the phone to her ear, sneering, "Don't blame me for not reminding you. Stealing 5 million will get you sentenced to more than 15 years. With a heavy thud, the door was shut right in her face, but she kept yelling from the hallway, "If you kneel down to me right now." Inside, Ye Chen casually dried his hair with a hairdryer, thinking, she always made me kneel and apologize at the drop of a hat. Why is it that liking someone means becoming so humble? Meanwhile, she continued screaming from outside, "Ye Chen, open the door!" Refusing to let it go, she shouted at the closed door, "I've called the police. You just wait to go to prison." Meanwhile, back at the Wang estate, holding a fluffy poodle, Su Lan updated old Madam Wang, saying, "Mom, Ye Chen definitely wasn't cooperating. That's why Jia Yao called the police." The old madam scoffed, arguing, "Who told her to call the police? Our Wang family's affairs, I want to handle them myself." But Su Lan reasoned, "Besides, Ye Chen isn't a member of our Wang family anymore, so it's not appropriate to handle him with family justice." Back at the hotel, the local authorities had already arrived. Director Li approached her and asked, "You were Ms. Wang Jia Yao, right? You say Ye Chen stole a watch from your family worth 5 million? Jia Yao immediately claimed, "Yes, Ye Chen was our family's live-in son-in-law. He stole the watch, sold it for money, and even hired a hooker. He arrogantly demanded the police arrest him quickly." Director Li turned to a hotel staff member and ordered, "Call this Ye Chen guy and tell him to come down." But up in the presidential suite, the luxurious vintage phone rang continuously, while Ye Chen was completely out cold, sleeping peacefully. Seeing no response, Jia Yao confidently proclaimed, "He didn't answer his phone either. He must be guilty, so he doesn't dare to answer." Director Li nodded, deciding firmly, "Then let's go up and take a look." Just then, sensing the commotion, Ye Chen's sharp eye finally opened. With a soft click, the door opened. Ye Chen stood there in his pristine white bathrobe as the rookie cop asked, "Is this Mr. Ye Hen?" Director Li stepped forward, introducing himself and stating they received a report about the stolen 5 million yuan watch. Ye Chen firmly denied it, saying, "I haven't taken anything from the Wang family." The rookie cop pushed further, noting, "Forgive my presumption, but I heard you were just delivering food for the past half year, and Ms. Wang said you didn't get a single cent in the divorce." Director Li narrowed his eyes, interrogating him. "This presidential suite is so luxurious, it costs 80,000 a night, and you booked it for a week. Since you didn't take the watch, where did this money come from?" Ye Chen smoothly turned around and told them, "Wait a moment." With a soft rustle, he picked up an official document from his table. He handed it over, calmly explaining, "Director Li, this is our Holosheng Group's equity transfer contract. Now I am the largest shareholder, and also the newly appointed CEO." He then pulled out a sleek, diamond-inlaid metal card. "This is my business card. Just this one card is worth 10,000 yuan. Now honestly, anyone would panic here." The rookie cop, trying to verify the crazy claim, asked, "Can your information be found on Google?" Ye Chen confidently revealed, "The founder of Google is my second brother's university classmate. I asked him to hide my information before, but since you trust their data, I'll have him open it up for a while." He dialed his phone and effortlessly commanded, "Dr. Zhang, the police comrades want to see my data. Open my profile for 10 minutes. Just 1 minute later, Ye Chen turned back to the officers, stating, "All right, you can check on Google now." The rookie cop aggressively tapped on his phone, searching for the Huasheng Group, when suddenly both of their jaws practically hit the floor. The screen clearly displayed Ye Chen's profile, officially listing him as the Huasheng Group CEO. Confidence level dropped from 100 to 0 in a single frame. Sweating bullets, the rookie cop nervously stammered, asking if it could be done by a hacker. "Come on, guys." At this point, they are just in denial. Ye Chen glared at them, stating coldly, "I originally didn't want to show off my wealth, but since you still don't believe me, fine." He held up his own phone, revealing a massive string of digits. "This is my account information. Take a look. It was 10 billion. Both the officers were shocked. Friends, Ye Chen remained completely calm as he explained to the officers, "Fortunately, we signed a prenuptial agreement. When we divorced, Wang Jia Yao never checked my true assets." He then casually held up his bank card, stating flatly, "Even if you sold all of the Wang family's assets, it wouldn't amount to half of what's in this card." With a sharp, confident smirk, he asked them, "Do you really think I would stoop so low as to steal a watch worth merely 5 million? The officers were completely stunned by this revelation. Director Li asked in disbelief, "Mr. Ye, you must be a young master from a very wealthy family. Why would you willingly become a live-in son-in-law?" Ye Chen looked away, his expression turning serious. "It was a family arrangement. I hope you two can keep my secret, especially from the Lang family." The rookie cop broke a sweat, thinking to himself, "The thoughts of rich people are really weird." The director quickly saluted and assured him, "Rest assured, Mr. Yi, we will not reveal your privacy to anyone." The officers respectfully excused themselves, saying, "Sorry to disturb your rest, we should get going." Ye Chen politely nodded. Not at all, take care. Meanwhile, down in the Grand Hotel lobby, the officers approached Jia Yao and Fang Chao. Director Li stated clearly, Mr. Ye Chen didn't take your watch. I think you should go back and check if you forgot it somewhere else. Both of them looked visibly shocked. Fang Chao gasped. How is that possible? While Jia Yao aggressively retorted, how can you believe him? If he didn't steal it, where did he get the money to stay in a 5-star hotel? Look, the audacity of these two is just mind-blowing, guys. Fang Chao scoffed. He is just a poor food delivery wretch. Beside him, the rookie cops stared at them like they were crazy, screaming internally, is there a poor wretch worth 10 billion in this world? Director Li adjusted his hat firmly and laid down the law. Ms. Wang, without concrete evidence, we have no right to arrest him. If you insist, please produce video evidence or a receipt of him selling the watch. Then, with a wry, almost mocking smile, the director added, additionally, don't call your ex-husband a useless person anymore. It's too hurtful. Jia Yao instantly flared up, yelling, I didn't say anything wrong. If he had even a little ambition, I wouldn't have divorced him. The rookie cop's eyes went wide. Wait, it was you who divorced him? Jia Yao proudly crossed her arms. That's right. Does he already regret it? The rookie gave a mental thumbs up, trying incredibly hard not to burst out laughing. He thought, a husband with tens of billions in assets, the one who should regret it is you. As the cops turned to leave the lobby, Jia Yao suddenly blurted out, wait, is there a woman in his room? Director Li paused and calmly replied, Mr. Ye Chen is alone in the room. There is no one else. Hearing this, Jia Yao blushed deeply, softly touching her hair with a satisfied smirk. She thought, humph, I knew he still loves me. Guys, I'm telling you, her delusion level is absolutely off the charts right now. But Fang Chao wasn't buying it. He watched the officers leave, muttering suspiciously, why did they come down so polite to Ye Chen? Just then, Jia Yao's phone rang. It was her arrogant brother, Xiao Ji. Jia Yao, I heard you called the police. Did they arrest him? She sighed in frustration. No, they said there was no evidence. Fang Chao stood close behind her, listening intently to the conversation. Xiaoji asked, evidence? What kind of evidence? A receipt for selling a watch? He pulled a small jewelry box from his pocket, smirking evilly. It's impossible to have evidence of him stealing it, because the watch is right here in my hand. But I can easily forge evidence of Ye Chen selling it. He plotted with a wicked grin. Leave this matter to me, Xiaoji reassured her. Don't worry, I will definitely send him to prison. But right after hanging up, a strange hesitation crossed her face. She thought, if Brother Xiaojie really sends him to prison, what happens then? Her mind unexpectedly drifted to a warm memory of Ye Chen gently curling her hair. Fang Chao walked up behind her, completely unaware of her sudden internal conflict. He smoothly grabbed her shoulders, leaning in. Honey, let's stay at Westlake for a night tonight too. With a sharp smack, Jia Yao angrily slapped his hand away. She yelled, you can't even solve a single Ye Chen, yet you have the nerve to sleep with me. She stomped off furiously, her heels clicking against the floor. Fang Chao cursed under his breath. Ye Chen, you ruined my fun tonight. When you come out, I definitely won't let you off. As she stormed away, a sleazy hotel informant nearby watched her go, openly drooling. Brother Chao, this chick is hot. Fang Chao fiercely grabbed the informant by his collar. Once Ye Chen leaves the hotel, notify me immediately. The informant panicked. Okay. The next morning at 6 a.m., the sun cast a bright glow over the luxurious Four Seasons Hotel. With a soft ding, the elevator door slid open in the lobby. The informant and a nearby receptionist looked up, instantly shocked by who was stepping out. Out walked Ye Chen, radiating power in a sharp, tailored suit. The receptionist blushed heavily, fanning herself in her mind. He looks like a domineering CEO, completely different from yesterday. I don't know who is so lucky to be his wife. The informant immediately grabbed his phone, reporting in. Brother Chao, Ye Chen went out. Soon after, he was tailing Ye Chen's taxi in a black car speeding down the highway. I'm following his car. He's heading towards the city center. 20 minutes later, Ye Chen arrived outside the towering glass skyscraper of the Huasheng Group. Standing tall in the sunlight, he narrowed his eyes. Qin Hongyan, yesterday you cut off my livelihood. I wonder what your attitude will be when you see me again today. Meanwhile, back at the hotel, Fang Chao was still lounging in bed, talking to his spy. He went to the CBD building where Huasheng Group is located. What is he going there for? Suddenly, a smug, opportunistic grin spread across his face. Yesterday, President Qin said she wanted to ruin him. He must be going there for revenge. This is the perfect chance for me to swoop in and get close to the beautiful President Qin. At her luxurious home, Qin Hongyan lazily answered her ringing phone. Who is this? Fang Xiao smoothly introduced himself. President Qin, I am Fang Chao. I toasted you yesterday. She replied with mild curiosity. Young Master Fang calling this early. Is something the matter? He quickly spun his dramatic lie. You remember that useless son-in-law Ye Chen? He ran to your company building this morning. I guess he wants to take revenge on you. Qin Hanyan just smiled softly, completely unbothered. Don't worry, the building has strict access control and security. He can't get up. But Fang Chao pushed the panic button. My people say he has a card. He already passed security and went upstairs. If you go to the office, your life might be in danger. That definitely woke her up. Qin Hongyan sat bolt upright in bed, eyes wide with shock. What? How would he have her company's access card? Meanwhile, Fang Chao lounges in his luxurious bed, grinning maliciously as he talks on the phone. He said, that kid sold the stolen watch for $5 million. With that kind of money, bribing his way into your company to get an access card is child's play. Qin Hongyan, wrapping her silk bathrobe tighter around herself, replies coldly. Thanks for the heads up. I'll have someone check the company immediately. Fang Chao hangs up, looking entirely too pleased with his own arrogance. Qin Hanyan doesn't waste a single second. She dials her secretary. Wrong, get to the office right now. If you see anyone suspicious, call the police. Half an hour later, the morning sun gleams off the towering glass windows of the Huasheng Group. Secretary Zhou Rongrong struts confidently through the lobby. She swipes her access card, looking like the absolute picture of professional elegance. The security guards watch her pass, blushing heavily. One whispers to the other, she may not be as intimidating as President Qin, but man, she definitely wins on approachability. Suddenly, Rongrong throws open the heavy office doors, pointing an accusatory finger. She shouted, Who are you? How did you break into our company? Sitting calmly in the executive chair, casually reviewing documents, is none other than Ye Chen. She glares at him, adjusting her glasses to look more intimidating. I am President Qin's personal secretary, Zhou Rongrong, she declared. Ye Chen looks her up and down, genuinely baffled. He thought, Qin Hongyan is a woman. Why does she have a secretary that looks like every guy's ultimate fantasy? He slammed his hand on the desk, asking if her boss was into women. Furious and flustered, Rongrong snapped, Stop sprouting nonsense. Tell me why you're here. Ye Chen leans forward, his gaze piercing and calm. He said, I am Ye Chen, the new president of Huasheng Group. Look guys, confidence level dropped from 100 to 0 in a single frame. Rongrong's jaw practically hits the floor. She instantly bows, a frantic blush taking over her face. She panicked. I am so sorry, I was foolish. President Qin told me a suspicious person was here, so I just assumed. Ye Chen sighs, realizing the Wang family is still acting like lingering ghosts trying to cause trouble. All right, you can leave, he dismisses her. But before she escapes, he adds, Wait, I heard our vice president is the top beauty in Yunzhou. Tell her to come to my office right now. Rongrong scrambles to the women's restroom, quickly calling her boss to report back. Cruising in her red Porsche, Qin Hongyan listens as Rongrong panics. It wasn't an intruder. It's our new parachuted CEO, President Ye, and he demands to see you. What? Qin Hongyan gasps, immediately stepping on the gas. I'll be right there! The sports car roars down the avenue with a deafening engine rev, blurring past the morning traffic. Just 10 minutes later, she strides into the CBD lobby, looking absolutely flawless and ready for business. Rongrong rushes over to greet her, slightly out of breath. Where is he? Qin Hongyan demands. Rongrong points toward the office, noting that he's been waiting for her arrival. Looking around at the crowded lobby, Qin Hongyan narrows her eyes. Why is everyone here so early today? Rongrong smiles nervously, explaining that the receptionist group chat exploded with rumors about how devastatingly handsome the new CEO is. Oh, handsome you say? Qin Hongyan smirks, clearly intrigued by the hype. Rongrong sighs dreamily. Better looking than male celebrities, and he looks so young, maybe 23. Qin Hongyan raises an eyebrow, genuinely surprised. She thought, I became vice president at 32. Is this guy really that young? Her expression instantly darkens into a menacing glare. Tell the girls to act professionally. If they act like desperate fans, he'll look down on us, she ordered sharply. Rongrong chuckles, trying to ease the tension. Don't worry. For a domineering CEO like him, surely only you are worthy. As they walk past the swooning staff, Rongrong teases that he specifically praised her beauty and probably came just to see her. Qin Hongyan brushes it off. Don't talk nonsense. But internally, Qin Hongyan confidently thought, I've handled every powerful man in this city. A 23-year-old boy? I'll make him my humble faithful servant in no time. Meanwhile, the employees whisper about her legendary status, recalling how she once made a billionaire CEO happily kneel just to slip on her high heels. Pausing outside the door, Kim Hong-yeon calmly touches up her bold red lipstick, fully preparing for a psychological battle. She whispers to the girls, "I'll leave the door cracked. You just watch how I easily tame this arrogant brat." The receptionists squeal in excitement, practically vibrating. "Yes, make him kneel. We want to see this classic scene again." Kim Hong-yeon struts toward the office, fully intending to establish her absolute dominance from the very first second. She thought, making the head president kneel will make my status here unshakable. She knocks twice, and a calm voice invites her in. She steps inside, introducing herself smoothly. Looking at his back, she thinks his profile really does look like a handsome star, but as she continues to study his face, a sudden, chilling sense of déjà vu washes over her. With a soft rustle of paper, Ye Chen puts down his documents and slowly begins to turn his chair around. Outside, the receptionists peek eagerly through the crack, giggling. "I bet he'll get a nosebleed just looking at her," one whispers. But inside, Kim Hong-yeon freezes entirely. The blood drains from her face as she stares at her new boss. She stuttered, Yo, Chen, guys, I am 100% sure her soul just left her body." Her legs turn to jelly, and she instantly drops to her knees with a heavy thud. "I'm telling you guys, the girls peeking through the door are absolutely traumatized. They stare in sheer horror, wondering why their fierce queen is the one kneeling." The heavy wooden door stands cracked open, perfectly framing the ultimate disaster for everyone to see. Outside the office, the receptionists peeked through the door, completely losing their minds. One of them gasped, "How can this happen? It's not President Yi kneeling to President Kim, but President Kim kneeling to President Yi." Ye Chen's sharp eyes suddenly darted towards the door. The girls squealed in absolute panic and scattered. Meanwhile, inside, Kim Hong-yeon was still slumped on the floor, trembling. Ye Chen stared down at her calmly. "President Kim, why are you kneeling to me as soon as we meet? I can't accept such a grand gesture," she internally cursed, thinking, if you can't accept it, why haven't you helped me up yet? Damn, Wong family, if not for them, I wouldn't have offended my boss. Blushing violently, she pleaded, "I'm sorry, President Yi, I was wrong. Please forgive me for what I said yesterday." Ye Chen crouched down, a playful smirk crossing his face. "Yesterday? Oh, I remember now. You seemed to say yesterday that we are lovers." With a swift motion, he pulled her into his arms. He leaned in close, thinking, so fragrant and soft. No wonder so many men are head over heels for this woman. I heard I even rented an entire island to ask you to be my girlfriend? Which island was it again? Completely overwhelmed, she buried her flushed face into his chest. "I'm sorry, I was wrong," she yielded softly. Ye Chen gracefully let her go. "All right, get up first and then we'll talk." He turned towards his desk. "Close the office curtains. It won't look good if other employees see this." She quickly agreed, moving to comply. As the blinds shut, Ye Chen flipped open a document. "President Kim, yesterday you said you would cut off all means of livelihood for me. Now I am the president of Kwashang Group, your boss." He looked up, his gaze piercing. "I want to ask you, how will you blacklist me now?" Kim Hong-yeon kept her eyes lowered respectfully. "President Yi, I really didn't expect that someone of your status would become a live-in son-in-law for the Wang family. I know my mistake is irreversible. I will accept whatever punishment you give me." She leaned over the desk, her curves on full display. "If you want to slap me, I'll walk over for you to slap. If you want to scold me, I'll listen. If you want to fire me, I'll pack my things and leave right now, never to appear before you and anger you again. Come on, guys. Anyone else would be sweating in Ye Chen's position right now." Ye Chen observed her closely, thinking, this woman Kim Hong-yeon is indeed not simple. She doesn't panic when facing issues, is willing to take responsibility, doesn't make excuses, and doesn't shirk the blame. Breaking the tension, he finally spoke. "I didn't plan to fire you." Tears of relief welled up in her eyes. "Thank you, President Yi. From now on, I will serve you with all my heart." His expression darkened as he thought of his true enemies. "You, I can forgive. But as for the others at the banquet yesterday who cut off my livelihood, I won't let a single one of them off. President Kim, you can just call me Hong-yeon," she offered softly. Ye Chen nodded. "Hong-yeon, sort out the information on those people who cut off my livelihood yesterday and hand it to me." "Yes," she replied confidently, strutting out of the office. In her mind, the excitement was brewing. President Yi is about to make a move. Next, there's going to be a major shakeup in the Yunzhou business circle. Half an hour later, she presented a file on his desk. "President Yi, the information you wanted is all here." Ye Chen stared at the photo of Feng Xiao. The memory of his ex-wife mocking him echoed in his head. Look at Feng Xiao. His family is is worth nearly 10 billion. Can a loser like you compare to him? Ye Chen scoffed, asking, I heard the Fang family is a first-class family in Yongzhou with assets of nearly 10 billion. Hong Yan clarified, they count as first class, I suppose. 2 years ago they might have had 10 billion, but now it has shrunk severely. Assets are estimated to be only around 3 billion, not much better than the Wang family. She continued, the Wang family has a project recently. They want to raise 70 million in financing from us, and they gave me quite a few benefits too. I will return all the benefits and tell them, don't even dream of cooperating with us anymore. She sneered. Wang Jiaqi really has no eyes to actually choose that loser Fang Chao. Once she knows Ye Chen's true identity, she'll probably regret it until her intestines turn green. Ye Chen remains strictly professional. These are two different matters. I didn't exclude the Wang family from business dealings just because of my relationship with them. Bring me the proposal for that project to look at. Yes, I'll go get it for you right now, she said. No need, I'll go with you, Ye Chen replied. Meanwhile, down in the lobby, Fang Chao was smirking at his phone. He wondered, I wonder if President Qin has caught that kid Ye Chen. Suddenly a woman's voice interrupted him. Oh, isn't this young Master Fang? Fang Chao glanced at her, confused. You are? The gullible office worker pouted playfully. Young Master Fang doesn't remember me? That's really heartbreaking. That day at the Lynx bar, you treated me to drinks, and then we went to... You bullied me all night long. Fang Chao's mind raced. He thought, looks like I really drank too much that day. I even took in such trashy goods. But he forced a fake smile. Oh, I remember. You work at Huaxing? His eyes gleamed with a manipulative idea. She can be utilized, he thought. Grabbing her shoulders, he acted panicked. Darling, take me upstairs quickly. Your President Qin is in life-threatening danger. Just 1 minute later, the elevator doors chimed open on the executive floor. As he stepped out, Fang Chao overheard the receptionists whispering, can you believe it? Knelt down in the very first second. He stomped over to Zhou Rongrong, demanding, excuse me, where is your President Qin right now? The secretary answered professionally, President Qin is in the office. Sir, do you have an appointment? Ignoring her completely, Fang Chao shoved his way past. Hey, what are you doing? She yelled. With a dramatic swing, he burst the office doors open with a heavy thud. Pointing dramatically, Fang Chao shouted, Ha! Ye Chen, you shameful abandoned son-in-law thief! You really are here! But Ye Chen and Qin Hongyan just stared at him blankly. Qin Hongyan glared daggers at him. Who let you in? She demanded. Fang Chao pointed an accusing finger at Ye Chen. Are you hiding here planning to take revenge on President Qin? Thinking he was the hero, Fang Chao puffed out his chest. Sister Hongyan, don't be afraid. I'll sweep this trash kid out the door right now so he doesn't insult your eyes. A sharp slapping sound echoed through the room. Qin Hongyan delivered a devastating strike right across Fang Chao's cheek. Her eyes burned with absolute rage as she screamed, Who is your sister Hongyan? Call me President Qin! OMG, guys, this is a pants-soiling moment. Meanwhile, Fang Chao was completely bewildered. He stuttered, asking President Qin what was going on. He thought, why are she and her staff acting so casual about Ye Chen being here? Suddenly, it clicked in Fang Chao's twisted mind. He smugly declared that Ye Chen wasn't there for revenge, but to beg for a job as her bodyguard. Ye Chen just side-eyed him, thinking, what absolute nonsense is this idiot babbling about? Fang Chao's imagination ran wild. He confidently assumed Ye Chen must have dropped to his knees to beg President Qin for forgiveness. He arrogantly mocked Ye Chen, insulting him for dressing up in a suit just to act like an obedient dog. He then reminded Qin Hongyan of her promise to cut off Ye Chen's livelihood. Hearing this, the secretary, Zhou Rongrong, gasped in shock, wondering if President Qin really planned to ruin Ye Chen. But with a sharp smack, Qin Hongyan slapped Fang Chao right across the face. She furiously yelled, You arrogance! When did I ever say that? Without missing a single beat, she ordered her secretary to kick him out permanently and to fire whoever let him into the building. The suited security guards quickly escorted Fang Chao out. His face burned red with humiliation as he realized he had been slapped in public, and right in front of Ye Chen. Refusing to leave quietly, Fang Chao turned back and threatened Ye Chen, promising that a bodyguard job wouldn't save him from ending up in prison. Storming into his car, he cursed King Hongyan under his breath, vowing that one day he would completely dominate the Wang family and force her to kneel before him. Starting the engine, a wicked smile crept onto his face. He decided he needed to inform the Wang family about Ye Chen right away. Old Madam Wang was absolutely stunned. She couldn't believe her ears when Fang Chao reported that their discarded son-in-law was now working for President Qin. The rest of the family was in an uproar. Jia Yao's eyes widened in disbelief, while her mother and uncle demanded to know how someone like him could secure such a position. Fang Chao, twisting the truth as always, smugly claimed that Ye Chen had shamelessly dropped to his knees the second he saw her, begging for a job. He theorized that President Qin must have felt pity for him after taking an interest in him at the banquet yesterday. Hearing this, Jia Yao clenched her fists in sheer fury. She thought to herself, that absolute insult. He actually bowed down to another woman. Her mind raced with bitter jealousy. For 3 years she had demanded his submission, yet he never once knelt to her. Now he was willingly dropping to his knees for someone else. Her mother teased that perhaps Jia Yao's charm just wasn't enough to tame him. She arrogantly added that if he were her husband, she would have made him kneel and wash her feet every single day. Look guys, the arrogance in this family is just off the charts. Jia Yao seethed, declaring that she had been far too lenient during their marriage, promising to make his life a living nightmare if she got another chance. Desperate for revenge, she turned to her grandmother, demanding they immediately cut off all ties and severely sanction Qin Hongyan for breaking her word. But old Madam Wang furiously slapped her face, scolding for speaking such nonsense, reminding her that their crucial 70 million financing project was entirely in President Qin's hands. Even her father chimed in, telling Jia Yao to face reality. He pointed out that while she might be jealous, President Qin was simply playing in a completely different league. Throwing a total tantrum, Jia Yao cried out that if the family wouldn't help, she would go confront them herself. The old madam desperately ordered her to stay put. Deciding to handle things diplomatically, Grandma suggested they call President Qin directly to get to the bottom of this. The old madam picked up her phone and dialed. She put on a polite front, smoothly mentioning the rumors about Ye Chen, jokingly saying she would have gifted him to her earlier if she had known. But then her tone shifted, subtly pressing President Qin for an explanation regarding her broken promise to support the Wang family's boycott. On the other end, Qin Hongyan calmly apologized, stating she couldn't fulfill that specific promise. She thought to herself with a smirk, if this old bat knew her precious discarded son-in-law was actually the billionaire President Ye, she would literally have a heart attack. Not wanting to ruin the deal, old Madam Wang forced a smile and offered Ye Chen up as a trivial gift. Meanwhile, Jia Yao was thrashing in the background, muffled by her mother to keep her from screaming. The old woman then got to the real point, anxiously confirming that their massive 70 million financing project was still secure. Chen Hanyan reassured her, smoothly lying that their elusive President Ye had reviewed the proposal, liked it, but wanted a face-to-face meeting to discuss the final details. Old Madam Wang's eyes lit up with sheer greed. She eagerly promised to send Zhiqiang to meet this mysterious President Ye personally. Hanging up the phone, she sternly ordered Zhiqiang not to mess up this golden opportunity. He confidently guaranteed he would secure the deal. But then, Zhiqiang raised an eyebrow, asking if they were just going to drop the theft investigation against Ye Chen now that he had protection. A wicked, venomous glint crossed the old woman's eyes. She ordered them to keep digging for evidence, knowing it would be the perfect leverage to ruin him whenever they pleased. Wang Xiaoji immediately chimed in with a smug grin, claiming he had already found proof that Ye Chen had stolen from some local street thugs. Pleased with this, the old madam chuckled darkly. With solid criminal evidence, not even President Qin would be able to shield that pathetic loser. She then turned her sharp gaze to Jiao's side of the family, viciously scolding them for being completely useless compared to Ji Chankang. She cruelly insulted Jia Yao, saying she couldn't even control a live-in husband and that her pretty face was a complete waste. Unable to take the humiliation, Jia Yao burst into tears and sprinted out of the room, completely ignoring her mother's desperate calls. Tires screeched as Jia Yao sped down the highway in her luxury car. Gripping the steering wheel with pure rage, she swore to track down Ye Chen and teach him a brutal lesson. Moments later, her car aggressively pulled into the dimly lit underground parking lot of the Huasheng Group. Just as she parked, her eyes locked onto a scene that made her blood boil. There, walking comfortably side by side, were Ye Chen and the stunningly beautiful Qin Hongyan. Wang Jiayao watched in utter disbelief as Ye Chen walked past, chatting effortlessly with Qin Hongyan. She thought bitterly, this guy, after divorcing me, he actually dressed up so handsomely. Unable to hold back, she yelled, Ye Chen, you have no shame. You actually became Qin Hongyan's dog. Ye Chen stopped, while Qin Hongyan thought to herself, Wang Jiayao, why is this arrogant eldest miss of the Wang family here? pointing an accusing finger. Jia Yao spat. Ye Chen, you actually knelt to Qin Hongyan and begged for her forgiveness. Since you can throw away your dignity, why didn't you kneel to me back then and beg me to forgive you? She added with a twisted sense of self-righteousness. I gave you several chances. As long as you knelt down and begged me, you would still be our Wang family's son-in-law. Ye Chen's face darkened as he replied, You have the nerve to ask me why I didn't kneel to you? Don't you think that's too much? The day before yesterday, you got a room with that kid Fang and betrayed me, and you still wanted me to kneel and beg for your forgiveness? Jia Yao shot back defiantly. What about the times after that? Yesterday at the birthday banquet, I gave you a chance to kneel and beg me. As long as you knelt down, I would tell Grandma not to divorce you. Pointing sharply at Hong Yan, she yelled, Also, at the Westlake Hotel, if you had knelt down and begged me, I wouldn't have called the police. So why beg her and not me? I was your wife after all. Is kneeling to your wife that shameful? Ye Chen coldly replied, Kneeling to a wife isn't shameful, but kneeling to a cheating wife is extremely shameful. For the past 3 years, I really spoiled you rotten. Jia Yao screamed in rage. You spoiled me. It was clearly me who spoiled you. I shouldn't have been so good to you, causing you to be so arrogant now. You live in son-in-law. If I had known earlier, I should have made you kneel and pour my foot-washing water every day. Suddenly a sharp slap echoed through the garage as Qin Hongyan struck Jia Yao across the face. Qin Hongyan glared at her, her voice dripping with ice. You cheated first, yet you don't know how to reflect on yourself. And you actually say such things. As a woman, don't you feel ashamed? Tears welling in her eyes. Jia Yao stuttered. You dare to hit me? Qin Hongyan retorted fiercely. Yes, I hit you. Do I need to pick a special day? Look, I'm telling you guys, Qin Hongyan is an absolute boss. Jia Yao turned to Ye Chen, holding her throbbing cheek. You snatched my man, and you still want to hit me? Ye Chen just watched with a deadpan expression. Qin Hongyan gently patted Ye Chen's back and said, Forget it. Ye Chen looked down at Jia Yao one last time. You should go. I am no longer your man. Desperate to regain control, Jiao Yao shouted, Ye Chen, I order you to resign from Huasheng Group immediately. Qin Hongyan pays you an annual salary of 200,000, right? I'll give you 500,000. Qin Hongyan burst into laughter, while Ye Chen had to cover his mouth to hide a cough. Haha, you want to poach Ye Chen with 500,000? Aren't you being a bit too naive? Hongyan smiled confidently. Even if you add another zero, it's not enough. As Hongyan and Ye Chen turned to leave, Jia Yao was frozen in shock. She panicked internally. Could it be his annual salary isn't 200,000? It's 5 million? Is Qin Hongyan crazy? She then yelled, Ye Chen, wait! She quickly lunged forward, grabbing his arm. Ye Chen, you must resign today. Wang Xiaoji has already found evidence of you selling the watch. Once handed to the police, you will be sentenced. If you listen to me, leave Qin Hongyan and become my personal bodyguard. I can make Wang Xiaoji let you off. Ye Chen didn't even look back. Thanks for your kindness, but I really can't do the job of your personal bodyguard. He mocked her over his shoulder. I can't protect your safety while watching you get a room with other men, leaving Jia Yao fuming. Sitting comfortably in the driver's seat, Ye Chen calmly stated, If Wang Xiaoji has evidence, let him sue me however he wants. The luxury car sped off into the night, leaving Jia Yao screaming into the exhaust fumes. Ye Chen, you are not allowed to leave. Left completely alone, Jia Yao clenched her fists. She thought furiously, spending 5 million is definitely not just for a bodyguard. It's possible she's having Ye Chen double as a lover. Tears of pure jealousy streamed down her face. Ye Chen is also a scoundrel. Knowing she has a boyfriend, he's still willing. I'm so pissed off. In what way am I inferior to Qin Hongyan? Meanwhile, on the gritty 7th Street of Yunzhou, it was a notorious slum known for chaotic security, where a terrifying, heavily tattooed man known as Brother Gua ruled the underworld. Wang Xiaoji nervously entered the smoky hideout. Brother Gua relaxed on a torn sofa and smirked. Ah, young Master Wang, welcome. Sorry for not going out to meet you. Xiaoji nervously swallowed and brought out a black box. I came here to make a deal with Brother Gua. Here is a Richard Mille watch worth over 5 million. Opening the case to reveal the sparkling timepiece with a soft click, he offered. I plan to sell it to Brother Gua at a preferential price of 4.5 million. But you can't say I sold it to you, Xiaoji added cautiously. Just say someone named Ye Chen sold it to you. Brother Gua eyed him sharply. The injury on your face, that guy named Ye Chen gave it to you, right? Blushing furiously, Xiaoji shouted. Brother Gua guessed right. He is the live-in son-in-law of our family. I can't swallow this anger. I must send him to prison. Puffing his cigarette, Brother Gua shook his head. I can't help you with this. Master Lu said not to get involved involved in other people's family affairs. It's possible that after helping, they reconcile and we become the only sinners. That won't happen, Xiaojie pleaded frantically. He has already been divorced. Besides, who is Master Lu? Why do you have to listen to him? Instantly, a green-haired lackey stepped up and roared, "Idiot! Master Lu is Brother Gua's boss!" Xiaojie recoiled in terror. Brother Gua exhaled a cloud of smoke, his face serious. "Master Lu is my guide. Without him, there would be no me today. I treat his words like an imperial decree. You should find someone else." Clenching his teeth, Xiaoji pushed the box forward in desperation. "Brother Gua, I'll sell this watch to you for 4 million. Brother Gua calmly stood up, reiterating, "I said it, I treat Master Lu like my own parents. I must listen to his words." 3 million, Xiaoji yelled, his voice cracking. "I'll sell the watch to you for 3 million. You can earn 2 million just by reselling it." Suddenly, a fierce light flashed in Brother Gua's eyes. He smirked and declared, "Master Lu said, when mixing in the underworld, never go against money. Heaven is big, earth is big, making money is the biggest. Young Master Wang, I'll take this job." Afterwards, back in the luxury car, Ye Chen stared out the window and ordered, "From now on, without my order, you are not allowed to hit Wang Jiayao again." Qin Hongyan looked at him with a mix of curiosity and pity. "President Yi is feeling heartache for his ex-wife? She treated you like that. Don't you hate her?" Driving his car, Ye Chen said, "Hate and love are two sides of the same coin. Is there any difference?" Meanwhile, Qin Hongyan gazed at his profile, completely captivated. She thought, as expected of a young master, his insight and mindset cannot be underestimated. She continued pondering. He's handsome, his family is transcendent, and he's so magnanimous towards women. A sly, determined smile crossed her face as she resolved, since Wang Jiayao doesn't cherish him, I'll be the one to get my hands on this man. Later, at the serene Golden Pavilion Temple, Ye Chen and Qin Hongyan discussed the Wang family's ambitious first-class private residence project. Qin Hongyan crossed her arms, clearly frustrated on his behalf. She asked, "President Yi, do you really intend to give them the financing? The Wang family has been too cruel to you." With a calm demeanor, Ye Chen dropped a massive bombshell. "Actually, this project was my idea." Shocked, she gasped, "What? Could it be that the Wang family stole your idea?" "You can't exactly say that," he replied smoothly. He explained how Jia Yao's grandfather had passed away, leaving only good-for-nothing relatives fighting over tiny scraps of family property. He continued, "So I thought of this project specifically for the Wang family. It's a way for them to control first-class families without actually having to improve their own strength. I told Wang Jiayao my idea, but old Madam Wang ultimately handed the project over to Wang Jichang instead." Hearing this, Qin Hongyan's gaze softened. "They still value men over women. I actually quite sympathize with Wang Jiayao on this point. Yeah, her parents always pressured her and looked down on her," Ye Chen agreed softly. "And yet, the family forced a live-in son-in-law like me onto her." Qin Hongyan scoffed. "Even so, that's absolutely no excuse for her cheating. Look, she's spitting straight facts, guys." With a gentle, sudden motion, Ye Chen reached over and plucked a fallen autumn leaf from her dark hair. Locking eyes with her, he offered a warm smile and asked, "Hongyan, accompany me for a drink." Meanwhile, across town, outside a bustling bar, Jia Yao was throwing a massive tantrum, shouting, "I want to drink." Inside, she sat slumped at the counter next to her close friend, the striking Song Hongye. "Jia Yao, what's wrong with you today?" Hongye asked, swirling her wine. "Drinking in broad daylight? Who bullied you? Tell me, and I'll go teach him a lesson." "It's that Qin Hong Yan," Jia Yao burst out in pure frustration. "I was just scolding my disappointing husband. On what grounds did she have the audacity to slap me?" Bursting into pathetic tears, she wailed, "What is she to that useless Ye Chen?" Hongye smirked, explaining the harsh reality smoothly. "You have to look at the owner before beating a dog. Your ex-husband is her dog now, so of course she wouldn't just let you insult him." Jael grumbled bitterly into her glass. "I've only cheated once. In this day and age, what pretty woman hasn't cheated?" "Hongye, you even cheated twice," she accused out of nowhere. Hearing this, Hongye violently spat her drink across the table. The exact second she knew she messed up, look at her face. Wiping her mouth in a panic, Hongye defended herself. "Why bring me up? It's not like I was caught red-handed." Jia Yao shouted, "He's just a live-in son-in-law. Why couldn't he just endure it?" Jia Yao looked down, utterly confused. "I told him to kneel to me, but he refused." Yet he willingly turned around and became King Hongyan's bodyguard. I could give him money too. Hong Ye analyzed the situation like a so-called expert. Based on my understanding, Ye Chen has loved you deeply these past 3 years and wouldn't easily change his affections. The reason he rejected you to be her bodyguard is that he actually wants you to look up to him. If he used your money, he'd definitely still feel like a total freeloader, she deduced. Ye Chen wants to make a name for himself, make himself worthy of you, and then propose to you again. Hongye concluded with absolute confidence. A glimmer of foolish hope suddenly returned to Jia Yao's wide eyes. Yes, it must be like this. A smug, arrogant smile crept onto her face as her confidence level shot right back from 0 to 100 in a single frame. I knew this useless person still loved me, she boasted, casually flipping her hair. Trust me, the arrogance of this woman is truly unmatched, friends. Hongye casually suggested a toxic plan. You can marry Fang Chao first. If it really doesn't work out, just divorce again and let Ye Chen be the fallback guy. An honest man like him will definitely be willing. You are so bad, Jia Yao giggled drunkenly, but Ye Chen made me unhappy, so he deserves it. Changing the subject, Hongye asked curiously, right, hasn't Ye Chen always been at home as a house husband? Why did he suddenly start doing food delivery these past 6 months? Slumping onto the sticky bar counter, Jia Yao slurred. Half a year ago, he got some kind of illness and needed money, so he decided to earn it himself. Just then, her phone buzzed loudly. Hello, she answered groggily. On the other end, Xiao Ji's voice barked. Jia Yao, come to Grandma's place immediately. I found evidence of Ye Chen selling the watch. The very next morning, at the towering Huashang Group headquarters, as employees greeted him, President Ye Chen felt his phone vibrate in his pocket. He checked the screen, narrowing his eyes. Wang Xiaojie, hello? Ye Chen answered coldly. Xiaojie immediately sneered through the receiver. Ye Chen, come to Grandma's house quickly. I have already found evidence of you selling the watch. I'm very busy, I don't have time, Ye Chen replied dismissively. But Xiaojie pushed aggressively. Are you afraid to come? I've already invited the buyer. If you have the guts, come confront him face to face. Ye Chen narrowed his piercing blue eyes, thinking intensely. I never sold the watch. Where did Wang Xiaoji find a witness? Resolving to end the nuisance once and for all, he muttered into the phone. Whatever, I'll go make a trip and resolve this matter. Hanging up, he turned to his deeply flustered secretary, Zhou Rongrong, and commanded, Let's go, drive me to Xishan Villa. Startled, she quickly stammered an agreement. A sleek black Mercedes zipped down the sunlit highway. Inside, Ye Chen leaned against the window, deep in thought. He pondered, returning to Xishan Villa today as the president of Huashang Group. My feelings are definitely complicated. 30 minutes later, the luxury car pulled up to the grand gates of Xishan Villa. The driver's door popped open, and stepping out was none other than Zhou Rongrong, the high-profile secretary. Old Madam Wang and the others peeked from the courtyard, absolutely baffled. The old woman muttered, Why is Qin Hongyan's prized secretary driving, and where is Ye Chen? Then Secretary Zhou elegantly opened the back door and announced, President Yi, we have arrived. Ye Chen stepped out, looking like a total boss in his tailored suit. He calmly instructed Secretary Zhou to wait for him right there. The Wang family's jaws practically hit the floor. Jia Yao gaped in disbelief. Ye Chen, how is this possible? But of course, Wang Xiaoji couldn't handle it. He burst into arrogant laughter. Ha ha ha, Ye Chen, you're way too good at posturing. Tell us, how much did you pay Secretary Zhu to open your door like some CEO? Ye Chen sighed internally. A dog's mouth really can't spit out ivory. Wang Yanyuan added fuel to the fire, scoffing that everyone knew he was just a lapdog for President Qin. Just then, Ye Chen noticed something incredibly weird. Wang Jia Yao was actually smiling at him? Look guys, I'm telling you, her delusion is off the charts. Jia Yao happily thought, he really went to Huasheng Group just to prove his worth to me. His actions today are all for my sake. Xiaoji quickly cut the tense atmosphere, demanding Ye Chen to come inside and meet their so-called witness. Ye Chen followed, thinking these people clearly had mush for brains. As they walked down the long hall, the heavy double doors swung open, revealing a room full of heavily tattooed thugs. The leader, Brother Gua, smirked. Brother Ye Chen, we meet again. Ye Chen narrowed his eyes, wondering why these underworld hooligans were inside the villa. Ye Chen asked coldly when they had ever met. Gua laughed. Have you forgotten? A few days ago, you sold me a watch for 5 million. Xiao Ji jumped in, mocking Ye Chen for pretending not to know the notorious Brother Gua from the slums. Ye Chen shot back. Is this the witness you found, Xiao Ji? Really suits your style. Xiao Ji angrily accused him of spouting arrogance and stealing the watch. Old Madam Wang sneered, completely ignoring logic. You stole from the Wang family, yet you still dare to argue. Ye Chen maintained his cool composure. He firmly stated, Old Madam, I came here to clarify things. I never took your family's watch. The old lady furiously slammed the watch box, insisting it was a global limited edition and absolutely couldn't be a mistake. Gua pointed at Ye Chen, lying through his teeth. Kid, you sold it to me and bragged about using the money to book a week in the presidential suite. Gua challenged him to explain where the money came from otherwise. Meanwhile, Xiaoji smirked to himself, thrilled that their pre-rehearsed lines were working perfectly. But Ye Chen said, Originally, I wanted to interact with you all as an ordinary person, but I'll lay my cards on the table. I am the president of Huasheng Group. I am a billionaire. Is this reason enough? The room erupted into mocking laughter. Xiaoji clutched his stomach, laughing so hard he was in tears, accusing Ye Chen of ripping lines straight out of a comedy movie. Wang Yanyuan mocked him next. If you're really a president, I'd be willing to be your second wife, so my sister and I could serve you. Suddenly, Brother Gua clamped a heavy hand on Ye Chen's shoulder. Stop posturing, just kneel down and apologize to the old madam. Jie Yao then stepped forward, playing the merciful ex-wife. We remember our past ties, Ye Chen, so we won't send you to prison. Just kneel, admit your mistake, and you can slowly pay back the money you spent. She offered condescendingly. Ye Chen's eyes turned freezing cold. I didn't do anything wrong, so I will not kneel. And even if I did, you Wang family members are not worthy of making me kneel. That audacity struck a nerve. Old Madam Wang lost her mind, screaming to call the police and lock the useless son-in-law up for 10 years. Hearing this, Xiaojie panicked. If the police got involved, his secret scheme would definitely be exposed. Realizing the plan was derailing, Brother Gua barked at his men, hold him down and make him kneel. Two burly thugs grabbed Ye Chen from behind, trying to force him to the ground. Ye Chen didn't even flinch. He calmly adjusted his collar. I already told you you are not worthy. With a sudden burst of power, Ye Chen elbowed the guy behind him. Then he spun around and delivered a devastating punch, sending the thug flying with a heavy thud. Brother Gua broke into a cold sweat and yelled for his men to attack together. Confidence level dropped from 100 to 0 in a single frame. But suddenly, a tiny fluffy white poodle charged into the fray, barking fiercely at the massive thugs. The goons recoiled, thoroughly confused. Ye Chen scooped up the little dog, smiling softly. You little snob, Hua. Even though you belong to the old madam, I'm the one who fed you and cleaned up after you for years. And now, you're the only one trying to protect me. He looked back up at the stunned Wang family, his voice dripping with venom. Even a dog knows who treats it well. That's much better than certain people who are worse than pigs and dogs. Grandma Wang glared at the little poodle defending Ye Chen and snapped, Yuan, bring Hua back to me. Yuan scooped up the struggling dog with a loud humph, turning her back on Ye Chen as the poor pup let out a soft whine. Looking down, Grandma Wang issued her final warning. Ye Chen, I will give you one more chance. Take the initiative to kneel and admit your mistake, to spare yourself physical pain. But Ye Chen replied, then I will also say it again. You people are not worthy. Suddenly the thugs lunged forward. Die! One of them roared, swinging a heavy fist right at Ye Chen. But Ye Chen did not even flinch. He thought back to 4 years ago, before he ever married into the Wang family, when his family had thrown him into a brutal battlefield trial in Syria. With a swift, punishing kick, Ye Chen sent the first goon flying. He thought, these guys might be professionals compared to ordinary people. He countered with a devastating hook to another thug's jaw. But for someone who survived the battlefield all year round, this is basically child's play. In mere seconds, the elite thugs were groaning on the ground, completely overwhelmed. But just then, a massive meathead grappled Ye Chen from behind. Brat! He grunted, trying to lock him down. The scarred thug sneered, pulling out a sharp blade. Hold him tight. I am going to ruin his hand tendons. Brother Gua finally stepped up. Brat, you hurt my men. I am going to ruin you today. But instead of panicking, Ye Chen forcefully hit the meathead's head. With terrifying speed, Ye Chen unleashed a flurry of devastating strikes, sending a shockwave of pure force through his attackers. The loud crack of breaking bones echoed through the hall as the thugs screamed in agony. Grandma Wang and the others stood frozen, trembling as they whispered, Oh my God, how can one person's combat power be this terrifying? Sweat dripped down Grandma Wang's face as a horrifying thought crossed her mind. Could it be that the old man insisted on letting Jiayao marry Ye Chen because he knew about his skills? Jiayao stood silently, wondering if her grandpa made her marry him for protection. Qiang laughed. Dad really found a piece of work for your Jiayao. Thank goodness I refused back then. He continued, revealing a shocking family secret. Did you think Dad originally arranged the marriage for Jiayao? Wrong, he asked me first. Zhiqiang recounted how he had rejected the marriage because Ye Chen was just a countryside loser, and only then was the burden passed on to Jiayao. Xiaoji burst into laughter, mocking her cousin. So it turns out Jiao picked up the man my younger sister didn't want. She smirked at Jiayao, adding, fortunately, I was young and escaped a disaster. Big sister, you should enjoy this good fortune. Come on, guys. Family gatherings are supposed to be toxic, but this is on another level. Ye Chen paused, his expression darkening. He honestly did not expect there to be such a twisted story behind his marriage, his mind drifting back to 3 years ago, when he had just returned from his battlefield trial. Accustomed to loss, he was extremely eager for love and a family. He remembered seeing Jia Yao in her school uniform. At that time, he fell in love with her at first sight, thinking he would spend a lifetime with such a cute girl. Ye Chen clenched his fists, staring at the floor. He never expected that the two of them would end up like this. Snapping back to reality, Ye Chen mercilessly crushed Brother Gua's wrist with a sickening crunch. His eyes burned with intense anger as he demanded, "Speak, why did you falsely accuse me of stealing, and who instructed you to do it?" Sweating profusely but trying to save face, Brother Gua spat back, "I am in the underworld. I stopped caring about my life long ago. If you have the guts, finish me. But you will definitely regret it." Wang Xiaoji panicked. He shouted, "Ye Chen, stop! Do you really want to commit a crime in front of Grandma?" Internally, he thought, if he forces a confession out of him, I am ruined. Disgusted by their arrogance, Ye Chen dropped Brother Gua and grabbed his jacket. "I will say it again. I have never stolen anything. If you have evidence, call the cops and arrest me. Do not pretend you are doing this for my own good." As he walked away, only little Huahua scratched at the door, sad to see the only person who actually cared for him leave. Wang Xiaoji watched him walk out, trembling. "Dad, are we just letting him leave like this?" Wang Jichang glared, muttering, "No one here can beat him. We can only use other methods to take him out later." Afterwards, the Wangs rushed to appease the battered gang leader. "We severely offended Brother Gua today. Are you all right?" Brother Gua exploded in anger, demanding another million to compensate his men. Xiaoji immediately agreed, urging him, "Money is not an issue, as long as you can teach Ye Chen a severe lesson." Gua climbed into his van, nursing his injuries. "All right, I can definitely settle this matter. I am leaving." Looking back at the villa, Gua's face contorted with rage. He had been publicly humiliated and almost had his hand crippled. He was definitely going to get revenge. Meanwhile, in the luxurious Huasheng Group conference room, Ye Chen sat proudly in his new role. "Since everyone agrees, we will officially start our cooperation with Dingcheng Real Estate. Hang Yan, have the Wang family send someone over. Have them explain their plans in detail," he ordered. President Qin nodded respectfully. "Yes, I will notify them right away." Look guys, the ultimate payback is about to begin. Back at the Grand Exazon Villa, Wang Jiqiang held his phone, practically jumping with joy. "Mom, President Qin just called. Huasheng Group agreed to finance us 70 million, but he wants to discuss the project face to face." Grandma Wang smiled triumphantly. "Jicheng, you must perform well and leave a good impression on President Yi. We still want to continue cooperating with them." Hearing about the wealthy President Ye, Yan Yuan quickly grabbed her father's arm, asking sweetly, "Dad, can I go with you?" Yuan Yuan sighed. "I heard he's handsome and young, not like other CEOs." Jia Yao scowled, warning her, "Yuan Yuan, no matter how handsome President Ye is, he's already taken. Did you forget that President Qin and President Ye are lovers?" Unfazed, Yuan Yuan smirked and replied, "They are lovers, but they aren't married. Besides, I'm younger than Qin Hanyan, and I have a better figure. Why can't I snatch President Ye away?" Grandma Wang nodded in approval. Yuan Yuan's thinking is absolutely correct. In this world, outstanding people are very scarce. If you want them, you must fight for them. Wang Xiaojie eagerly agreed with his sister, Yuan Yuan. "This time you will go with your dad to Huasheng Group to meet President Ye," the old matriarch declared. Yuan Yuan cheered happily, throwing her fist in the air. Frustrated, Jie Yao stepped forward, arguing, "I was clearly the one who proposed the project first, but Grandma let Uncle's family take charge of it. I want to go too." Yuan Yuan hit back with a low blow. "Sister Jiachi, you're already a divorced woman. Would President Yi look for a woman on her second marriage?" "Come on, guys. That is brutally cold." Defeated, Jie Yao clenched her fists tightly. She thought bitterly, "It's like this every time Grandma's too biased." 1 hour later, Secretary Zhou comes into Ye Chen's office and announced, "President Ye, Wang Zhiqiang and his daughter have arrived together." Ye Chen calmly instructed Secretary Zhou, Let them wait in the reception room. With a sly smirk, he added, "Oh, by the way, don't serve them tea. Look, guys, the petty revenge has officially begun." In the reception room, Yuan complained about her tight, blue floral kipao. "Dad, why did you make me wear a kipao? Aside from the large slit on the leg, everywhere else is wrapped tightly." Zhu patiently explained. "You don't understand. If you dress too revealingly for first meeting, it will only make President Ye look down on you. Your goal is to marry into the Ye family, not to be his lover. You need to make yourself look classy." "Thank you, Dad. I'll definitely snatch President Ye back from Qin Hongyan's hands," Yuan promised enthusiastically. Zhiqiang grinned, plotting internally that if she succeeds, the position of the family head will be his. Over 10 minutes later, Yuan started to get impatient. "Why haven't they even served a cup of tea? Is Huasheng Group's hospitality this poor?" Poking her head out the door, Yuan demanded, "Secretary Zhou, serve us 2 cups of tea. I want black tea." The secretary politely smiled and told her to wait a moment. Another 10 minutes passed, and Yuan was practically fuming. "I'm so mad! This Secretary Zhou still hasn't served me tea." Her dad quickly calmed her down. "Once you become the president's wife, just fire her. Don't be angry. President Yi could come in at any time." Hearing this, Yuan immediately snapped back into a perfectly elegant posture. But half an hour later, she completely gave up, sprawling ungracefully on the couch. "Dad, I can't hold on anymore. Sitting like a refined lady is just too exhausting." Zhiqiang frowned, complaining. "It seems President Yi doesn't value us, actually making us wait for an hour." Suddenly the door opened with a soft click, and Ye Chen walked in. "Sister Yuan, I know you're very casual at home, but are you still this casual outside? Didn't your dad tell you that this is impolite?" Ye Chen scolded, making them both jump. Yuan gasped. "Yu Chen?" He casually inspected her outfit. Wearing a chipao. This is the first time I've seen you wear a chipao in these 3 years." Assuming he was hitting on her, Yuan quickly swatted at him. "I didn't wear this keytel for you, so don't go having any delusions about me. You aren't even worthy of Wang Jiayao. How could you possibly be worthy of me?" Zhiqiang stood up, looking heavily irritated. "Ye Chen, you're just a bodyguard. What are you doing up here? Where's President Yi?" Ye Chen silently thought. "These two still don't believe that I am the true manager of Huasheng." He replied smoothly, "You're here to discuss the project, right? Just tell me." Zhiqiang scoffed at him. "You're just a stinky bodyguard, a useless person who only knows how to fight. Do you understand projects? Do you understand business?" Ye Chen narrowed his eyes, turning towards the door. "So you're saying you don't want to talk? Fine, I'm leaving. Wait a minute." Yuan quickly grabbed his sleeve. Yuan Dorwan Dorans. "Don't leave just yet. I want to ask you something," she asked. "You have been Qin Hongyan's bodyguard these past 2 days, so you should be quite familiar with the affairs between Jin Hongyan and President Yi, right?" She leaned in curiously. "Then, can you tell me, how intimate is the relationship between Qin Hongyan and President Yi? Do they live together at night?" Ye Chen thought. "Wang Yuan has a big mouth. She'll spread anything. Might as well use her mouth to clear up the rumors." He nonchalantly answered, "The 2 of them broke up." Both of their eyes widened in absolute shock. "Broke up?" Immediately, Zhiqiang threw his hands up in joy. "Heaven is truly helping me. Heaven is helping my Wang family." Yuan burst into happy laughter, leaving Ye Chen completely confused. "Why are you 2 so happy that they broke up?" Yuan quickly regained her composure, sitting back down with a haughty, confident smile. She stammered, trying to show him fake respect. "Ye Chen, oh no, little Ye, that won't do. Little Chen." Ye Chen stared blankly, his thoughts a complete mess. "Changing my title 3 times in such a short while, what are you playing at?" Zhiqiang proudly declared. "You truly have a pig's brain. You're an employee of Huasheng Group now, right? Then your boss is President Ye, and President Ye's future wife is my daughter, Wang Yuan." He grinned arrogantly. "The family intends to have Yuan form a marriage alliance with Huasheng Group. If this succeeds, you brat will be related to our family." Ye Chen was practically sweating from the cringe. "I say, Sister Yuan, are you so confident that President Ye will take a fancy to you?" Yuan boasted. "As long as it's a man, it's impossible for them to be indifferent to me." Posing confidently in her kipao, she added, "Also, I've always suspected that the one who gifted the tens of millions jade bracelet at Grandma's birthday banquet was President Ye. Perhaps President Ye has been my fan for a long time." Looking at Yuan's smug face, Ye Chen thought to himself, "This woman really has way too much confidence. No need to investigate." That bracelet really was from President Ye. Overjoyed, Yuan grabbed him excitedly. Really? It was really from President Yi? I knew my intuition was right. She turned to her father, practically vibrating with excitement. Dad, did you hear that? President Yi really does like me. Wang Zhiqiang beamed with pride. I never expected my future son-in-law would be the president of Huasheng Group. Yuan giggled. I am telling Grandma as soon as we get back. Ye Chen watched them celebrate, utterly repulsed. What a disgusting family, he thought. They even want to intermarry again? Keep dreaming. Look, guys, their arrogance is honestly hilarious, considering the CEO is standing right in front of them. Suddenly, Yuan demanded to know where President Yi was so she could see him. Yan Chun calmly replied that he was in the reception room meeting guests. Impatient, she whined about why he was taking so long. Ye Chen smirked and casually added, well, the clients are a father and daughter, and the daughter, C, is somewhat pretty, blatantly flirting with President Ye. I doubt he will be free anytime soon. Hearing this, Yuan completely lost it. That woman is so cheap. Which room are they in? I'm going to go slap her. Her dad quickly pulled her back. Do not be impulsive. You cannot ruin President Ye's first impression of you. Calm down. Let's just wait here, Zhichang decided. As soon as he is free, we will be informed. Meanwhile, Ye Chen just turned around and quietly walked away. 5 minutes later, Secretary Zhou Rongrong approached the waiting father and daughter. Mr. Wang, Miss Wang, President Ye has left the company on urgent business. That smile vanished, oral quick. Both of them stared in absolute shock. What? Zhiqiang desperately asked if he would be back that afternoon, but the secretary politely dismissed them, asking them to head back for now. Afterwards, back at the Zishan villa, Jia Yao looked confused as her family walked in. What is going on? Did you close the deal? Yuan strutted forward. It is not about the contract. I have another piece of good news. Striking a proud pose, she announced to the room, the one who sent that 10 million jade bracelet at the banquet was President Ye of Huasheng Group. Jia Yao's eyes widened in sheer disbelief. She thought, I was really overthinking before. How could it possibly have been Ye Chen? Her parents were confused, asking how this was good news for them. Su Lan guessed that since President Ye and President Qin were lovers, it was just a joint gift, but Zhiqiang immediately shut that down. Sudlan, they broke up a while ago. Why would he send his gift separately if it was for her sake? Yuan stepped forward, dripping with arrogance. Isn't it obvious? President Yi must have given Grandma the gift because of me. Back then, Sis hadn't divorced Ye Chen yet. Grandma Wang happily clapped her hands. That makes perfect sense. Our Wang family's fortune has finally arrived. Yuan held her grandmother's hands, promising to develop things properly with the president and raise their family's status. Still skeptical, Jia Yao asked if the information was even reliable. Yuan scoffed. Your useless ex-husband said it. Of course it is reliable. Then she said, Grandma, President Yi was too busy to see us this morning. I'll go to the company alone this afternoon. Don't worry, I can handle the contract by myself. Glancing back with a smug, malicious look, Yuan added, Oh, right, sis. If you are free this afternoon, you can be my driver and take me to Huasheng Group. Yao exploded with embarrassment and anger. I am very busy. I do not have time to drive you, she yelled, internally furious that Yuan was humiliating her in front of the whole family. Without another word, Jia Yao turned and stormed out of the house, completely ignoring her mother's calls. Speeding down the road in her car, she gripped the steering wheel, tears forming in her eyes as she cursed, Damn it. Blinded by frustration, she suddenly swerved. With a heavy crunch of metal, her car smashed right into a tree off the side of the road. Guys, I am 100% sure she just ruined her own day. Sobbing over the steering wheel, she cried, It is all Ye Chen's fault for making me lose face like this. So annoying. Meanwhile, back at the Huasheng Group, Ye Chen was peacefully reviewing documents when his phone started ringing. The moment he answered, Jia Yao screamed through the speaker, You Chen, you jerk, I hate you! Ye Chen sighed, rubbing his temples. What is wrong now? He asked, quietly wondering why she was dropping her hard-to-get act. Jia Yao completely lost it. You pretended at first that you sent the bracelet. Why did you tell them the truth? Do you have any idea how much face I lost because of you? Leaning back in his chair, Ye Chen calmly replied, So that is what this is about. I just told the truth. They were the ones who refused to believe it. Tears streamed down her face as she yelled, Now everyone thinks the president likes Yuan. She actually told me to be her driver. If she marries him, I will have no status left in the family. Unfazed by her meltdown, Ye Chen coldly asked, Don't you have that Fang family, young master? How can Fang Chao compare to President Ye? She argued. He is not even the boss in his own company. He is not on the same level at all. Hearing his own ex-wife unknowingly praise his secret identity over her affair partner, Ye Chen honestly did not know whether to feel happy or annoyed. Misinterpreting his silence, Jia Yao snapped. Fang Xiao might not measure up to the president, but he is still 10,000 times better than you. All you do is embarrass me. This foolish woman, Ye Chen thought. He sharply interrupted her. If you only called to lecture me, I am hanging up. I am very busy. Panic immediately replaced her anger. Wait, she stuttered. I called because I want you to help me with something. Ye Chen's eyes narrowed slightly as he held the phone. What do you want? She said. Ye Chen, I don't want Wang Yuanyuan to develop things too smoothly with your President Ye. Ye Chen, looking annoyed, asked, What do you mean? Jia Yao ruthlessly suggested putting laxatives in her tea or tearing her dress, but Ye Chen sighed. All right, I'll help you with this, but there's no need for all this trouble. I'll just have President Ye not see her. He thought, I didn't want to see Wang Yuanyuan in the first place anyway. Ya Yao scoffed in disbelief. She yelled, Stop bragging. You're just a bodyguard. You tell President Yi not to see her and he just won't? Ye Chen simply replied, Believe it or not, and hung up the phone. Ye Yao glared at her screen, fuming as she complained. He actually hung up on me directly. This man is too arrogant. At 2 p.m., Wang Yuanyuan confidently strutted into the president's floor of the Huashang group. She demanded, Assistant Zhou, take me to see President Ye. But Zhou Rongrong calmly stopped her. Miss Wang, I'm sorry, but you should go back. Yuanyuan frowned. Why? Is President Yu not coming back all afternoon? Zhou Rongrong kept a straight face and lied smoothly. It's not like that. President Yi said you are too beautiful. If he discusses the contract with you, he is afraid he would put all his attention on you and forget about work. Therefore, he wants to change to someone else from your family. Yuanyuan's eyes widened in sheer delight. Change to someone else? Did President Yi really praise me for being beautiful? Zhou nodded, playing along perfectly. Yes, indeed. President Yi followed your short video account and often watches your videos. Yuanyuan practically glowed, boasting, President Yi is indeed my admirer. Look, guys. Her ego just skyrocketed. She smiled and said, Then I will let someone else come. Secretary Zhou, tell President Yi he can ask me out for coffee or a movie anytime he is free. Zhou politely promised to pass the message. With a soft sliding sound, Yuanyuan pushed a stack of cash across the desk. This is for you. Zhou asked, What is this for? Leaning in with a desperate glint in her eye, Yuanyuan whispered, Send me a picture of your President Ye. Zhou Rongrong quickly pushed the money back, rejecting the bribe. Miss Wang, I don't have a picture of President Yi either. However, Zhou leaned in and whispered, But I can tell you, President Ye is very handsome and about the same age as you. Yuanyuan gasped, completely starstruck. As Yuanyuan happily walked away, hearts floating around her, Zhou Rongrong smirked. She thought, what a silly girl with big boobs and no brains. Meanwhile, in Man City, country tea, a man poured a glass of whiskey. Lu Zhongkun, also known as Lord Lu, asked his battered subordinate, Zigua, why did you run all the way from Yunzhou to find me? What happened? Brother Gua bowed his head respectfully. Lord Lu's calculations are divine. I indeed have some trouble in Yunzhou and want to seek your help. After hearing the story, Lu Zhongkun exploded with rage. With a heavy thud, he kicked Brother Gua right in the face. He roared, What did you say, you insolent fool? I left you with some people back then. There should be at least 70 or 80 left. You only have 10 left, and they were all defeated? Bleeding from his forehead, Gua panicked. It's my uselessness. Please punish me, Lord Lu. Taking a deep breath, Lu lit a cigar. Forget it. Times have changed. Fighting and knocking people out is useless now. He looked out over an underground boxing ring and sighed. We are a group living on the dark side. There is no space for us to survive under the sun. That's why I left Yunzhou 2 years ago and shifted my focus to these poor places in Southeast Asia. Holding up his phone, Lu stated, I am an orphan just like you. The reason I have today's mindset and achievements is all thanks to Master Fang's cultivation. He then held up a finger, telling Gua to wait. As the call connected, Lu's tone shifted to pure respect. Master Fang, it's me, Lu Zi. I'm not disturbing your rest, am I? Watching this, Gua was in absolute awe. He thought, the legendary true big boss who brought Lord Lu up. Lu explained, It's like this. I plan to return to Yunzhou in the next 2 days to handle some matters. What? You are right in Yunzhou? That's great. I'll go up to see you immediately. Hanging up, Lu grinned at Gua. You're in luck, kid. Master Fang is right in Yunzhou. Gua's eyes lit up. Really? Then Lord Lu, can you introduce me to so I can meet our Grandmaster? A sharp slap echoed through the room. Lu struck Gua across the face, shouting, Is Master Fang someone a useless person who has achieved nothing like you? I even have to make an appointment in advance to see him. Turning away, Lu commanded, Book me a flight. I'm going to visit Master Fang and handle that kid named Ye Chen you mentioned along the way. Gua rubbed his cheek, a sinister smile forming. He thought, Great, I want Ye Chen out of the picture for good. Out loud, he quickly replied, Yes, Lord Lu. Later that night, back at the Wang residence, Wang Jiqiang sipped his wine, feeling confident. President Yi actually didn't plan to, so he couldn't seriously discuss work. Yuan, it seems President Yi is really infatuated with you. Yuan proudly agreed. Of course. Kang then turned to his son. Since President Yi asked to change to someone else again, Xiaojie, you go see President Yi tomorrow. Xiaojie smirked, checking his phone. Xiaoji replied, All right, it just so happens I'm also going to find that useless person Ye Chen tomorrow. He glared at his screen, thinking, Tomorrow, Ye Chen will regret being born into this world. The next day, the sun shone brightly over Master Fang's extravagant villa in Yunzhou. Lu Zhongkun arrived, respectfully bowing his head as he greeted Master Fang. Master Fang sat calmly, adjusting his round glasses. Zhongkun, you're a boss of a region at any rate. No need to bow to me. Holding his hat, Lu insisted. That I, Lu Zhongkun, have today is all thanks to Master Fang. I wouldn't dare to forget this great favor for the rest of my life. He then asked, Master Fang, haven't you been in the UK for the past 2 years? Why did you suddenly return to the country, and to this city of Yunzhou of all places? Taking a slow sip of his tea, Master Fang revealed, The old master sent me here to assist the third young master. Lu was visibly stunned. He exclaimed, Could you be talking about? To think the third young master is actually in Yunzhou? I really didn't expect that. He remembered that the master above Master Fang was a truly important figure. Looking across the world, he was among the most powerful group of people. Master Fang warned him sternly, Tell your subordinates not to run around blindly. If they disturb the third young master, you'll be the one bearing the severe consequences. Sweating nervously, Lu agreed, Yes. Lu hesitated before asking, Master Fang, can you tell me what the young master looks like, so that this lowly one won't have eyes but fail to recognize Mount Tai and offend the young master, which would be a crime deserving of severe punishment? Without a word, Master Fang waved his hand and an attendant promptly stepped forward. The attendant handed Lu a photograph. Master Fang instructed, This is the third young master. He is currently undergoing the family's trial mission. Do not disturb him. When you are needed, I will naturally call you. The old butler asked Lu S why he had suddenly returned from Southeast Asia. Lord Lu explained he brought 100 thugs back to help his underling, Zigua, deal with some local trouble. Master Fang adjusted his glasses with a stern look, stating firmly, I do not care what you do, just do not let it affect the third young master. Unaware of the storm brewing in the city, Master Fang invited Lord Lu to sit down for a casual game of chess. Back at the Huasheng group, Wang Xiaojie paced the reception room, fuming after being ignored for 2 whole hours. What is wrong with this CEO? He obviously likes my sister, so why am I getting the cold shoulder? Frustrated, he decided to take his anger out on Ye Chen. Downstairs, Ye Chen stared at his phone, his eyes narrowing coldly as he saw Xiaoji's name flashing on the screen. Afterwards, Xiaoji stormed right up to Ye Chen, angrily demanding, Kid, where's your President Yi? Ye Chen kept a totally deadpan face and replied, President Yi, he is chatting with a total fool right now. Missing the insult entirely, Xiaoji burst into loud laughter. I also think that guy is a fool for chatting so long. Yes, in Chen sighed. You really lack self-awareness. The fool I am talking about is you. Xiaoji sneered, mocking Ye Chen for dressing up like a wealthy president when he was just a lowly bodyguard. Getting up close, Xiaoji aggressively pointed a finger right in his face. You humiliated me in front of the city's big shots, and I am not letting that slide. Ye Chen casually brushed him off, mocking him about his failed thug brother Gua. But Xiaojie just smirked, warning him that Gua had just gathered 100 top-tier fighters from his boss to ambush him after work. Hearing this, Ye Chen's eyes narrowed as he thought, I have been commuting with Qin Hongyan lately. If those thugs attack us and she gets hurt, that will be a real problem. With a soft sliding sound, Ye Chen loosened his tie and casually challenged him. Why wait? Have them come to the company's parking lot right now. It is better to settle this directly. Xiaoji immediately pulled out his phone, ecstatic. Good, I will have Brother Gua send them right now. If you have the guts, come down and wait. Without another word, the two of them walked down into the eerie, silent expanse of the underground parking garage. Suddenly, Xiaoji started leaping around with sharp hisses and heavy thuds, wildly smashing the security cameras. Ye Chen watched, utterly bewildered. What are you doing? Xiaoji turned back, looking incredibly smug. Now that I have destroyed the surveillance cameras, even if I beat you to a pulp, there will not be any evidence. Trust me, guys, this villain's IQ is dangerously low. Ye Chen cracked a sinister smile, rolling up his sleeves. Is that so? Then by your own logic, if I beat you to a pulp here, there will not be any evidence either, right? The exact second he knew he messed up. Look at his face. Xiaojie stumbled backward, completely terrified by the demonic aura radiating from Ye Chen. He stuttered, asking what he was going to do. A series of devastatingly heavy blows rained down as Xiaoji screamed in pure agony. Ye Chen gripped him tight as Xiaojie cried out for him to stop. Ye Chen sighed, asking if he was stupid and wondering why Xiaojie thought he wouldn't beat him up first before the backup arrived. Holding the battered Xiaoji suspended by his collar, Ye Chen was suddenly interrupted by a loud shout echoing through the garage. Let him go. Brother Gua had finally arrived, flanked by a squad of heavily tattooed, muscular fighters. He pointed forward, roaring, "Everyone, get him!" Ye Chen released his grip, calmly facing the advancing wall of 10 elite fighters. With a thunderous dash, Ye Chen blurred into motion. He effortlessly dodged and struck with devastating force, sending the thugs flying in every direction. Despite his speed, Ye Chen realized these men were surprisingly tough. Gua shouted from the sidelines, promising to send another 10 men to make sure Ye Chen could never work as a bodyguard again. Confident in his numbers, Gua smirked. "Stop struggling, Ye Chen. If you kneel, call me boss, and serve me. I will spare you." Ye Chen glared back with piercing, dangerous eyes. "You are not worthy." Laughing arrogantly, Gua pulled out his phone. "Lord Lu, you need to send an expert who can fight 10 at once." Back at the Grand Estate, Lord Lu's eyes widened in shock. "What? An expert who can take on 10 people? Give me the location. I am heading over right now." Just 10 minutes later, a fleet of sleek luxury cars screeched into the dark parking garage. Gua rushed up to the lead car like an eager puppy as Lord Lu's foot stepped out with a heavy thud. Gua desperately pleaded with his boss. "Lord Lu, I told you 10 was not enough. Just send the whole 100 to crush him." But Lord Lu was not listening at all. He shoved past his subordinate, growling, "Useless trash, get out of my way." Lord Lu marched forward, eager to see what this legendary fighter named Ye Chen looked like. Ahead, Ye Chen was just landing a brutal kick on the last of the initial squad. Ye Chen wiped his cheek, breathing heavily. He thought, "Those 10 consumed a lot of my stamina. It might be too risky if another dozen rush me at once." Scanning the new arrivals, Ye Chen locked eyes with Lord Lu. He strategized internally. To catch the bandits, first catch the ringleader. I need to subdue this Lord Lu first. Coughing slightly to clear his throat, Ye Chen stood tall. Lord Lu finally got a clear look at his face, and his confident expression completely shattered. "Guys, I think he just pooped in his pants." Xiaoji, bruised and arrogant, pointed a shaky finger, shouting for Lord Lu to beat him until he begged. But Lord Lu was sweating profusely, stuttering out in absolute horror. Lord Lu delivers a massive punch right on Xiaojie's face. Xiaoji tilted his head, completely confused by the underworld boss's sudden punch. With a loud, echoing thud, the terrifying Lord Lu dropped straight to his knees, trembling as he bowed before Ye Chen and yelled, "Young master!" Guys, the exact second Lord Lu realized who he was dealing with. His soul left his body. Kneeling firmly on the ground, he stared wide-eyed at Ye Chen and exclaimed, "Young master, I am Master Fang's underling." Wang Xiaoji was completely baffled by this. He pointed frantically and shouted, "Lord Lu, what are you saying? He is our family's live-in son-in-law. Did you mistake him for someone else?" Ignoring the idiot entirely, Lu Zhengkun turned his blazing wrath to his own subordinate. "You useless person," he roared at Brother Gua. "Hurry up and kneel before the young master." Gua pointed at himself, utterly confused. Without hesitation, Lord Lu grabbed Gua by the hair and forced him down with a heavy thud. "Kneel down for me. Bow 100 times loudly, and if even one isn't loud enough, start over." Slamming his head repeatedly against the concrete, the once fierce gang leader pleaded desperately, "Brother Ye Chen, Master Ye Chen, I, Exigua, have offended you. Please be magnanimous." Wang Xiaoji watched in absolute horror. His confidence level dropped from 100 to 0 in a single frame as he trembled. What is going on? How did Ye Chen suddenly become Brother Gua's master? Ye Chen looked down with a cold, unbothered expression. "Alright, no need to bow. You just need to explain clearly to the Wang family that I didn't steal the watch." Desperate to save his own skin, Brother Gua instantly threw Xiaoji under the bus. "Yes, I will tell them that Wang Ji instructed me to do this." Xiaoji panicked, shouting, "Hey, you can't betray me." Hearing this arrogance, Lord Lu furiously yanked Xiaoji backward by his hair. "You're the one who falsely accused our young master? Men, throw him into the Luhe River." Xiaoji slid forward and desperately hugged Ye Chen's leg, crying out, "Brother-in-law, save me! We are family! Guys, I am 100% sure he just ruined those trousers." Ye Chen looked utterly disgusted. "Who the hell is your brother-in-law?" he scoffed. Xiaoji begged pathetically, offering to get both of his sisters, Ye Yap and Yuan Yuan, drunk and send them to Ye Chen's place as an apology. With a sharp hiss, Ye Chen kicked Xiaoji squarely in the chest. "You animal!" he yelled. "One is your biological sister, yet you're going to give them away as gifts? Do you have any humanity left?" Turning his back on the pathetic scene, Ye Chen ordered, "Let him off for today." As the thugs pulled him up, Xiaoji continued to wail for help. Before leaving the parking garage, Ye Chen cast one last cold glance over his shoulder. "After you go back, you must explain clearly to the Wang family about framing me." Xiaoji scrambled away like a frightened rat, eagerly stuttering his thanks to Brother Chen. Afterwards, Lord Lu bowed respectfully. "Young master, I brought 100 thugs from Southeast Asia. I am willing to offer them all for your use." Ye Chen replied, "I know. Take your men and leave first." Meanwhile, back at the luxurious Xishan villa, Xiaoji sat on the couch with a horribly swollen face. When asked about his injuries, he quickly lied, claiming he had just accidentally crashed his car. He then nervously admitted the truth about the watch. "Grandma, I took the watch to frame Ye Chen. He thought, this guy has connections with bad gangs, I'd better not provoke him." Grandma Wang sneered, totally brushing off his warning. "Forget it. That Ye Chen isn't so clean either. Otherwise, where did he get the money to stay in a 5-star hotel?" She quickly changed the subject. "By the way, Xiaoji, did you go to Huashen Group today and see President Ye?" Frowning deeply, she muttered, "What does this President Yi mean exactly? Could it be that he won't agree to talk unless I take action personally?" Jia Yao stood quietly nearby, listening intently. Stepping forward, Jia Yao offered, "Grandma, how about letting me try? This project was originally planned by Ye Chen and me. Perhaps President Ye is just waiting for the real project planner to appear." Su Lan glared harshly at her daughter. "Our whole family went, and President Yi wouldn't see us. You think too highly of yourself, don't you?" But Grandma Wang intervened. "Jia Yao, you go and give it a try," she ordered, ignoring Su Lan's absolute shock. Banging her cane on the floor, the old lady declared, "If it still doesn't work, I will personally visit President Ye. We must cooperate with Huasheng Group at all costs." Later that afternoon, Yahello arrived at the towering Huasheng Group building and nervously asked Secretary Zhou if the president was in. Zhou Rongrong politely handed her a drink on a tray. "Miss Wang, please wait in the reception room. President Yi is still busy." Taking a sip, Jiayan noticed a familiar sweet taste. "It's honey water," she whispered softly. A wave of melancholy hit her as she sat alone. She thought deeply. For the past 3 years, Ye Chen would make me a cup of honey water every morning. At this time, inside the Grand President's office, Qin Hongyan checked her phone and reported, "Wang Jiayao is here." She looked over her shoulder, asking softly, "Do you want to see her?" Ye Chen sighed, adjusting his suit. "I refused the others. If we refuse them again, the Wang family will definitely think we're messing with them. Let's just give them the 70 million. He then instructed, "Hongyan, bring the contract over." She nodded professionally. With a soft click, Ye Chen pushed open the heavy wooden door to the reception room. Jia Yao gasped in pure shock. "Ye Chen, it's you!" Looking at her, Ye Chen thought to himself how she always liked to wear this comfortable yet very pretty style at home. Recovering quickly, Jia Yao forced a smile. "President Yi is very busy, right? I guess he won't be able to come for a while. You can sit down and chat with me." Ye Chen kept a completely cold expression. "I have nothing to talk to you about," he stated bluntly. He handed her the blue folder. "Take a look at the contract. If there are no problems, you can sign it. The 70 million will be transferred in 3 installments within a week." Jia Yao was stunned. "President Yi has already agreed?" she thought, flipping the cover open. "I guessed he would need to look into it more." Suddenly her eyes widened in complete disbelief as she looked at the paper. This, printed boldly on the front page, was the project title. "Fairest Classis Jailen." Her voice trembled as she looked up. "Why is it this name? Come on guys, get ready for the feels." She looked up at him and thought Ye Chen gave this project when we were planning it half a year ago. A memory flashed in her mind, of him smiling brightly behind a laptop screen. He had told her, "This project is made for you, so how about calling it First Class Jailen?" Half a year ago, Ye Chen secretly planned a massive project for the Wang family. He thought, because I came up with this for Wang Jiayao, I'll name it after her. First Class Jiahu. He had planned to use his own family's money to fund it once his 3-year trial ended. Looking at the contract, Jia Yao asked softly, "Is this named after me?" Ye Chen recalled his original intention. This was supposed to be his grand gift to his wife. But who could have predicted her betrayal? Ye Chen calmly explained that the original name sounded too much like dead residents, which was bad luck, so it was changed to Jiahu. He asked coldly, "What, do you not like this name?" Jia Yao stared at him, her mind racing. "You begged President Yi to use this name, didn't you?" she thought to herself. "He's just a bodyguard. Why else would the real President Yi listen to him? Did he kneel and beg?" Suddenly she stepped closer, gently gripping his wrist. She whispered, "Thank you, Ye Chen." He quickly brushed off the gratitude, claiming President Yi just liked how it sounded. But Jia Yao wasn't buying it. She thought confidently, "Why are you so afraid to admit it? I know you still love me. Look, I'm telling you guys, the delusion is real with this one." Avoiding her gaze, Ye Chen simply replied, "Let's not talk about this. Just sign it." She stamped the contract, thinking about how happy this would make her grandmother. "All right, I'll file this," Ye Chen said, turning to leave. But Jia Yao quickly called out, "Wait a minute." She smiled, offering to treat him to lunch as a reward. "That place you love outside the city. What was it called? Little Duck Instant Noodles?" Ye Chen coldly rejected her. "I don't have time. And by the way, it's called Little Chicken Instant Noodles. You've been there so many times, yet you never even remembered the name." He thought bitterly. "It seems you never loved me at all." That struck a nerve. Jia Yao flared up, shouting, "I accompanied you to that rundown shop so many times. I've already been good enough to you." She stormed past him, declaring, "If you don't want to go, fine. I'll just go eat Western food with Feng Chao." But the moment she stepped out the door, she froze. Standing right there in the hallway was the stunning Qin Hong Yan. "Miss Wang," she greeted smoothly. Intimidated, Jia Yao quickly bowed her head and stuttered, "President Qin." As Hong Yan walked past, she thought with disdain, this foolish woman actually brought up that idiot just to provoke President Ye. But glancing at Ye Chen's darkened expression, Hong Yan realized he clearly still cared about his ex-wife. Stepping closer, she suggested, "If she made you angry, you can just tear up the contract and cut off the Wang family completely." Ye Chen shook his head. "I won't change what I promised." Suddenly, Hong Yan playfully tugged at his tie. She admitted she overheard their conversation and, claiming to be a huge foodie, asked if he would take her to that little chicken noodle shop instead. When he agreed, her serious executive persona instantly shattered into a cute, victorious cheer. An hour and a half later, they arrived at the humble eatery. Ye Chen warned her that a wealthy woman like her might not be used to such ordinary food. She replied, "How can delicious food be divided into cheap and noble? I even eat stinky tofu that costs a few bucks with great relish." Watching her adapt so easily, Ye Chen thought, she really built her success from scratch. She is definitely nothing like those average rich girls. Just then, Han Yan stumbled on the uneven pavement, gracefully grabbing his arm for balance. She softly apologized, blaming the potholes in her high heels. "It's okay," Ye Chen offered gently. "Hold on to me, I'll lead you across." Feeling her warmth, a painful memory surfaced in his mind. For 3 years, he had desperately wanted to hold his wife's hand like this, but she had rejected him every single time. And in the end, the man who got to hold her hand and embrace her was his enemy. Hong Yan immediately noticed his dark aura. "President Yi, what's wrong? You look awful." Snapping back to reality, he forced a calm tone. "It's nothing, Hong Yan. Just call me by my name when we're outside." But she pressed on, sensing his deep frustration. "Ye Chen, what were you just thinking about? You looked incredibly unhappy." He brushed it off again, but internally, his blood boiled. Jia Yao is probably enjoying some expensive Western food with that arrogant scum right now, isn't she? His mind went to a very dark place. He seriously considered having Lord Lu permanently cripple his rival. Guys, I am 100% sure he would actually do it. Meanwhile, at a high-end restaurant in the city center, Jia Yao wasn't with Feng Chao at all. She'd called her close friend Song Hongye out for a meal instead. Sliding a document across the table, Jia Yao simply said, "Look." Hongye's eyes widened in shock. "Not bad. You actually secured the massive contract, and it's even named after you." Leaning in with a sly smirk, Hongye teased, "How did you pull this off? Did you sleep with President Ye?" Offended, Jia Yao scoffed. "Don't think of me as that cheap. Am I that kind of woman?" Hongye deadpanned, reminding her that she literally agreed to go to a hotel with Feng Chao for that exact same reason not too long ago. Flustered and embarrassed, Jia Yao snatched the contract back. "You're so annoying!" But deep down, Jia Yao felt a twinge of guilt. She thought, I only got involved with Fang Xiao because he promised to save our family's finances. I just wanted Grandma to finally respect our branch of the family. Gently tracing the contract, she thought softly, even though Ye Chen is just a poor delivery guy, I really loved his project proposal. I wanted to help him make it a reality. Who knew we would eventually end up getting divorced? Jia Yao sat with her friend Hong Ye, acting like a total victim. She sighed, I thought I was making a sacrifice for the family, but that guy Ye Chen couldn't help with anything. I was only pretending to go along with Fang Chao to get the investment, don't misunderstand me. Hong Yi smiled reassuringly. Sigh. Alright, you aren't a casual woman. You are the most pure woman in the world, okay? Don't be angry, my dear. Leaning forward, Hong Ye asked, but why would President Yi use your name for the project? Jia Yao replied smoothly. It was Ye Chen who begged President Yi. Hong Ye's eyes widened in disbelief. Wow, Jia Yao, you betrayed him. Yet he was still willing to put down his dignity and go beg President Yi on his knees to change the project to your name. Ye Chen loves you really deeply. Flipping her hair, Jia Yao looked incredibly smug. Of course, I am the #1 beauty in Yunzhou. Hong Ye chuckled. Impressive, impressive. Hong Ye took a sip of her tea, her eyes gleaming with calculation. So, you just follow the suggestion I gave you. Marry Fang Chao first, use his family to elevate yours, and then fight for the property against those two little pests, Wang Xiaojie and Wang Yuanwen. She smirked, laying out the ultimate gold digger master plan. By then you won't even be 30 years old. You will already be a rich lady. At that time, if you can't stand that playboy Fang Chao, just divorce him. If you want fresh meat, find fresh meat. If you want to remarry your ex-husband, remarry him. Jia Yao nodded enthusiastically. Sister, remember to give me a hand when the time comes. With a soft clink of their teacups, the two women toasted to their greedy ambitions. And you have to cheer for me more, Jia Yao smiled. Come on, guys, this level of arrogance is just mind-blowing. Later that evening at the Zheshan villa, Yuan crossed her arms impatiently. Wan Jia Yao, why did you call us all here? I already agreed to go see a movie. Her uncle chimed in. Don't be impatient. Maybe she signed the contract with Huasheng Group. Suddenly, Jaiwa slammed the blue folder onto the table with a heavy thud. I have already signed the contract. The 70 million will arrive in the account soon. Wan Yuan and her uncle stared in absolute shock. How was that possible? Yuan snatched the folder, her eyes scanning the pages frantically. I don't believe it. What? First class Jaichi? Yuan scoffed, her face twisting with jealousy. Sister, these aren't fake, are they? You actually even changed the name. You're too narcissistic. Do you even deserve this? Jia Yao simply crossed her legs, radiating confidence. Uncle, aren't you very familiar with President Qin? Didn't she tell you? Panicking, Uncle Jikang quickly pulled out his phone. President Qin, I want to ask, is the matter of this contract true? It's really signed and the name was changed? He hung up the phone, sweating bullets as he looked at Yuan. The contract is true. Look at her face, guys. Just then, Grandma Wang walked into the room, beaming with joy. Good, Jia Yao, well done. To think that you actually negotiated the 70 million, Grandma will reward you heavily. Yuan practically exploded with envy. What exactly did you do to President Ye to make him name the project with your name? Jia Yao glared back. What nonsense are you saying? I didn't even see President Ye. Furious, Yuan threw the folder back onto the table with a sharp slap. Who are you fooling? Would President Yi sign a contract with you without meeting you? Let me remind you, you are a divorced woman now. You are not worthy of President Yi. He is mine. Unable to handle it, Yuan stormed out of the room in a jealous rage. Yuan! Grandma Wang called out, but she was already gone. Jia Yao turned to the matriarch. Grandma, I really didn't seduce President Yi. I negotiated this contract fair and square. Grandma Wang's expression turned cold and calculated. Then for this project, Zhichang will act as the director. Jia Yao, you and your father will act as deputy directors. Work hard together to complete it. Jia Yao's jaw dropped in absolute disbelief. I signed the contract, and the project is named after me. Why am I not the director? Chikyung bumps her and said, Bastard, a junior like you wants to climb over my head? Jia Yao, your experience is still shallow. Grandma dismissed her coldly. Follow your uncle and father to learn first. In the future, Grandma will definitely put you in an important position. Jia Yao stood frozen, gripping the folder so tightly her knuckles turned white. Her own family was stealing her credit. She gritted her teeth and replied, "Yes, I understand." She forced a fake, sweet smile. "Thank you, Grandma. I will definitely continue to work hard for the Wang family." But internally, she was seething. "I am still too weak right now. When I become stronger, I absolutely will not let anyone take away my achievements again." Meanwhile, outside Wang Yenyuan's home, she slammed her car door shut, fuming. With a divorce status like hers, Wang Jiayao still goes to seduce President Yi. How shameless! Inside, Yuan Yuan began stretching aggressively, sweat glistening on her skin. "I put in no less effort than anyone else to make my figure look good. I absolutely cannot let her hook up with my President Yi. What should I do?" Suddenly, a wicked smirk crept across her face as she picked up her phone. "Isn't the best way just to make Wang Jiayao get married again? Once she becomes a married woman, she won't be able to hook up with President Yi, right?" she thought maliciously. "Hey brother, give me Feng Chao's phone number. I have a use for it." At a neon-lit bar, Feng Chao stared at his screen, surprised. "Is this the Wang family's sister Yuanyuan? That little girl with the great figure, why would she contact me? I'll add her in a bit." Hearing his voice, Yuanyuan rolled her eyes, thinking, this pervert. Out loud, she played sweet. "Are you busy, Brother Chao? I want to chat with you about something." Feng Chao smirked. "Not busy. Tell me what's on your mind." Yuanyuan wasted no time dropping the bait. Today, Sister Jiayao successfully negotiated the 70 million contract with Huasheng Group, and it's even named after her. Everyone says President Ye has taken a fancy to her. Feng Xiao's eyes went wide. "What? President Yi of Huasheng Group. His strength is unmatched in Yunzhou." Yuanyuan pressed her advantage. "Brother Feng, you have to hurry up and pursue my sister. It would be best to propose to her directly." Feng Xiao hesitated, sweating nervously. "I really do like your sister, but she just got divorced. Wouldn't it be a bit early to propose?" Yuanyuan yelled into the phone. "Early for what? My sister is the #1 beauty in Yunzhou. If you hesitate, you won't get her." Feng Chao's greed quickly overtook his doubt. He thought, indeed, even though she is on her second marriage, she and Ye Chen were husband and wife, in name only. He recalled how close he had come before. "That time at the hotel, I originally wanted to claim her, but it was ruined by that guy Ye Chen." A vile, arrogant smile spread across his face. "How can I let the perfect prize that has already reached my grasp fly away? Since someone in the family is willing to help, I will completely conquer Wang Jiayao." He replied smoothly, "Sister Yuanyuan, then I'll have to rely on your help." Suddenly, Qin Hongyan hit the brakes with a heavy thud. Feng Chao had brazenly stepped right in front of her car. Annoyed, she stepped out, demanding, "Feng Chao, what are you doing here?" Spreading his arms, he smirked and casually replied that she wasn't answering his calls, so he had to intercept her. He arrogantly added, "Ye Chen is your man now. If I want to make a move on him, I still have to go through you first." Hongyan crossed her arms, her eyes narrowing. "Tell me," she said smoothly, "what exactly is the matter?" He reminded her of his promise to the Wang family to never let Ye Chen have a place to live in Yunzhou. Hongyan just raised an eyebrow, quietly repeating Ye Chen's name. Feng Xiao complained that Ye Chen was now staying in a 5-star hotel. Believing Ye Chen was just her lowly bodyguard, Feng Xiao offered to pay 10 times his annual salary if she would just fire him. "Consider it doing me a favor," he bargained. "Fire Ye Chen?" Hongyan muttered, her eyes widening in mock surprise. "You will offer him 10 times his annual salary?" Feng Chao proudly puffed out his chest. "A bodyguard makes at most 200,000. 10 times is 2 million, which is absolutely nothing. Yes, I can still make the call for this amount of money." Hongyan could barely hold back her laughter. She smirked, telling him she couldn't make that call herself and would have to ask Ye Chen directly. She thought, "This is incredibly amusing. I have to tell Ye Chen." Meanwhile, Ye Chen casually picked up his phone in his luxurious office. "Hello, Hongyan. You said Feng Chao is looking for you?" With a playful smile, she relayed the message. "He wants to pay 10 times your salary to have you resign from the Huasheng Group. Do you want to consider it?" "I think this price is quite tempting." Ye Chen let out a dark chuckle. "What is there to consider? For 10 times the salary, I will definitely go. Let him transfer the money first. Once it is in my account, I will resign directly." Hongyan turned back to the arrogant young master. "Ye Chen agreed," she announced. Feng Chao's face lit up with a victorious, arrogant smile. He confidently pulled out his phone, thinking that as long as the money is enough, this poor boy Ye Chen will get lost wherever he wants. "President Qin," he declared, "please send me his bank account number." "I have sent it," she replied with a sly grin, instructing him to transfer the funds immediately. Feng Chao asked what the salary was, assuming it was barely a couple 100,000. Feng Chao stared at his screen, muttering, "Alrighty, 6.7 million. Yan quickly corrected him. His salary is 67 million, so you need to transfer 67 million. Confidence level dropped from 100 to 0 in a single frame. Fang Chao shrieked in absolute panic. How much? 67 million? Nonsense! Even the CEO of Huasheng does not have an annual salary that high. Hong Yan just let out a soft, mocking laugh. Sweating bullets, Fang Chao snapped, asking if she was messing with him, insisting he was seriously trying to buy Ye Chen out. Unfazed, Hong Yan calmly replied, I am also very seriously doing a deal with you. She stepped closer, pointing a finger at him with an icy tone. If you do not have that much money, do not talk so arrogantly in the future. There is always a sky beyond the sky. Do not look down on anyone. Completely humiliated, Fang Chao stormed back to his car, warning her not to regret protecting Ye Chen like a loyal dog. Before driving off, he rolled down his window with a smug sneer. He bragged that he was preparing to propose to Wang Jiayao and invited them both to the upcoming wedding. You had better educate Ye Chen properly, Feng Chao mocked as he sped away. Lest he ends up crying like a dog at the wedding. Ha! Look guys, Qin Han Yan is playing 4D chess while Fang Chou is still playing checkers. She smiled to herself, hoping they would get married quickly so Ye Chen could finally move on, leaving a better chance for her. Afterwards, inside the Grand President's office of the Huasheng Group, Ye Chen stood powerfully by the window, looking down at the sprawling city. Sitting nervously at the desk was Zheng Hong, the owner of Yongzhou Catering. Confused, Zheng Hong asked what the boss of the largest group in Yongzhou wanted with a simple restaurant owner like him. Ye Chen did not mince words. Boss Zheng, I want to take over all your restaurants in Yunzhou. He coldly guaranteed that within 2 months he would completely defeat their mutual rival Zheng Wei. Name your price, he demanded. Zheng Hong was ecstatic. Sweating with excitement, he asked for 60 million for all 7 restaurants, promising to fully cooperate with Ye Chen to absolutely ruin Zheng Wei. Deal, Ye Chen declared. He remembered Zheng Wei's arrogance at the banquet and vowed to erase him from the industry as a matter of courtesy. A few days later, on the bustling Pinglai Road commercial street, pedestrians noticed a massive change. A young woman pointed out that the local restaurant had just changed its name. The breathtaking new establishment, named Yunzhong Yun, was absolutely magnificent, leaving the crowd whispering about who could possibly afford such an upgrade, assuming it was Ba Shang. Meanwhile, across the street, a heavy fist slammed onto a wooden desk with a violent thud. Zhong Wei glared out of his window at the towering new competition. Why did the restaurant opposite change its name? He growled, wondering if they were planning to challenge his Lu Wai Lu. A nervous waiter informed him that Boss Zheng's restaurant had been sold a few days ago, and the new name was likely chosen by the mysterious newcomer. Zhang Wei's face twisted into an arrogant sneer. He thought, where did this reckless kid come from to go against me? When the time comes, he will lose everything. Turning away from the window, he ordered his staff to keep a close eye on the rivals. Striding into his luxurious main hall, Zhang Wei addressed his lined-up employees. Today we are holding a very important proposal ceremony here. Everyone must prepare to the highest standard. No mistakes are allowed. At that exact time, outside a luxury jewelry store, a stunning diamond ring was presented in a pristine teal box to a very wealthy customer. Fang Chao admired the blinding jewel, snapping the box shut with a confident grin. He planned to put on a grand proposal and win Wang Jieqi over in one fell swoop. Later, walking together, Jieqi seemed distracted. Fang Chao, a casual meal is fine, she sighed, mentioning she was too busy with work. But Fang Chao insisted, revealing he had specially booked a table at Lu Wai Lu for this very special day. Leaning in close, he smoothly added that Lu Wai Lu was conveniently close to her company anyway. Just then, Jieqi's eyes caught the blindingly grand entrance of the new establishment. Is that shop newly opened? She asked, completely mesmerized. She stared in awe. Yunzhong Yun. What a grand restaurant. When did this open opposite Lu Wai Lu? Seeing her amazement, Fang Shao's mind instantly calculated the absolute wrong conclusion. Assuming Zhang Wei owned it, he arrogantly smirked and immediately pivoted, telling his baby he would arrange for them to eat at Yunzhong Yun instead. Guys, a massive romantic setup was unfolding at the restaurant, drawing a huge crowd of curious onlookers. The event staff were running around with bundles of roses and balloons. Everyone was buzzing, realizing a rich tycoon was about to propose. And the lucky lady? Wang Jiayao stepped in, looking absolutely stunning in her elegant black dress. The bystanders were completely mesmerized, heavily sighing that such a beauty only belonged to the super rich. Watching from the balcony above, Ye Chen's eyes narrowed. He muttered, "In my restaurant, without without my permission, casually occupying my venue, and you want to propose to my woman? The audacity. He immediately turned to his manager, ordering her to clear out that pile of trash on the second floor and take back the microphone. Downstairs, Fang Xiao was already on one knee, holding up a sparkling ring. He smiled warmly. Chi-Chi, are you willing to? Suddenly his microphone went completely dead. He tapped it in confusion, asking if it was working. Just then, a squad of waiters marched in with blank expressions, holding large, sharp needles. With sharp hops and tearing sounds, they began ruthlessly destroying all the expensive confession balloons. Fang Xiao panicked, waving his arms around. What are you doing? Ah, my roses, do not sweep them away. The bystanders couldn't help but laugh at the ruined proposal. Glad she wasn't marrying this arrogant rich kid. Honestly, Yahello was actually sighing in relief inside. Furious, Fang Xiao roared, "Call your restaurant boss out here. Do you even know who I am?" He puffed up his chest. "I am Fang Xiao. Let him ask around about my status." Suddenly, calm footsteps echoed down the stairs. Ye Chen appeared, looking down coldly. "What are you blindly roaring about here? Get out! Do not affect my guests." Fang Xiao sneered. "Ye Chen, this is none of your business. Step aside. I am looking for the boss." Standing next to the stunning Qin Hongyan, Ye Chen confidently declared, "I am the boss of this restaurant." Both Fang Tao and Jia Yao stared in absolute shock. Fang Chao yelled in denial, "Stop acting tough. The previous owner sold all his restaurants to the same person. That person spends 60 million. How could a loser like you have that?" Ignoring his nonsense, Ye Chen casually glanced at the cleaning auntie. "Auntie, hit his face with a broom, and I will multiply your salary by 10. The auntie's eyes lit up. 10 times? Okay. She swung that broom with heavy force, smacking him right in the face. She even spat on him for good measure. Fang Xiao shrieked, asking if she had a death wish. The auntie just shrugged, replying that she simply does whatever her boss pays her to do. Wiping his face, Fang Xiao glared at Ye Chen. "So you are the one ruining things for me. What, seeing me propose to Jiaqi? You got jealous?" Ye Chen looked at Jia Yao with dead eyes. "I have already divorced her. Your proposal has absolutely nothing to do with me. However," he added sharply, "in my restaurant, you follow my rules. Without my permission, you cannot do any of this." Refusing to accept defeat, Fang Xiao smirked. "I do not believe you have the money. President Qin is the real big boss here, right?" Qin Hongyan elegantly leaned in, revealing she only had some shares, and there was nothing wrong with following one's own boss to make a fortune. Fang Xiao proudly held up his ring box. "Ye Chen, at most you own 1%. What are you so cocky about?" "But I am different!" He popped the box open, revealing a massive rock. "This 3-carat diamond ring is worth over 4 million. You couldn't buy this in your whole life." Then he dropped to his knee again. "Jiaqi, marry me," he begged, holding it out to her. Watching this, Qin Hongyan thought, Fang Xiao is intentionally humiliating Ye Chen. But if she agrees, I will have a better chance with Ye Chen, she realized with a sly smile. Ye Chen remained silent, his steady gaze waiting to see what Jia Yao would do. Sweating nervously, Jia Yao stammered, "Fang Xiao, can you let me think about this a bit more?" Fang Xiao confidently stood up, chuckling that he was in no rush and she could take her time. "But you should at least accept the ring first," he insisted, pressing the box toward her. Jia Yao glanced bitterly at Ye Chen. "As long as I want them, plenty of people rush to give me diamonds. But what about a certain someone? He claims to be a CEO, yet he has never given me a ring." She sighed. "Forget it. You are just a live-in son-in-law. What is the point of me saying this now?" Ye Chen stared right into her eyes. "If you had not betrayed me, I would have given you a 21-carat diamond ring right now." He remembered a year ago when they watched a movie, and he warmly promised her a 21-carat ring as compensation for not having one. Inside his pocket, his hand trembled slightly as he tightly gripped a small hidden ring box, but Jia Yao just scoffed, "Liar," and walked away. Afterwards, Ye Chen sat down for coffee. Qin Hongyan gently noted, "She didn't agree today, but she didn't refuse either." She leaned closer, asking, "President Yi, do you hope she marries him? And then tell them one day you are the true president of Huashen Group, making her regret it." Ye Chen calmly tapped his teacup. "You guessed half right." His eyes glowed with a terrifyingly cold light. "It will not be after they get married, but on the very day of their wedding. Look, I'm telling you guys, this revenge is going to be legendary." He planned to crush them exactly when they thought they had won, revealing his true identity while they were at the altar. Hongyan thought back to Jia Yao's poor choices with a slight smirk. On the day she thought she married into a wealthy family, she realized she had missed out on the true wealthy family. Look guys, the regret is real. She thought how utterly devastating it seems Chen really intends to not let her go back. Meanwhile, in his new office, Ye Chen was calmly sipping his coffee. "Come in," he ordered, hearing a knock at the door. The blonde manager stepped in, holding a tablet. "Boss, you are not mistaken. We checked the surveillance and the singer's microphone was definitely swapped before going on stage. We brought the culprit over," the manager continued, as two staff members dragged in a struggling man in a tropical shirt. "What are you doing? What do you want with me?" the saboteur yelled frantically. Ye Chen sat back effortlessly, glaring down at him. "You were sent by Zhong Wei, right?" The saboteur's eyes darted nervously around the room. "Who is Zhong Wei? I do not know him." But his evasive gaze immediately gave his lie away. Ye Chen narrowed his eyes. "Hand over your phone." The guy sneered in pure arrogance. "Make me! Who do you think you are?" Sighing, Ye Chen prepared to move. "You just have to do it the hard way." Just then, Qin Hongyan stepped forward with a competent smile. "President Yi, let me handle this." The saboteur smirked, looking her up and down. He thought, "How is this skinny woman going to subdue me?" He said, "Your figure isn't bad. You're 10 times more of a piece of work." With a swift twist and a heavy thud, Hongyan slammed him face first onto the table. "I presume your phone definitely has the person who directed you in it, right?" she demanded as he screamed in pain. He panicked, sweating profusely as she grabbed his hand. "Let go of me." She casually pressed his thumb to the scanner, unlocking the device. "Ye Chen, catch," she said, playfully tossing the phone over. But the exact second Ye Chen caught it, his eyes widened. "Watch out!" The saboteur broke free, lunging forward in a blind rage. "You daring broad, snatching my phone. I will end you." With a soft sliding sound and a devastating impact, Hongyan simply grabbed his arm and slammed him hard onto the floor. Dusting herself off, she gracefully adjusted her dress. "I am sorry, President Yi. I have disturbed your tea drinking." The little secretary rushed in, hugging Hongyan tightly. "President Qin is so mighty." Groaning from the floor, the thug shouted insults. "If you have guts, let us fight in bed. I will play you to death." Hongyan slammed her stiletto onto his chest with a heavy thud. "Kid, no matter where we fight, I am the one playing you. However, you aren't worthy of enjoying that treatment." She shot a very deliberate, flirtatious look at Ye Chen. "Only a truly powerful man is worthy of competing with me." Ye Chen coughed awkwardly. He thought her gaze is way too naked and obvious. Checking the phone, he confirmed, "He really does have chat records with Song Wei. I will contact him," Ye Chen decided, immediately dialing the number. Hongyan watched him dial, deep in thought. After all, they had 3 years of feelings. Ye Chen might still like a little girl like Jie Yao right now. She imagined herself pinning him down on a bed, smiling wickedly. However, that is because he hasn't been with a real woman. Only after trying it personally will he experience the charm of a mature woman. Meanwhile, a phone began to ring on a distant desk. Zhang Wei picked up, expecting good news from his saboteur. "Hello, little Sanzi." But instead, he heard, "Boss Zhang, long time no see." Zhang Wei froze in his tracks, instantly recognizing it was not his man. "Who are you? Why are you using his phone?" Ye Chen smirked over the line, his tone dripping with sarcasm. "Boss Zhang really is an important person with a short memory. A few days ago you wanted to cut off my livelihood in Yunzhou, and now you don't recognize me?" Recognition hit Zhang Wei like a truck. "You are the Wang family's useless live-in son-in-law. What do you want?" Ye Chen's voice turned incredibly cold. "You sent people to cause trouble in my restaurant. I still want to ask what you want." The exact second he knew he messed up. Look at his face. Zhong Wei panicked, thinking, "You bought the Yunzhong Yun restaurant? How does he have so much money and resources?" Desperately trying to save face, Zhong Wei forced a confident laugh. "You want to take revenge on me? Little brother, I have been in the catering industry for decades. You absolutely cannot beat me." 20 minutes later, outside Zhong Wei's Lu Wai Lu restaurant, Lord Lu arrived with a massive group of heavily armed toughs. "Lord Lu, everyone is here," a lackey announced. Lord Lu glared menacingly at the building. "Young master ordered us to cause a little trouble for Lu Wai Lu. Have you all memorized the plan?" The men eagerly shouted their agreement. Inside, Zhong Wei was happily oblivious to the incoming disaster. "Boss, a lot of foreign guests are here," his manager cheered. Zhong Wei smiled brightly. "Wonderful. Tell the chefs to put their hearts into the dishes." Suddenly a waiter rushed in, his face pale with horror. "Boss, bad news. The guests are all foaming at the mouth and have fallen down." Zhong Wei dashed out to the dining hall, shouting to save them. But it was too late. The entire floor was covered with unconscious patrons. Standing safely across the street, Hongyan and Ye Chen watched the chaos unfold. "What happened at Lu Wai Lu?" she asked. Medics rushed around frantically as an onlooker gossiped. "It seems to be mass food poisoning. Several hundred Southeast Asian guests. There aren't even enough ambulances." Ye Chen watched with cold satisfaction. For a restaurant, a situation where someone dies from eating, the impact impact is immeasurable. Add to that hundreds of people sent to the hospital. Lu is completely finished. Guys, I am 100% sure Zhang Wei just ruined those trousers. Over the next half-month, Ye Chen completely took over the city's high-end venues, and all those who had threatened him at the Wang family banquet mysteriously vanished from Yunzhou like smoke. Meanwhile, at the Zhishan villa, the Wang family was hosting a lavish dinner, totally unaware of who was pulling the strings in the city. Did you guys hear? One relative gossiped. The boss of Golden Mines skipped town, and Zhang Wei's restaurant is being transferred. They used to be so influential. Wang Jiqiang laughed dismissively. Zhang Wei even came borrowing money, claiming he suffered from Ye Chen's revenge. How laughable! Ye Chen is just a bodyguard. How could he have such great capability? Trust me, the ignorance of this family is truly unmatched. Changing the subject, another relative smiled at Yahello. Right, sister has been in the limelight. Fang Chao has consecutively proposed 9 times. Everyone is passing around rumors about when she will agree. Grandma Wang gave her a stern look. The Fang family's conditions aren't bad, and that kid is deeply devoted. His dad called me. Your constant refusal is making them lose face severely. Jia Yao swirled her wine, her expression calculating. Indeed, I cannot delay too long. The Fang family is my stepping stone. I cannot mess up my plans for Ye Chen. Grandma, at the concert tomorrow, when he proposes for the 10th time, I will agree. Everyone cheered. Good. Our Wang family is going to have a joyous occasion again. Come, let's drink a cup in advance to wish Jiaqi a happy new marriage. Suddenly, her sister glanced around the room in confusion. Where did brother run off to? Outside in the courtyard, Wang Xiaoji was frantically whispering into his phone. Hello, brother Ye Chen? Yes, it's me. At the banquet just now, Jia Yao said she will agree to Fang Xiao's proposal tomorrow. Do you need me to ruin this whole thing? Meanwhile, Wang Xiaoji paced nervously with his phone to his ear. He was terrified of Ye Chen's hidden power and desperately tried to play peacemaker. He pleaded, Brother Chen, Long Jiaqi is being foolish. With just one word from you, I can completely ruin her proposal. Don't stop it. Just let her agree, Ye Chen ordered firmly. Surprised, Xiao Jie continued to complain. But Brother Chen, why let that kid Fang Zhao succeed? We both offended you. My heart won't be balanced. Ye Chen sat back in his office chair, a cold smile forming on his lips. Rest assured, he replied, Fang Chao's fate will be even more miserable than yours. Hearing this, Xiaoji quickly tried to earn some brownie points. He assured Ye Chen that wherever his sister stayed, she slept alone, and only went to public places during the day. Ye Chen sighed softly, maintaining his cool composure. Even if they did something, it has nothing to do with me, he stated. Xiao Jie chimed in knowingly, pointing out that as men, they all secretly hope nothing happens between their exes and new rivals. Amused by the sudden deep talk, Ye Chen teased him. Xiaoji, I didn't expect your words to become more and more philosophical. You have made progress. Xiaoji proudly declared that his next sentence would be even better. How about marrying my sister instead? Xiao Jie pitched eagerly. Grandma said those with big butts can give birth to sons. Look, I'm telling you guys, trying to sell off your own sister to save your skin is a new level of desperate, annoyed by the absolute nonsense. Ye Chen snapped, get lost, and immediately hung up the phone. Just then, his phone buzzed with a new message notification. He opened it to find a barrage of private, revealing selfies of Xiaoji's sister, accompanied by a text urging him to reconsider since she had such a great figure. Ye Chen stared at the screen, completely dumbfounded. Without a second thought, he blocked the number. Leaning in his chair, he thought, Jia Yao, you are finally going to marry Fang Chao. You two can finally be together openly. Afterwards, the scene shifted to a massive, brightly lit stadium where the highly anticipated God of Songs concert was in full swing. The dazzling performer stood under the spotlight, announcing to the massive crowd that the next song was a special fan request. Suddenly, Fang Chao appeared on stage, holding the microphone confidently. He requested a love song for his girlfriend Wang Jiayao and revealed his plan to propose right then and there. He stepped down and gracefully knelt before Jiayao, presenting a sparkling diamond ring. The crowd erupted into chants, urging her to marry him. Jia Yao, are you willing to marry me? He asked smoothly. The audience around them went completely wild, swooning over the sheer extravagance and romance of the public gesture. Overwhelmed by the moment, Jia Yao blushed deeply, clutching her hands to her chest before softly replying, I do. Sitting amongst the cheering crowd, Qin Hongyan stood up elegantly, her gorgeous figure drawing attention as she watched the spectacle. She smirked confidently to herself, thinking, the fate between Wan Jieqi and Ye Chen is completely over. which means this good man will finally be taken by me. Later that night, heavy rain poured down on Rose Villa. Ye Chen stood by the glass door as Hong Yan finally arrived. She was completely drenched, apologizing profusely for her messy state, while explaining her struggles with losing her ticket and the terrible traffic jam. Ye Chen calmly handed her a dry towel, which she accepted with a gentle and grateful smile. As she dried her hair, Hong Yan casually mentioned the big news from the concert. "Ah, right. Today, Fang Cha proposed to Wang Jiayao, and she agreed." Ye Chen paused for a brief moment, letting out a soft sigh as the news settled in. Staring out into the rainy night, Ye Chen's eyes sharpened with resolve. "The retaliation against the Fang family has officially begun," he declared. Turning back to Hong Yan, he outlined his ruthless plan to reduce the prestigious Fang family into an uncultured, second-rate joke before the wedding could even happen. He then asked her to brief him on their operations. Hong Yan quickly explained that Fang Chao's father managed a nationwide chain of express hotels, which had recently dropped significantly in valuation down to 3 billion. Wasting no time, Ye Chen made a call to an influential contact. "Uncle, long time no see. I am Chris," he greeted warmly. The man on the other end was thrilled to hear from him. The older man praised Ye Chen for completing his trial and preparing to conquer the business world. Ye Chen humbly shifted the focus to business matters. He casually brought up the struggling Yijia hotel chain. The man remembered it well, noting that the owner had been begging him for help. "Do you want me to help him one more time?" he asked. A dangerous smirk crept onto Ye Chen's face. "No, on the contrary, I want you to point him down a path to destruction." Inside a luxury car, the shadowy figure of Master De Blue chuckled. "Wow, looks like this unlucky guy provoked someone he should not have," he mused, happily agreeing to assist the future head of the Yi family. As Ye Chen ended the call, Hong Yan looked at him in sheer awe. "Trust me, guys, the power to ruin an entire empire with just one phone call is the ultimate flex." However, Hong Yan pointed out that ruining their investments would take time, and the wedding was fast approaching within the next 2 months. Ye Chen simply smiled, his eyes gleaming with strategy. "I know. I have already arranged for people to take action." The scene shifted to a dimly lit street corner later that night. Inside a hidden hideout, Lord Liu gathered his tough underworld men. "Everyone has almost recovered, right?" he asked firmly, to which they all shouted their readiness. Then he declared, "Now you guys bring women yourselves, or go alone to book rooms in these hotels. I've sent the hotel names to the group chat." He laid out their dirty mission. They were to book rooms in the Fang family's hotels, search for hidden cameras, or install their own, to completely expose and ruin the hotel's reputation. The young master's orders were absolute. Back at the villa, Hong Yan picked up her dossier, thoroughly impressed that Ye Chen was already 10 steps ahead. She continued her report, explaining that Feng Xiao was currently making investments with hundreds of millions from his father, while his older brother was practically useless. Meanwhile, outside an exclusive venue, a pair of elegant red high heels stepped into a shallow puddle. A stunning woman in a lavish red dress emerged. Hong Yan warned Ye Chen in a voiceover. "She is a daughter of the Liu family. This woman has a very deep background. You need to be careful." Ye Chen reviewed the documents closely. He asked, "Is this Feng Chao's mother? I didn't expect the mother of a beast like Feng Chao to be so beautiful." He paused, studying the picture. Feng Chao didn't inherit his mother's genes at all. Shin Hong Yan nodded, holding a file. "Feng Chao takes after his father. Yenzhou's upper-class circles all feel that Feng Xianzu is not good enough for Liu Rushi. Her family background is much better than his. Back then, he used despicable means to get her." Ye Chen stated confidently, "There's no need to care about the Liu family. They are too insignificant. Nothing to be afraid of." Exactly 1 week later, Feng Chao was losing his mind behind the wheel. He screamed into his phone, "What? Ye Chen Company also went bankrupt? How could a perfectly good company go bankrupt?" He gritted his teeth. "What's going on lately? The profitable companies I invested in have all blown up one after another. If this continues, the money I threw in will all be lost." Sweating profusely, Feng Chao begged his father, "Dad, my luck hasn't been too good lately. The companies I originally invested in have all gone bankrupt. Could you give me another 100 million? His father replied, "The company needs money. A couple of days ago, I talked with the World Hotel tycoon Paul Dubleu. He told me to reopen the hotels that went bankrupt in the past, and then continuously expand into 3rd and 4th tier cities." He then questioned, Dad, didn't he oppose our blind expansion like this before? Fang Jianzhu barked back through the phone. What do you know? Times have changed. He is Paul. Do you dare to question him? Fang Xiao argued back. Dad, we can't put all our eggs in one basket. What if Master De Blue's advice this time is wrong? Most of the money has been invested, at least 1 to 2 billion. If we lose it, our Fang family will be bankrupt. His father was completely dismissive. Enough. Are you trying to lecture your father? How about this? I'll give you another 500 million. Just stop talking nonsense. Fang Xiao's panic instantly vanished, replaced by a wide grin. Thanks, Dad. I'm going to use this 500 million to make 5 billion. Sitting next to him, Wang Jiayao asked, What are you so happy about? Fang Xiao proudly replied, My dad just gave me another 500 million. He couldn't resist throwing a jab. The father of that useless person, Ye Chen, probably couldn't even take out 50,000 for you. Ha ha. He glanced at her. By the way, we've already gotten our marriage certificate. Shouldn't you change how you address me? Jiayao hesitated, a blush creeping up her cheeks. She stuttered nervously, finally calling him honey. Her mind, however, drifted back. She thought, for the past 3 years, I've always called Ye Chen honey. She thought, Ye Chen, if only you weren't a live-in son-in-law. I really don't want to call anyone else honey. Shaking off her thoughts, Jie Yao smiled politely. Perhaps this is the destiny between Ye Chen and me. Honey, take me to Huashang Group. I want to personally deliver the wedding invitations to President Ye Chen and President Qin. Fang Tao kept his eyes on the road. Sure. By the way, did we miss Ye Chen? Jia Yao replied coldly. He is my ex-husband. Why invite him? Smirking, Fang Chao pulled out a pen. It's only interesting if we invite him. Are there any unused wedding invitations? Give me one, I'll invite him. He scribbled a vicious note on the card. Ye Chen, if you are a man, come with us and let me show you what a so-called high-end wedding banquet is like. He thought to himself, I'm going to make Ye Chen roll out of there in embarrassment. Wrapping his arm around her, Fang Chao leaned in. By the way, Jia Yao, come sleep at my place tonight. I've been really annoyed these past 2 days. The companies I had my eye on have all gone bankrupt. Help me relieve some stress. Jia Yao nervously looked away. Grandma said we can't live together before marriage. Fang Chao sighed. Just wait a little longer. Anyway, we'll be married in a week. Annoyed, Fang Chao thought. Your grandma is really old-fashioned. This woman is so cunning. Up until now, apart from touching her hands and feeling her up a bit, I haven't gotten anything else. Staring blankly at the passing cars, Jia Yao reflected. Yu Chen, you can't blame me for choosing Fang Chao. Actually, I like you too. As the towering Huashang Group building came into view, she continued her silent monologue. But compared to Fang Chao, you are still lacking too much. If you have to blame something, blame the fact that we met at the wrong time. Inside the lobby, Qin Hongyan greeted her with a calculating smile. Mrs. Fang, you look so beautiful today. Marrying into a wealthy family has made your whole aura much more noble. Jia Yao handed over an envelope. Thank you for the compliment, President Qin. By the way, I came today to give you and President Yi wedding invitations. Qin Hongyan raised an eyebrow. Is the wedding date set? Yes, Jia Yao confirmed with a soft smile. In exactly 1 week, May 12th, Qin Hongyan paused, genuinely surprised. She thought, May 12th? Isn't that Ye Chen's birthday? Jia Yao noticed her reaction. How come President Qin remembers Ye Chen's birthday? Recovering quickly, Qin Hongyan let out a soft laugh. Oh, his birthday just happens to be on the same day as my dad's. I've seen Ye Chen's ID card, so I remembered it. Leaning closer, Qin Hongyan decided to test her. Mrs. Fang, Ye Chen is still your ex-husband after all. You two did love each other once. Choosing to get married on his birthday doesn't seem very good, does it? Or is it that you completely forgot his birthday is on this day? Jia Yao nervously defended herself. Of course I remember his birthday, but the wedding date was set by the Fang family. She remembered Fang Chao laughing as he declared he wanted to make all of Ye Chen's future birthdays miserable. I also tried to persuade Fang Chao not to choose this day, but he insisted on it, so there was nothing I could do. Desperate to change the subject, Jia Yao asked, Is President Yi in the office? Can I go give him the wedding invitation? Qin Hongyan smirked, a strategic glint in her eye. I think he's there. Please, go ahead. She thought, since Wang Jiayao is already married to Fang Chao, then it doesn't matter if she knows who President Ye really is. Jia Yao stood before the heavy doors of the president's office. At her knock, a deep voice answered, Come in. She stepped inside, immediately freezing as she caught sight of the man standing by the window. Her eyes widened in utter disbelief. Why does President Yi's back look so much like she softly called out. Ye Chen? Then, realizing her mistake, she quickly asked, is President Yi not here? The man turned around. It was Ye Chen dressed in a sharp suit. Can I help you? Flustered and confused, she handed him the envelope. When President Ye comes, give this to him. Ye Chen looked down at the ornate card. He read the mocking text detailing his own ex-wife's marriage to his rival. He muttered, this is. Jai Yao broke the heavy silence, looking incredibly uncomfortable. Fang Chao and I have set the date. It's on your birthday, May 12th. Ye Chen simply stared at her, an intense, terrifying aura radiating from him. Unable to handle the pressure, Jai Yao yelled defensively, don't look at me like that. I didn't set the date. Look, guys, the exact second she knew she messed up. Look at her face. A dark, mocking smile formed on Ye Chen's lips. Choosing to get married on my birthday? Are you sure you're not asking for complete ruin? Jai Yao was heavily intimidated. She stuttered nervously, pointing out the extra card was an invitation just for him. Internally, Ye Chen gritted his teeth, thinking this woman was crossing a massive line. Unfazed, Ye Chen read the handwritten note aloud. Ye Chen, if you are a man, come, and I'll let you see what a top-tier wedding looks like. He scoffed. Did Fang Chao write this? He leaned in close, declaring, I've received the invitation. You can get lost now. Panic setting in, Jia Yao grabbed his arm tightly. Ye Chen, how about you just don't come? She pleaded with him, completely misreading the situation. I know you still love me, and you'll definitely be very sad that day. Getting drunk and causing a scene fighting would be too embarrassing. Ye Chen forcefully swatted her hand away. You think I would cause a huge scene at your wedding because of you? Wang Jiayao, you're overthinking it. He glared at her. Since your husband wants me to go so much, then I'll go. Don't worry, I won't get drunk and cause a scene. Brushing past her, Ye Chen headed for the door. Then I'll be leaving now. Left alone in the massive office, Jia Yao shivered. She thought, I feel like there's something hiding behind Ye Chen's smile. Why do I feel a chill in my heart? Then she just leave from his office. High up in the Huasheng Group tower, Qin Hongyan glared out the window. She crossed her arms and sneered. Fang Chao is really courting death. He actually chose to get married on your birthday. He's clearly trying to make you unhappy. Ye Chen narrowed his eyes, his voice dripping with annoyance. Trying to use a wedding to overshadow my birthday? Idiot. He turned to Hong Yan. Notify the company's partners about the date of my birthday. Hong Yan's face instantly lit up. Yes, she cheered, secretly thinking this was the perfect opportunity to throw him a grand banquet and finally confess her feelings. Fast forward to the morning of May 12th, the day of Fang Chao's wedding. But instead of celebrating, Fang Chao was pacing furiously, screaming into his phone. I lost money again. How could this happen? He hurled his phone in a fit of rage, gritting his teeth. Over the past week, my dozen or so companies have suddenly gone bust one after another. My 500 million is almost completely lost. His friend Ji looked bewildered. Brother Chao, did you offend someone? Even if you invested with your eyes closed, the failure rate couldn't be 100%. Fang Xiao's expression twisted into pure frustration. That's impossible. I haven't offended anyone recently except for Ye Chen. I cockled at him, but he's just a useless loser. How could he possibly orchestrate all this? Aji rubbed his chin, suggesting that since Jia Yao was the top beauty in the city, maybe some jealous old business tycoon was targeting him. Hearing this, Fang Chao broke into a cold sweat. This woman is a curse, he panicked. Even before we're married, I've lost 500 million because of her. Aji quickly patted his shoulder to console him. Your family doesn't lack money. At worst, you can just go work at the old master's company and be a boomerang kid. Besides, Ajay added with a sleazy smile, this beautiful wife is in your hands now. In the field of love, you have definitely won. Fang Chao's arrogance returned instantly. You are right. I have to call my beauty right now. Meanwhile, Jia Yao was getting ready. She held the phone to her ear, softly asking, Honey, what are you doing? I'm trying on my wedding dress. Fang Chao chuckled creepily through the speaker. Honey, you better get some sleep now. You're going to be exhausted tonight. Jalen immediately cringed, utterly disgusted. She hung up the phone with a sharp click. Her bridesmaid, Song Hongye, glanced over. Was that Fang Chao? What did he say? Jilin scoffed in disdain. Filthy words. He is so vulgar. If his family wasn't rich, I wouldn't marry him. My Ye Chen is still better. He speaks so gently. Hong Ye raised an eyebrow. My dear, you're wearing a wedding dress to marry another man, but praising your ex-husband. Isn't that a bit inappropriate? Come on, guys. The audacity of this woman is honestly unbelievable. As the veil was placed on her head, Jia Yao sighed anxiously. Hong Ye, I'm afraid that if I get married today, there will never be a future for me and Ye Chen. What if I could divorce divorced in a few years and he's already married by then. Hong Ye just grabbed her hands and gently pulled her up. Look in the mirror. They stood before the grand mirror, admiring Jalen's stunning reflection. Look at this face of yours, Hong Ye praised. What man could refuse you? Trust me, you have him wrapped around your finger. Hong Ye insisted with a sly smile. Ye Chen is destined to be a backup plan for the rest of his life. Meanwhile, at the luxurious Zhongnanli villa area, Fang Xianzhu was getting dressed while his wife, Lu Rusi, voiced her concerns. Xianzhu, I feel the company's recent expansion plan is too aggressive, pouring all our funds out and taking massive loans. You shouldn't trust Paul this much. But Xianzhu stubbornly brushed her off. If I hadn't trusted Paul back then, our company wouldn't have gone public. I didn't use a single cent from your Lu family, so what are you anxious about? Rusi calmly offered to ask her family for financial help if he needed it. I don't need it, he snapped defensively. Your family has always looked down on me. I am going to show them how I am making a comeback. Seeing his anger, Rusi gently placed a hand on his chest. All right, today is our son's wedding. Let's talk about something else. She changed the subject, mentioning that Fang Chao had invited Jia Yao's ex-husband just to humiliate him. I feel this is inappropriate, she sighed. He's just a lower-class bodyguard. We need to focus on our distinguished guests. Xianzhu's eyes gleamed with anticipation. I heard from Qin Hongyan that President Yi of Huasheng Group will definitely come today. He is a mysterious figure. We cannot neglect him. Rusi nodded confidently. I know. When I see President Yi, I will definitely serve him well. At the exact same time, outside a lavish rose garden villa, Qin Hongyan stood beside a sleek sports car, looking absolutely stunning. President Yi, it's time to set off, she called out. Ye Chen stepped out, adjusting his sharp white suit. Let's go. Today, I want to let everyone in Yunzhou know that President Ye of Huasheng Group is the abandoned son-in-law of the Wang family. It is me, Ye Chen, Hongyan smirked, thoroughly enjoying the moment. Yes, I really want to see Wang Jiayao's terrified face. 1 hour later, the Portman Ritz-Carlton Hotel was swarming with luxury cars and elite guests. Fang Xianzhu enthusiastically welcomed the city's biggest politicians while Jia Lin watched in awe. The whispers of the crowd filled the hall, praising the Fang family's incredible social circle. Suddenly, Jilin gasped in pure shock. President Ma, my God, President Ma actually came. The entire hall erupted into a frenzy. Guests murmured in disbelief. President Ma is the richest man in the country. What right does the Fang family have to host a wedding with such a big shot attending? Xianzhu practically ran over, completely overwhelmed. President Ma gracing us with your presence. What right do I have to be able to invite you? President Ma offered a polite but dismissive smile. To tell you the truth, I came here firstly to bless the newlyweds, and secondly, I want to meet President Yi of Huasheng Group. Xianzhu was stunned. What kind of background does President Yi have? He thought wildly. He quickly bowed. Please take the seat of honor. I will immediately ask the vice president where they are. As President Ma walked past, the bride was left completely speechless. Everyone wants to make the acquaintance of President Ye. Jalen gripped her bouquet tightly, her mind racing. What kind of family background and looks must a girl have to be worthy of being President Yi's wife? Glancing at Fang Xiao's smug face, Jia Yao sighed internally. I better stop fantasizing. Suddenly Xianzhu answered his phone, his eyes widening. Hello? You're at the door? I'll come out to welcome you right now. He frantically turned to his son. President Yi and President Qin are at the door. Hurry and come with me to welcome them. As they rushed to the entrance, the guests gossiped feverishly about President Yi's ruthless reputation, claiming he forced dozens of companies into bankruptcy just for fun. Even Grandma Wang eagerly dragged Sulan toward the door to catch a glimpse. With a sharp screech of tires, a pristine white Porsche pulled up to the hotel entrance. The crowd parted as Qin Hongyan gracefully stepped out of the driver's seat. The elite guests held their breath, whispering nervously. The person getting out behind President Qin must be President Yi. Hongyan walked around to the passenger side, addressing the eager Fang family. President Fang, this is our Huasheng Group's President Ye. With a soft click, the car door opened, revealing a crisp white suit. Ye Chen stepped out into the light, his gaze cold and commanding. Guys, the exact second they realize who this is, it's going to be absolute chaos. Guys, the moment of truth has finally arrived. An announcer's voice echoed through the grand hall, introducing the man of the hour. This is the president of our Huasheng Group, Ye Chen. Wang Jiayao stood frozen at the altar, her eyes wide in absolute disbelief. She muttered softly, Ye Chen, her friend, looked like she had just seen a ghost. Trembling, she stammered, asking how it could possibly be Ye Chen. Completely ignorant to the past drama, Fang Xianzhu rushed forward with a beaming smile to greet the billionaire. President Yi, gracing us with your presence is truly an honor for me and my son. Meanwhile, his wife, Lu Rusi, couldn't help but admire the young CEO, thinking to herself, to think President Ye is so young and handsome. It's truly unexpected. Ye Chen smoothly turned his attention to her, stating with a polite smile, "This must be President Fang's wife, right? She really is a beauty." Fang Xianzhu chuckled. "You flatter me. She is indeed my wife." Lu Rusi blushed deeply, a soft smile forming as she thought, "Being praised by a man so much younger, my face is feeling a bit hot." Suddenly, Fang Zhou absolutely lost it. He pointed an angry finger at his rival and yelled, "Ye Chen, you're pretending to be the president again. You are just Qin Hongyan's bodyguard." Before Fang Chao could say another word, President Ma, the richest man in China, approached with a warm smile. "President Yi, I've admired you for a long time. It is my utmost honor to meet you today." Ye Chen politely shook his hand, asking, "President Ma, you have ties with the Fang family?" The older man quickly shook his head, explaining that he only came specifically to see Ye Chen. Fang Chao and Jia Yao were left completely dumbfounded. Fang Chao thought in a total panic, "President Ma actually knows Ye Chen's grandfather? Could there be a mistake?" President Ma then casually pulled out his phone, asking for the honor of adding Ye Chen's contact info. Ye Chen calmly agreed. The crowd watched in pure shock as their phones chimed softly. Trust me, seeing the high and mighty richest man in China take the initiative to add a junior's WeChat is a massive flex. With that settled, President Ma casually excused himself to attend a meeting, leaving a desperate Feng Shenzhou calling after him. But the chaos was far from over. Suddenly, a battered man came sliding across the floor at top speed, screaming, "President Ye!" With a heavy thud, Ma Kun slammed onto his knees, forcefully bowing his head to the ground. He cried out, "President Ye, please let me go." Fang Chao stared in confusion, recognizing the man. He asked, "Isn't this Boss Ma Kun? Why are you running over to bow to Ye Chen?" Ma Kun, looking completely ruined, tearfully explained that his agency rights had been revoked. His boss had told him that as long as President Yi forgave him, he could get his position back. Smacking his own head repeatedly, Ma Kun begged for mercy, blaming the Wang family for egging him on and claiming it was all a terrible misunderstanding. Fang Xianzhu, still in denial, tried to intervene. "Boss Ma, are you sure you aren't mistaken? Don't bow to the wrong person." Ma Kun snapped back furiously. "Mistaken. CEO Wu told me personally that my rights were revoked because I offended President Ye Chen. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have ended up in this state." At this time, a group of ruined businessmen sprinted into the hall in a complete panic, all calling out for President Ye. The remaining guests started realizing the horrifying truth. Ye Chen's phone call at the banquet was real. Zhang Wei, the once proud restaurant owner, collapsed to his knees, crying that his business had been completely suppressed by Ye Chen's new restaurant branches. He smacked his own tear-streaked face, screaming that the Wang family had tricked him, desperately begging Ye Chen to just let him go. Fang Chao was sweating profusely now. He thought, could it be Ye Chen is really the president of Huasheng Group? Xiaoji eagerly held up his phone to the crowd, shouting, "For those of you who still doubt his identity, open your apps and check who the president really is. Guys, this is called 180-degree flip." Fang Chao and Jia Yao quickly checked their phones, their eyes widening in sheer horror. Fang Xiao staggered backward, completely broken. "No, impossible. What kind of sick joke is this?" Meanwhile, Grandma Wang's survival instincts kicked in. She squeezed her eyes shut, thinking, "Our Wang family is done for. I must quickly pretend to faint so he doesn't notice me." Wang Zhuqiang panicked, urging his family to take this opportunity to leave and avoid Ye Chen's revenge, completely abandoning the bride. He quickly scooped up his unconscious mother, declaring he would take her to the hospital while the others stayed behind. Jia Yao, leaving her groom behind, gazed at Ye Chen with a sudden spark of hope. She thought, "Did Ye Chen come today for me?" Her sister rushed over to him and asked softly, "Ye Chen, you are President Yi." Completely delusional, she blushed and thought to herself, "I couldn't have imagined that the person I love the most had silently protected me for 3 years." Qin Hongyan furiously stepped in, shoving Yuan Yuan back. "What nonsense are you spouting? Don't harass President Yi. Go away." Yuan Yuan angrily fired back, desperately trying to argue her way back into his heart and claiming they still had a deep connection. Ye Chen just stood there, looking utterly bewildered by her sheer audacity. Yuan clung to him, claiming to be his fated lover. Ye Chen calmly ordered Hongyan to arrange for someone to drag her away. Watching this unfold, Fang Xianzu whispered to his wife in a panic, asking if she thought he was there to steal the bride. Lu Rusi looked terrified. It would actually be fine if he was just here to steal the bride. What's terrifying is the hatred of having his wife stolen. He is here to take revenge on us. Gathering her courage, Lu Rusi cautiously approached him. President Yi, I wonder if you came to the wedding today for Wang Jiayao. Jiayao watched with wide, hopeful eyes, practically convinced he was there to win her back. But Ye Chen didn't even look back. With a cold, dismissive tone, he replied, Miss Wang Jiayao is indeed my ex-wife, but I have nothing to do with her anymore. That smile vanished real quick. Meanwhile, the Wang family was speeding away in their car, desperately fleeing the disastrous wedding. Suddenly, Grandma Wang snapped awake, screaming in pure agony, which nearly gave her son a heart attack. Clutching her head in deep regret, she cried, I finally understand why your father had Ye Chen marry into our family. And it was I who kicked him out. How could I be so foolish? Our Wang family is done for. With a sharp slap, Fang Xianzu struck his son's head. He scolded him furiously, ordering him to treat their honored guest well and immediately apologize to President Ye. Holding his stinging cheek, Fang Chao muttered a pathetic apology. He thought to himself that he only wanted to humiliate Ye Chen, but ended up making a total fool of himself instead. Afterwards, Fang Xianzu nervously invited Ye Chen inside, promising his son would apologize properly once they sat down. But Ye Chen just coldly ignored them, walking straight past with Qin Hongyan. Left behind, Fang Chao ground his teeth in pure frustration. Inside the hall, Fang Xianzu demanded that his son pour a glass of wine for President Yi to apologize. Fang Chao trembled with humiliation. He thought, with so many of his friends at the wedding, pouring wine to apologize would completely destroy his reputation in Yunzhou. Suddenly, a suspicious thought crossed his mind. What kind of ultra-wealthy family would ever willingly let their heir marry into a lesser family like the Wangs? Guys, his delusion is going into overdrive. He convinced himself that Ye Chen was still just a fake who leeched off Qin Hongyan, and she was simply helping him put on a grand act. He reasoned that the corporate app information could have easily been hacked. Even worse, he assumed the VIP guest was just a paid actor and the others were bribed into playing along. Feeling completely validated, Fang Tao burst into a smug laugh, leaving his father deeply confused. Pointing an accusing finger, Fang Chao arrogantly shouted that Ye Chen was bluffing. He declared him a mere bodyguard, staging this entire spectacle just to make Jie Yao regret leaving him. His mother gasped in shock, asking what kind of nonsense Fang Chao was spouting after seeing the VIP's respectful attitude earlier. But Fang Chao doubled down, loudly pointing out that the supposed billionaire guest looked much shorter and different from his appearances on television. Instantly, the crowd erupted into murmurs. The guests started second-guessing everything, whispering that the man's height and chin were completely wrong, and that a true big boss wouldn't just show up and leave so hastily. Fang Xiao brought up the official corporate registry. Another guest scoffed, claiming President Qin had the resources to easily fake an app profile for a few minutes. Zhang Wei and Ma Kren shouted, Fang Chao, you idiot! If you want to die, don't drag us down with you. Riding this wave of doubt, Fang Chao turned his wrath on the two allied bosses. He ordered security to drag them out like dogs, accusing them of being bribed by Ye Chen. As the men were dragged away begging for mercy, Jia Yao stared at her ex-husband in distress, asking if he was really just faking it. She nervously pleaded with him to stop messing around. Internally, she panicked, realizing that if he truly was a billionaire, her desperate efforts to hook up with Fang Chao would make her the biggest joke in the city. Yu Chen said smoothly, if me not being the president makes you all feel a bit better, then fine, I am faking it. Hearing this, her parents breathed a massive sigh of relief. Her father wiped his brow, cursing Ye Chen for nearly scaring the life out of them. Su Lan said she actually thought he had finally made something of himself, only to find out it was all a lie. But her husband pulled her back from her hair. He screaming at her for playing with fire and dragging their family name through the mud. He aggressively scolded her, warning her not to drag the Wang family down. He even threatened her with an immediate divorce if she dared to provoke Ye Chen again. Look, I'm telling you guys, this family turns on each other faster than you can blink. Su Lan was left utterly speechless, staring at him in complete shock. Seeing the chaos, Fang Xianzu stepped in to calm the crowd. He urged everyone to sit and enjoy some tea, stating they would figure out Ye Chen's true identity after the wedding ceremony. Meanwhile, Ye Chen and Qin Hongyan sat peacefully at their table. She casually remarked that the idiots in the room were actually still doubting his status. Ye Chen calmly replied that, aside from a few stubborn fools, the rest of the families likely already knew the truth deep down. Suddenly, Ye Chen placed a delicate finger on her lips, hushing her. Ye Chen smiled, smoothly reminded her that today was also his birthday, and asked if she had anything special to say to him. A soft blush crept across her cheeks. Raising her glass of red wine, she gazed at him with a sweet smile and softly wished him a happy birthday, calling him her Ye Chen. But just then, a bright flash of light and a loud commotion at the entrance interrupted their romantic moment. Someone shouted that another distinguished guest had arrived. Feng Shanzhu rushed forward, his face lighting up with surprise as he recognized the highly renowned President Huang. The billionaire CEO of the e-commerce group smiled warmly, praising Feng Shanzhu's photographic memory for remembering him from a single meeting. Thrilled by this massive boost to his reputation, Feng Xianzhu excitedly nudged his son, telling him to quickly step forward and thank President Huang for bringing a gift. But President Huang politely raised a hand, smoothly clarifying that the gift wasn't actually for his son. Feng Shenzhou froze in confusion. The billionaire explained that while he did prepare a standard cash envelope for the newlyweds, the special present in his hands belonged to someone else entirely. Squinting, Feng Xianzhu noticed the ornate wooden item and asked if it was a cigar box. President Huang chuckled, complimenting his sharp eyesight, opening the lid to reveal the glowing, meticulously crafted contents. Huang humbly admitted his English was poor, but mentioned the brand name sounded something like Gurkha. Fang Chao's eyes practically bulged out of his skull. He gasped, realizing it was the legendary Gurkha Royal Courtesan cigar, a brand whose most expensive box cost over $7 million. OMG guys, I am 100% sure he just ruined those trousers. Wang modestly brushed off the exact price, noting it was close enough before excusing himself from the stunned hosts. He confidently strode straight toward Ye Chen's table, holding out the glowing multi-million-dollar cigar box with utmost respect. He bowed slightly and wished President Yi a very happy birthday. The entire room went dead silent. Guests stood paralyzed, their jaws hitting the floor as they realized the astronomical gift was meant exclusively for Ye Chen. The gossiping women immediately started buzzing, piecing together that this billionaire didn't care about the Fang family's wedding at all. He was solely here to show favor to Ye Chen. Ye Chen stood up and warmly shook his hand, thanking him for being so generous since they were already business partners. Watching this from afar, Yahello looked like her soul was actively leaving her body. She completely broke down, asking herself how this could possibly be a fake act if a real billionaire was treating him with such profound respect. Suddenly, an even louder commotion erupted from outside the banquet hall, drawing everyone's confused attention toward the doors. Taking a graceful sip of her red wine, Qin Hongyan let out a soft chuckle. She thought to herself that the real show was only just beginning. A nervous waiter rushed up to Fang Shanzhu, reporting, "President Fang, dozens of uninvited people suddenly arrived at the main gate." Shanzhu scoffed, "Any random guy can come in, tell them to get lost." The waiter hesitated, "But they said they are bosses running companies, and they are willing to pay 10,000 yuan each just to enter." Besides Xianzhu, his wife Li Rushi looked completely baffled by this bizarre situation. Xianzhu's ego immediately swelled. "Today is my son's big day, so let them all come in. Notify the hotel to add more tables." Fang Xiao smirked at his bride, bragging, "Did you see that? This is my dad's status in the Yunzhou business world. Those small enterprises flatter him so much." But Wang Jiayao did not look happy. Ever since Ye Chen appeared at the venue, she had a terrible, sinking feeling in her heart. With heavy, hurried footsteps, the group of uninvited businessmen marched right into the hall. "Hello, President Feng. Congratulations on your son's wedding," they announced loudly to the crowd. Yanzu proudly narrowed his eyes. "You all run companies? Let's hear it." Meanwhile, Fang Xiao began to sweat, realizing these people looked a little too familiar. "My company is Qicheng. Mine is TNU Online Games." As they listed their names, Fang Xiao's heart sank. These were the exact companies he had invested in. Suddenly, Fang Xiao snapped, pointing furiously, "You are those trash companies that all went bankrupt and caused me to lose money." Shanzhu froze, turning to his son in absolute horror. "Xiao, you invested in them? Quickly tell me, out of the 500 million I gave you, how much do you have left?" Fang Xiao stuttered, I lost it all." With a sharp hiss and a heavy thud, Xianzhu slapped him right across the face. "You prodigal son. 500 million squandered, completely clean." Xianzhu roared, kicking his own son to the ground. Jia Yao stood frozen in her beautiful wedding dress, completely pale. Holding his bruised cheek, Fang Xiao desperately pointed across the room. Dad, it must be that bastard Ye Chen targeting me. Upon hearing that name, the bankrupt bosses turned their heads. Is that President Yi over there? They yelled, immediately stampeding right over Feng Chao. They surrounded Ye Chen, pleading desperately. President Yi, we beg you to let us go and leave us a livelihood. Jianzu's face turned completely red with rage. Kick these people out immediately, he ordered his security. The bosses fiercely resisted as they were dragged away. We paid 10,000 yuan in cash to come in. Are you so shameless to kick us out and profit off our gifts? Gritting his teeth in pure humiliation, Xianzu barked, refund them double. Our Fang family has lost too much face today. Afterwards, Yanzu marched directly up to Ye Chen. I do not know how my son offended you, but making him lose 500 million. I am afraid your loss is even greater. Ye Chen calmly swirled his glass. As for what your son did, go ask him yourself. But regarding my money, more than 1 billion is not even considered a unit in my eyes. Xia Yao listened in absolute despair. Ye Chen had massive wealth, and she had thrown him away for a scumbag who just went broke. Look, I'm telling you guys, karma does not miss a single payment. Unwilling to back down, Xianzu sneered. President Yi has vast wealth, but even a mighty dragon cannot suppress the local snake. I have no lack of underworld brothers, and if they find out someone targeted my son, they will not let it go easily. He threatened. Ye Chen did not even blink. If President Fang is willing to teach me a lesson, I couldn't ask for more. I would love to meet this underworld brother. Xianzu immediately pulled out his phone. You will meet him very soon. His wife nervously tried to intervene. Honey, this isn't right. But Xianzu brutally shoved her aside. Stay out of this, he shouted, sending her crashing to the floor. Without a word, Ye Chen stepped forward and gently helped Lu Rusi up. Madam, are you all right? Thank you, she replied softly. Feng Chao saw this and completely lost his mind, screaming, Ye Chen, what are you doing to my mother? Meanwhile, Xianzu rushed to the hotel entrance, speaking eagerly into his phone. Have you arrived? Good, I'll pick you up right away. Outside, Lord Lu arrived, flanked by Brother Gua and a massive squad of fierce enforcers. Xianzu greeted them with a huge groveling smile. Your presence is truly an honor. Today, I must ask you to lend a hand. But Lord Lu completely ignored him, walking right past the stunned President Fang without a second glance. Lord Lu, wait for me, Xianzu called out, totally confused. Lord Lu and his men marched deliberately toward the center of the banquet hall. Catching up, Xianzu pointed at Ye Chen with a malicious grin. Ye Chen, let me introduce you to my underworld friend. This is... Before he could finish, Brother Gua suddenly snapped into a deep bow, hoisting a red gift box high into the air. Lord Chen, happy birthday! Xianzu's jaw practically hit the floor. Lord Lu followed suit, bowing respectfully. Young master, happy birthday. The butler ordered us to bring you congratulatory gifts. OMG guys, this is a pant-soiling moment. Xianzu started hyperventilating, screaming, Lord Lu, what is this? Ye Chen smiled playfully. You said you wanted your underworld friends to deal with me? Sweating bullets under the terrifying glares of the gang, Xianzu stammered, I was just joking. Ye Chen waved them off casually. I am here to attend a wedding, not cause trouble. You guys leave first. As they turned to leave, Lord Lu paused beside Xianzu and delivered a chilling whisper. If the young master loses a single hair at your banquet, I want your entire family buried with him. The wedding guests watched in sheer terror. Ye Chen actually had ultimate connections in both the business and underworlds. Desperate to survive, the guests immediately raised their glasses. Let's all toast President Yi for his birthday. Ye Chen elegantly raised his glass of red wine. Thank you all, but today's main characters are the newlyweds. I won't steal their thunder. He took a slow sip and smiled faintly. After I finish witnessing this top-tier wedding, I still have to go back to the company and get busy. Xianzu trembled in fear. This wasn't just a casual appearance. This was Yachan's naked revenge. Wang Jia Yao stood absolutely broken at the altar. She thought she threw away a diamond just to pick up a rock. Well, that's all for today. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, and yet don't forget to share and subscribe my channel.